Ciao, ciao, dosto. Good evening and welcome to the mega preview of the 2005-2026 Serie A season. सीजन के लिए बचे हैं ऑलमोस्ट 24 घंटे. 24 घंटों में सेरिया बी शुरू हो जाएगा. Joining with me today to start off and kick off things is Param. What's happening, Param?
What's up, Ajay? What's up? I hope you're doing well here. First of all good on my end. सब ठीक है, अच्छा चल रहा है. Very excited कि finally Italian football वापस आ गया. आज रात से तो Serie A B चालू हो रहा है. Obviously the second tier of Italy. But कल से main the top flight of Italy Serie A starts, and obviously Napoli will kick things off two games at one time, which is quite strange. But will be one of the teams kicking things off. Obviously, the champions of Italy. और आज obviously as we do our preview, आज बहुत लोग join करने वाले पैनल को. Yogesh will be there. He's joining very soon. Chintan Bhai will be there representing Milan. Of course, Anubhuti will be there representing Lazio. DJ Bhai unfortunately can't be here for personal reasons. So Juventus.
Also Ritam is also coming.
Yeah, Ritam, I was coming to that. Yeah, Ritam, अगर आप जानते हो उसको, हमारे चैनल पे पहले आ चुका है. वो Atalanta fan है, तो वो भी होने वाला है. Kostub is also going to try to join, and one of our members or sort of friends, Shivam, will also join. He has helped us out with the preview a bit, so he's going to be on the panel for some time. But Ajay, I hope you are doing well. You want to just have a look at the chat and everything.
सबसे पहले 33 लोग जुड़े इस वक्त. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर ज्वाइनिंग इन. आपका जो सपोर्ट है, आपका जो प्यार है, उसके कारण हम लोग ये कैल्चो चर्चा कर रहे हैं. हालांकि इस वक्त ब्रॉडकास्टर का जो सिचुएशन है अभी भी एकदम ग्रे एरिया में. परम, तू बता सकते हैं अपने व्यूअर्स को अभी क्या अपने को अपडेट मिला हुआ है?
हाँ, सो हमें बहुत लोगों ने ब्रॉडकास्ट के लिए पूछा है क्या चल रहा है, सेरिया कब ब्रॉडकास्ट होने वाला है, किधर ब्रॉडकास्ट होने वाला है. देखो, अभी तक ऑफिशियल न्यूज कोई आई नहीं है. देयर इज नो कंफर्मेशन, बट हम ये चीज आपको एक बता सकते हैं कि जो GXR प्लेटफॉर्म था, दे हैड अ 3-year डील, एंड वो 3-year डील कंटिन्यू होने वाली है, बिकॉज यू कैंट जस्ट पास ऑन द राइट्स अनलेस द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट इज टर्मिनेटेड. नाउ GXR ने लॉसेस किए, दे शट प्रीटी मच, दे हैव शट डाउन, दे हैव बीन टेकन ओवर बाय अनदर कंपनी GXR. एंड व्हाट हैज हैपेंड इज कि ये टेक ओवर में दिस कंपनी का वेबसाइट, आई थिंक इट्स कॉल्ड sports.com, ये लोग ने पहले ये टेक ओवर, ये लोग ने पहले केरला सुपर लीग के डील साइन की थी, एंड उसके बाद से दे आर ऑब्वियसली गोइंग टू स्टार्ट अ न्यू ऐप एंड स्ट्रीम मल्टीपल लीग्स, इज व्हाट द न्यूज सेज. नाउ ये कब स्ट्रीम चालू होगी, नोबडी नोज. वो लोग ने बोला था 3rd quarter तक सब रेडी होना चाहिए. नाउ 3rd quarter extends up to September, right Ajay bhai? So
yeah,
good chances that we will miss the first few game weeks of official broadcasting. मतलब कल के लिए कोई होप मत रखो. Do not keep hopes for the second.
ये बढ़िया.
Yeah, मतलब पैसे I really wish पैसे होते तो कर ले. मतलब you never know यार. I mean पैसे होते तो
करण मैं तेरे को अंदर की बात बताता हूँ. सेरिया अपने आप को है ना प्रीमियर लीग जितना वैल्यू करती है, ठीक है, तो अलग ही डेलुलू में है कि उनको उतना ही पैसा मिलेगा जितना प्रीमियर लीग को मिलता है. भाई नहीं है वो. तो top broadcasters are struggling to pay the money because they're like, why should we pay so much? तो अगर हमारे पास में कुछ अनशन धन है हमारे पास में, तो फिर सोच सकते हैं.
and again I will in due course मैं ट्विटर पे X पे एक थ्रेड बनाऊंगा with, let me just say it openly, with illegal streams. So आप लोग यूज कर सकते हो, आपको जो पता है आप वो भी यूज करो, but I'll also make a small thread with illegal streams where where you guys can just maybe look at some streams and start watching matches there. तो मैं क्विकली वो वेबसाइट दिखा रहा हूँ आपको जहां पर हम अज्यूम कर रहे हैं सेरिया दिखने वाले. जस्ट वेरी क्विकली अजय भाई, I'll show it. So this is what it's called. I hope this is visible. I mean, I don't know if this is visible on the screen. Is this visible?
लोड हो रहा है. हाँ अभी आया.
अजय भाई, is this visible?
आया.
लोड हो रहा है. हाँ, sports.com करके see this is what it looks like. भी उनके पास अलग अलग स्पोर्ट्स की कैटेगरी है. बहुत अजीब इंटरफेस है भाई. मतलब इवन आई एम नॉट अ फैन ऑफ इट, बट इट इज व्हाट इट इज. इधर कहीं तो फुटबॉल है, मैं भूल गया कहाँ पर तो था, जो भी है. But yeah, they have a football section somewhere. Again, I'm missing it. Whatever. Soccer. Again, it's called soccer. Sorry. तो इधर कहीं तो देखो, अगर आप देख रहे हो कि इनके पास वीडियोस है और न्यूज है, आई मीन इसके अलावा कहीं स्ट्रीमिंग का टैब तो अब तक तो नहीं आया, तो अपेरेंटली न्यूज है कि ये लोग ऐप डेवलप करने वाले प्लस इस वेबसाइट पे चीजें दिखाने वाले। तो अब ये कब होगा, एज आई सेड ये थर्ड क्वार्टर बोला है। आई एक्सपेक्ट पर्सनली, मेरे को पूछोगे तो मेरा प्रेडिक्शन है ये इंटरनेशनल ब्रेक के बाद होगा, विच इज थर्ड गेम वीक। इट कुड इवन गो लॉन्गर, पहले दो गेम वीक के लिए होप मत रखो आप। प्रॉब्लम इज वी बीन ट्राइंग टू रीच आउट टू मल्टीपल पीपल XYZ, पर इस वेबसाइट के लिए कोई पॉइंट ऑफ कांटेक्ट है नहीं। GXR वालों को कांटेक्ट करके कोई मतलब नहीं है, बिकॉज दे डोंट नो एनीथिंग अबाउट दिस, बिकॉज दे ऑब्वियसली आर नॉट इन्वॉल्वड इन दिस। सो
जीएक्सआर
बहुत
वाले
अजीब है।
गायब हो गए भाई लोग।
हाँ,
मतलब जो
GXR वाले,
हमारा
या
मार्केट है वो भी गायब हो गया।
yeah we yeah we've been trying to reach out to GXR, but they've all disappeared. So GXR, as I said, suffered a lot of losses, and they've just, and not just because of the Serie A, because of many other factors, they were not doing well financially and they've just disappeared. So GXR basically will be taken over by this, or has been taken over for some 10 million US dollars or something. But yeah, this is going to be the website. इसका लिंक चाहिए तो मैं डाल दूंगा कमेंट्स में, एंड जब होगा ब्रॉडकास्ट तब देख लेंगे। पर अभी के लिए अनफॉर्चुनेटली वील हैव टू रिलाई ऑन इलीगल स्ट्रीम्स। दैट वाज क्विकली इट ऑन द ब्रॉडकास्टिंग सिचुएशन। विद दैट बीइंग सेड, वी हैव योगेश इन द हाउस, बिकॉज ये अच्छी बात है, योगेश एक तो पहले बहुत दिनों के बाद आ रहा है। कैसा है योगेश?
बस बस बढ़िया यार। हाउ आर यू गाइस?
भाई चैंपियन ऑफ इटली है तू तो। ये जो प्रीव्यू है तुझसे ही शुरू करना है यार। कम ऑन, यू गॉट इट स्पॉट ऑन। यू गॉट इट स्पॉट ऑन। यू नो लास्ट ईयर, अगर जो अपने रेगुलर है, जो अपने वॉचर्स है, उनको पता है लास्ट ईयर योगेश ने, हमने टीयर मेकर किया था। इस साल हम बाद में करेंगे टीयर मेकर, बिकॉज आज हम लोग प्रीव्यू करने वाले हैं। तो योगेश ने सबसे बड़े टीयर मेकर में इंटर को हटा के नापोली को ऊपर डाला, और वैसे ही हुआ। He was the only one who obviously he supports Napoli, so he went for Napoli Scudetto. Napoli won the Scudetto. So here we are talking. We are going to start our charcha with Napoli, numero uno. How are you feeling, man?
बस बस बढ़िया। समर में काफी सारी चीजें हुई इन नापोली ट्रांसफर मार्केट। विल टॉक अबाउट इट, बट ओवरऑल
Of course talk about it. Yes. In fact, let's get to it, man.
Yeah,
Kevin De
let's
Bruyne.
start with Napoli. Ajay bhai, you take over. Let's start with Napoli because we had planned कि हम लोग Napoli से ही हमारा मेगा प्रीव्यू चालू करेंगे, since they are the champions of Italy. Before that, जैसे अजय भाई ने बोला, a lot of people watching, please do like, share and subscribe. We have crossed 1.95k subs और we are very close to 2k यार. So अगर आपने अब तक सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया, प्लीज सब्सक्राइब टू कैल्चियो चर्चा। लेट्स गेट टू 2k and let's start this season on a good note.
And let's अजय भाई दोस्तों कमेंट्स
yes,
ले लेंगे,
कमेंट्स लेंगे। व्हाट आई वुड सजेस्ट दोस्तों इज कि आप लोग जितना रेलेवेंट रख सकते हो डिस्कशन पे उतना रखो। दैट गिव्स अस द एबिलिटी टू टेक मोर कमेंट्स इंस्टेड ऑफ ड्रिफ्टिंग अवे, बिकॉज आज हमें 20 टीम कवर करनी है। ऑब्वियसली सब 20 टीम को इन डेप्थ में नहीं करेंगे, बट बिकॉज वी नीड टाइम टू कवर दिस, ट्राई टू कीप योर कमेंट्स एज रेलेवेंट टू द डिस्कशन एज पॉसिबल. So yeah, Ajay bhai, take over. Let's go ahead.
Plus एक और disclaimer, we'll be having rolling subs, people coming and going.
हाँ, rolling sub.
एकदम आएगा, चिंचन आएगा। आज एकदम कमाल है।
आज गली फुटबॉल के तरह होने वाला है।
आज एकदम, because Serie A गली फुटबॉल जैसी, at least the governance and bureaucracy वैसा ही है। But yes, Yogesh, your thoughts on the summer transfers that have been made by Napoli? Very, very active, like you said. Some of the big names, obviously Kevin De Bruyne joining in from Man City on a free transfer. You have Noah Lang who's come in. Lorenzo Luca, 35 million euro, very high fee for an Italian striker. तुम्हारे पास में एक गोलकीपर था ही, but you still went and bought Vanya Milinkovic-Savic. So and how can I forget Sam Buchema, one of the most highly sought after defenders in Bologna and in Italy. So how are you feeling, Yogesh, in a summer full of super recruitment? कैसा लग रहा है तुझे?
Yeah, it is pretty good, and I would say the biggest recruitment itself was keeping Conte at Napoli even after winning the Scudetto, and Conte को रखा जो like Napoli managed to keep him at the helm. That was the key transfer, and the key thing that उसका cascading effects are all these transfers that are happening. So people might say that Kevin De Bruyne is the biggest signing, but I would say the biggest signing is keeping Conte on Napoli's books, right? There were very strong rumors of him going to Juventus or going somewhere else. काफी strong rumors थे, but that did not happen. And so that was my biggest transfer. And उसके बाद में everything like felt in place. Like in football there is nothing like a perfect transfer market, but Napoli are very close to it. And given Lukaku's injury, there are talks of another striker coming in. So
Yeah,
let's see.
Rasmus
I'm very hopeful for
Rasmus
the
Højlund. Rasmus Højlund is strongly linked now with a loan move to Naples,
yeah.
and uske baad mein he will be probably, if some conditions are met, he will be made a permanent transfer. So Lukaku is
Right.
out for 3 months, right? If I,
I
how
will
long is it for?
Yeah, 3-4 months. Uh,
3.5 months to be
yeah, three to
precise.
four months. Yes.
Pre-season Yogesh is
Yes.
scary.
I'm pulling up the Napoli transfers and lineup. I was just changing my network because some people said I was lagging weirdly. So this is the Napoli squad. अगर आप देखो ये अराइवल्स है ट्रांसफर्स क्या किए अजय भाई देख अगेन आई होप दिस इज विजिबल
Yes, it is. It is
या
visible.
सैम बोइकेमा नोआ लैंग मिगेल गुटियरेस कल ही आया कल परसों आया हुआनलू आने वाला
Yes.
है सीम्स लाइक इट वानिया मिलिंकोविच साविच फॉर मी ही वाज द बेस्ट गोलकीपर इन द लीग लास्ट सीजन लुक्का है मारियानुची है डेब्रॉइन ऑफ कोर्स ऑसीमैन चला गया योगेश कितना खुश है ऑसीमैन चला गया कैंसर चला गया फाइनली बीमारी आई मीन आई एम जस्ट सेइंग इट एज अ जोक ऑब्वियसली कि जो टॉक्सिक एलिमेंट था वो क्लब से चला गया क्या बोलते हैं कैसा लग रहा है
Yeah, and I feel ये Nigerian strikers का कुछ तो issue चालू है. Like Lukman का भी similar issue है.
वो
So
नहीं वो
I'm not sure. I'm
nice
just happy that negativity is out because like Napoli gave him a chance. Like Napoli did put him on a pedestal, like highest wages दिया Serie A में. But still, he did not want to continue. Then that's his decision, and he wanted to go to other clubs like Madrid, Man City, Chelsea. But those offers never came, and then he had to settle for Turkish league. So that's on him here.
एंड ऑब्वियसली डिपार्चर में ओसिमन के अलावा रास्पाडोरी गया ऑलवेज
Yeah.
फेल्ट कि कॉन्टे उसको इतना वैल्यू नहीं करता था एंड बट रास्पाडोरी ने क्लच गोल्स बहुत स्कोर किए अपने करियर में
Yeah.
स्पेशली एंड आई फील कॉन्टे ऑलवेज अंडर वैल्यू हिम ऑल्दो आई फील नापोली को अच्छा पैसा मिला इस डील में नटान भी गया एंड अ लॉट ऑफ बेसिकली डेडवुड गया बट नापोली ने ओवरऑल स्क्वाड अगर मैं दिखाऊं फटाफट से एंड देन शिवम ने हमारे लिए प्रेडिक्टेड पॉसिबल लाइनअप्स बनाई है वो भी दिखाने वाला हूं बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग स्क्वाड है मेरिट मिलिंकोविच साविच अजय भाई बुंजोर्नो obviously Boykema Rakmani Marianucci Gutierrez of course I'm not counting Juan Jesus as a good player
Hey, the goat, the goat.
yeah Di Lorenzo right back पे of course योगेश का फेवरेट प्लेयर लोबोटका है गिलमोर है मैकटोमिने एंगीसा जो ऑब्वियसली योगेश एक पॉइंट पे ऐसा लग रहा था छोड़ने वाला है बट सीम्स लाइक ही स्टेइंग
Yeah.
डेब्रोइना आ गया है नोआ लैंग नेरेस पोलिटानो I mean not a big fan of Politano but still good to have as a rotation player Lorenzo Luca और the biggest talking point योगेश क्या बोलता है because your squad is stacked जैसा अजय मैंने बोला 3.5 months Lukaku is out and Conte के लिए वो बहुत important है Lukaku
Yeah.
replacement wise what do you think needs to be done I mean we are seeing Rasmus Højlund killings but Højlund so far has practically turned down every club that has come for him because he wants to fight for a place at Man United he's rejected he's turned down Inter he's turned down AC Milan he's turned down a lot of opportunities क्या बोलते हैं कोई और आना चाहिए तेरे हिसाब से any player you have in mind to fill that gap
Yeah,
for Lukaku?
so ये लुकाकू की इंजरी काफी बड़ा मिसफॉर्चून है एक चीज ठीक है कि लाइक ट्रांसफर मार्केट इज स्टिल ओपन इफ दिस हैड हैपेंड लाइक 1-2 वीक्स इनटू सितंबर देन काफी डिफिकल्टी में होती थी नापोली तो वो पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से ठीक है बट इंजरीज हैपन इन फुटबॉल यार सो आई व्हाट जितना मैंने रीड किया Conte is looking for a similar type of striker like tall center back old school who can from whom other players can play off the ball he is good in scoring physicality काफी अच्छा रहना चाहिए center forward का so that kind of striker Conte prefers and that is what we are looking on the market Raspadori अगर रहता तो ये scenario में maybe he could have filled the gap but he does not fits in the broader tactical placement of the club so that's why Raspadori को we have to let him go and yeah Lukaku के बदले like for like striker ढूंढ रहे Luka is also a good striker. We have Lukaku. I'm to get. तो yeah, Højlund का अच्छा connections है, but Højlund as far as I've read, he's telling कि he wants to come on a permanent move, not a loan with an obligation to move. So that's also fair. I feel like he wants a good project. So let's see how it turns out. But yeah, overall the squad looks stacked. I hope that we don't get a lot of injuries. Like last year, we were very lucky that we didn't got into too many injuries, and similar
भाई
hoping for
योगेश,
that
इस
this time.
इस साल तुमको यूरोपियन फुटबॉल है, एंड ये हम लोग ने पैनेलिस्ट नोट में भी डिस्कस किया था.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
This is a make or break season for Conte as well, because now he's
yeah,
got the team that he's wanted. ADL ने
Yeah.
दे दिया उसको जो भी ट्रांसफर चाहिए.
हाँ,
अब उसको
ड्रामा
right.
प्रूव
अब भी
करना है कि अब he has to prove that he is the actual deal. If he can take on a season in Europe, challenge in all three fronts, Coppa Italia, League and Champions League. How do you think Conte is prepping up, and can you give some अंदर की खबर, क्या चल क्या रहा है अंदर नेपल्स में, क्या
अजय भाई बिफोर योगेश प्रोसीड्स में एक चीज ऐड करना चाहता हूँ, बिकॉज योगेश तुझे ऐसा लगता है व्हेन कॉन्टे काइंड ऑफ हैज थिंग्स टू प्रूव वो सीरियसली ले रहा है? बिकॉज बहुत लोग बोल रहे हैं कि नापोली दे फील कैन डू वेल इन द चैंपियंस लीग, बट वो कहीं ना कहीं जैसा जब मैंने बोला कॉन्टे का डाउट रहता है, कैन ही डू थिंक फाइनली डू इट? अब कोई एक्सक्यूज नहीं है भाई, अब है, मतलब अब प्लेयर दे दिए, अब नहीं रो सकता वो, विथ ऑल ड्यू रिस्पेक्ट. मतलब अभी तो चैंपियंस लीग का फॉर्मेट भी बदल गया है भाई, अब तो 24 टीम एटलीस्ट नॉकआउट्स तक तो जाते हैं राउंड ऑफ 16 के पहले. क्या बोलते हैं?
Yeah. Yeah, I think Conte has got most of the things that he wanted, and जो उसके demands थे, I feel like I'm not sure उसके exact demands क्या थे, but I feel like we have got a good squad. And last season से मैं थोड़ा सा comparison करूँ तो Inter played 19 games more than Napoli, right? And that was a big factor in why Napoli were still going all guns blazing at the end of the season and won the Scudetto. That is like 19 games is like half a season, right? So if Napoli is going to have a deep run in Champions League, then there'll be a lot of many matches that will require players being at their best. I hope that pre-season training mein Conte has seen that a possibility that if Napoli has like at least 8 games of Champions League to hone hi wale hai. And given the injuries that these footballers are having right, left and center, like international games ही होंगे, so we have to manage that as well, right? So it's going to be a task. People feel like Conte ने prove नहीं किया his European credentials. एक major difference जो आता है, it is that this Serie A में you kind of know what to expect from a lot of teams. Like we have their all data, we have their information, we have their legacy. चीजें पता रहती कि Serie A में what kind of football to expect from this particular team, from that particular team at that stadium. But Champions League is like more open-ended. Like you are not sure, उतना deeply research अभी होता होगा, but उतना deep research for a particular team, for a particular game, you cannot do that much preparation. Like last season, we got one game a week for most of the time, right? So you get a lot of time for preparation, for understanding.
That's the big question mark, right, Yogesh? Because we still don't know if Conte can prepare properly with 3-4 games every day. वो अभी तक, मतलब we know so far the sample size over the years tells us he cannot, right, Ajay bhai?
Yeah.
Now अभी चैंपियंस लीग में 8 गेम होते हैं आपके, आप कोपा इटालिया खेलोगे, आप सेरिया खेलोगे, आप सुपर कोपा खेलोगे. नाउ नापोली इज इन अ सिचुएशन वेयर इंटर वाज लास्ट सीजन. ऑब्वियसली आप बोल सकते हो हाँ मेरे पास डे ब्रुइना है, मेरे पास ये है वो है, बट योगेश लास्ट सीजन हमने कॉन्टे से थोड़ा अडेप्टेशन देखा. 4-3-3 खेला उसने, उसने ट्विक किया, उसने स्क्वाड को एक्चुअली अडेप्ट किया. यू कैन से अगेन प्लेइंग 2 कॉम्पिटिशंस, ठीक है चलो एक फेज कंप्लीट. नाउ वो अडेप्टेशन 4 कॉम्पिटिशन, तुझे क्या लगता है वो सस्टेन कर सकता है कि नहीं? अभी ये तू स्क्वाड देख, जस्ट बिफोर यू गो इनटू इट,
ये जो फॉर्मेशन है वो एकदम कॉन्टे का फॉर्मेशन लग ही नहीं रही है. अगर तुम किसी लेमैन को दिखाओ ना तो बोलेगा दिस इज नॉट अ
Conte is a 3-5-2 man, right? 3-man defense था, like even in the first season, right? McTominay का जब ट्रांसफर हुआ उसके बाद में he changed the formation from a 3-man defense to 4-3-3 and brought McTominay in the team as a main pillar of the team, right? So इस season भी like he's tweaking around, like pre-season games में we have seen that जो midfield था, like midfield was a strength last season, right? So Lobotka, McTominay and Anguissa, these were, we cannot bench any one of them, and we have to also integrate Kevin De Bruyne. So एक formation कल क्या आ रहा है 4-1-4-1. Napoli is trying out that formation which I've seen in pre-season games. So let's see. It's not something that Conte was used to in his career, and I don't think a lot of teams in modern football also play with this formation. But let's see where it goes. Like these initial set of matches, at least September to lagega to keep and to understand ki where this
Also,
Napoli team is there and where it can go.
also, अगर मैं क्विकली डेप्थ करूं, ऑब्वियसली ये शिवम ने प्रिपेयर किया है व्हेन ही प्रिपेयर्ड इट अ व्हाइल अगो. सो अगर आप देखो, आई थिंक लेफ्ट बैक का डेप्थ अजय भाई फाइनली अच्छा हुआ. मतलब माटियास ओलिवेरा हैज स्पेस टू ब्रीथ. यस, मिगेल गुटियरेस जो थोड़ा अटैक माइंडेड है. बुंजोर्नो अगर वो थोड़ा फिट रह पाए तो विद बॉयकेमा दैट पार्टनरशिप इज वेरी डेंजरस. मारियानुची मैं बोलूंगा अगर नापोली से एक अंडररेटेड काइंड ऑफ नई साइनिंग पे आपको you want to keep an eye on, it's Luca Marianucci, because भाई बहुत underrated talent है जो एम्पोली से साइन हुआ है. और अगर हिस्ट्री, if anything history tells us, इसकी एम्पोली से नापोली मेजॉरिटी जो भी जाता है अच्छा करता है, चाहे वो कोच हो या प्लेयर. इफ यू नो व्हाट आई मीन. And speaking of that, obviously Di Lorenzo is an example of that. And then apart from that, अगर आप देखो मिडफील्ड में अंगीसा थोड़ा इंजरी प्रोन प्लेयर है. नाउ ही आल्सो गेट्स अ ब्रीदर. नाउ आई थिंक जो अजय भाई और मेरा कंसर्न था कि थोड़ा केडीबी को बराबर यूज करना है इधर, बिकॉज with Conte's style of playing so many games, obviously I don't expect KDB to be a starter. मैं actually बहुत surprised रहूंगा if KDB is a starter. With all due respect, that's nothing to do with his quality, but it's mainly to do with his physical condition, Ajay bhai, I feel. And also to swap things in this lineup, I think Lang right पे ज़्यादा रहेगा, because that's where he prefers playing, but he can play. Obviously, he can play on either side. Spinazzola, I think Shivam ने उसको just as a reserve दिखाने के लिए, because Spinazzola will probably just play on the left anywhere needed. And जैसे शिवम ने दिखाया लुकाकू, लुका, तो योगेश इस बेसिस पे क्या एक्सपेक्टेशंस है नापोली से सीजन में, चारों कंपटीशन में, क्या बोलते हैं?
In short, let's put it this way. चल, चैंपियंस लीग कहां तक जाएगी नापोली रियलिस्टिकली? योर प्रेडिक्शन?
चैंपियंस लीग में बस 75 मिलियन यूरोस चाहिए बस, और कुछ मतलब नहीं
चाहिए. यार तू हमेशा एडीएल का अकाउंटेंट जैसा बात मत कर. तू पूरा नापोली फैन बात कर. कहां तक जाएगी? सेमीफाइनल, फाइनल, क्वार्टर फाइनल, राउंड ऑफ 16, कहां?
इसी नापोली का हिस्ट्री जो देखा, लाइक आई हैव बीन अ नापोली फैन फॉर अ लॉट ऑफ इयर्स नाउ. We don't have that Champions League legacy which other teams like Madrid and these other teams have, right? So I would be very happy if we can go to a quarterfinals and एक अच्छा draw अगर मिल गया, then have a look in on the semi-final. That would be a very good season for European football.
वो कॉन्टे तू पीछे कितना सोच रहा है? कॉन्टे 3 games a week, 3 days 1 game वाला कॉन्टे, because I'm really worried about
with this new Champions League style version जो है, थोड़ा सा मुझे वैनिटी लगता है. जैसे लाइक इंटर के साथ में हुआ, they kept on chasing Champions League and drop the ball in the league. तो वो थोड़ा सा मुझे वैनिटी ड्रीम लगता है. Champions League बस जाओ खेलो, get the money that you want. That is like मेरा थिंकिंग अभी वैसा
प्राइस. देख, तू ही बोला योगेश की नापोली के हिस्ट्री में पता नहीं, इसलिए वो तुझे थोड़ा सिंक इन होने में टाइम लगेगा.
मैं एक और हॉट टेक देता हूँ. अगर नापोली क्वार्टर फाइनल तक पहुंची तो कॉन्टे रहेगा कि और कोई कोच रहेगा? That is the question.
Yeah. And also योगेश ये तो ठीक है. As Ajay bhai said, tell us your Champions League. You're saying 75 million. You're probably looking at a quarter final, which is your best in Napoli's history under Spalletti only. Obviously, the season we reached the final and everything. Serie A, Coppa Italia, Super Coppa में क्या लगता है तेरे को, क्या हो रहा है? Just tell us very briefly.
First Coppa and Super Coppa. Serie A last में आएंगे.
हाँ, Coppa, Super Coppa बोल फटाफट.
Copa can go to hell यार. Nobody watches that. Nobody.
तेरे को क्या चाहिए वो नहीं पूछ रहे हम लोग. तेरे को क्या चाहिए वो नहीं पूछ रहे. We're asking you what do you think will happen? वो अभी बहुत हो गया तेरा. What do you think will actually happen in all seriousness?
See, it's a professional. These players are professional. They'll compete to win only. Conte is also professional. He'll also compete to win. And with the squad which we have, like you can probably bet that Conte will be playing the second string side, right? So I'm expecting a final appearance in Copa is very good here. Not expecting. Copa is just an energy and physical drain on these players here. And similar thoughts for Super Copa as well. Super Copa होगा Saudi Arabia में, जाना होगा उधर January में. So that all that travel and unnecessary
मजा आने वाला है. I am waiting for Conte to face all this. मजा आने वाला है. मैं finally दूसरे एंगल से अब देखूंगा. जब जो लास्ट
Okay.
सीजन हम लोग सफर कर रहे थे, I'm going to
Yeah.
now enjoy Napoli do all this. But
Okay.
Serie A क्या बोलता है योगेश?
No. So Yogesh, first Serie A, your prediction of relegation. 3 teams
हाँ,
will
top
get relegated.
3
Quickly.
teams who will get
Quickly.
relegated.
अरे यार मेरे को सरिया का लाइनअप देखना पड़ेगा.
अरे नहीं तू जल्दी बोल, तू अभी कैलकुलेट मत कर, तेरे हिसाब से.
एक तो हो जाना चाहिए हेलास वेरोना. वेरी
Abhijay, are you watching? Abhijay, are you watching?
हेलास
Hellas
वेरोना
Verona.
की हिस्ट्री यार, तो आई
Hellas
डोंट लाइक
Verona. Who else?
हेलास वेरोना. गिव मी सम सजेशंस यार, लाइक आई एम लॉस्ट.
Lecce.
अरे वो
Lecce.
Lecce does feel like
Genoa, Parma, Sassuolo,
Genoa नहीं.
Pisa, Cremonese, Lazio.
Napoli.
Como are doing quite well, like Como are doing quite well, like I
Como
would
नहीं
not
relegate
say
हुआ
Como.
भाई.
Yeah, I would not
तो
say Como, like recent entry किया उन लोगों ने Serie A में, and they are doing quite
भाई
good, yeah.
भाई Como are
But Pisa and
Right.
someone between
Yogesh.
Pisa, Cremonese and Cagliari looks to be a candidate to go down, along with Hellas
Fair.
Verona.
Fair. That's a fair thing. So you need to give me top 4 without giving 8 mark का question का answer. Okay. So
सिंपल.
your
तेरे को
top-
सिर्फ टॉप 4 बोलना इन ऑर्डर, उसके अलावा कुछ नहीं सुनना है
हाँ.
हम लोग को.
हाँ चल top 6 बोल दे, top 6 top 7 बोल दे, starting with 1.
ठीक है, number 1 Napoli again.
Okay, back to back. Okay, fine, fair enough. Hasn't happened in 6 years that a Serie A team has been able to defend the title, but okay.
Yeah. Number 2 would be Juventus.
Oof.
बोल्ड, वेरी
Number
बोल्ड.
three.
Yeah. Number 3 Roma.
Oh,
And number 4 Inter.
wow.
बोल्ड.
And
इंटरेस्टिंग.
5, 6, 7.
या 5 6 7 बोल भाई.
5 पे कौन बच गया?
Milan, Lazio,
No.
Atalanta, Bologna, Fiorentina, Como.
I don't have very strong opinions on that region. Yeah.
Fair enough. We
Lazio.
can limit Yogesh to top 4. We can limit.
Okay.
We-
Very interesting.
very
Just to recap, Yogesh के top 4 है Napoli, Juve, Roma and Inter. ये 4 है तेरा top 4.
Yes.
Provisionally
And
don't make
relegation is Hellas Verona, Cagliari and Cremonese from what I heard.
And Pisa as well.
And Pisa, like 3
3
out of those.
4.
हाँ, 3 out of those 4. ठीक है, fair enough.
चलो, bold
just
prediction
highlighting some comments. But yeah, अजय भाई, नापोली हमने कवर किया. योगेश, hang around as much as you can. Obviously, अपने पैनल का पूरा प्रीव्यू है.
Yeah.
What was next, Ajay bhai, on the agenda? Even I need to.
Yes, so we are
because
going to go to we are going to your favorite manager of all time. Parab.
let me.
Eusebio Di Francesco has been hired once again. He always gets a job. दोस्तों, अगर आपको लगता है कि आपको जिंदगी में जॉब नहीं मिल रहा है, टेक इंस्पिरेशन फ्रॉम EDF. हर साल वो एक टीम को रेलीगेट कराता है, लेकिन फिर भी उसको जॉब सेरिया में ही मिलते हैं उसको. So he's back this time as a manager of Lecce. Lecce have sold their star forward Kristovic to
मैं pull
Atalanta.
up कर रहा हूँ. Yeah, pulling it
And
up.
they brought in teenage striker from AC Milan, Francesco Camarda on loan. But Di Francesco manager है परम. तो तू ही बता क्विकली यार, लेचे का क्या तेरे को लगता है, क्या होने वाला है?
So quickly, अगर आप अराइवल्स देखो, लेचे is known to do business like this. उनका जो स्पोर्टिंग डायरेक्टर है बहुत फेमस है, पैंटालेओ कॉर्विनो करके. उसका वो फिलॉसफी है कि वो हमेशा अच्छे प्लेयर्स को हाई प्राइसेस में बेचता है. एंड ही इज वन ऑफ द बेस्ट डायरेक्टर्स. एंड ही बट द रीइन्वेस्टिंग फी इज नेवर on a top player, it's always on youngsters. That's the philosophy they have continued this window as always. Simple चीज है, last year I feel they should have, अगर आप last year का prediction देखो, I thought they would finish mid table because they actually had a good squad. But मेरे लिए वो लोग हमेशा गलत coaches hire करते गए. Gianpaolo, all these clowns, and they have hired another clown who I cannot stand at all, Eusebio Di Francesco. This is a coach I absolutely dislike in the world of football. I cannot stand him. मतलब he's not a relegation specialist. He's like a failure जो last 2 season में 2 club को relegate कर चुका है. As you can sense the discontent I have towards him. So मेरे लिए मुझे गंदी feeling आ रही है he's going to get Lecce relegated, which is sad because you have Francesco Camarda जो अभी Krstovic को replace करने वाला है, is going to start, right? Weekend Viria, a 17-year-old kid is going to start in place of Krstovic, who has signed for Atalanta. अगर आप देखो departures में they've sold big names. Baskirotto, Cremonese, yeah, big loss. Krstovic, again, Atalanta, 25 million steal. Rebic, experience gone. Chintan Bhai's favorite player of all time. So a lot has happened. What I will say quickly to analyze Lecce, see, they play a 4-3-3 and everything. Di Francesco के अंदर मेरी नेगेटिविटी किधर से आ रही है कि अगेन अ लॉट ऑफ यंग प्लेयर्स हैव कम इन वेरी क्विकली. आई विल टेल यू, talented. Again, Siebert is a very highly rated German center back in the under 23 scene. Again, even Matias Perez को थोड़ा Sottil, again waste player. Sorry. Again, AC Milan में last season था वो bench पे, was absolutely useless. He has attitude issues. So this squad is very weak in my opinion. Not very weak, but kind of weaker than last season. Too dependent on young players. Not a fan of that. And last season से थोड़ा important experience गया है. If I have to highlight key players to keep an eye on, I will always say Antonino Gallo, the left back. I always feel he's better, good enough for a mid-table team. Kialonda Gaspar करके भी एक center back है उनका जो is very good, but again does not get enough credit. He's 27 years old. But apart from that, honestly, I'm very worried about Lecce. I think वो लोग relegate हो जाएंगे also because of the coach. हाँ.
So you have them as relegation contenders for sure.
कंटेंडर्स आउटराइट, हाँ आउटराइट नहीं एकदम, पर कंटेंशन में होंगे. मेरे रीजंस मैं आपको बाद में बताऊंगा. मे बी दे कुड बी सेफ, बट टैलेंट है, मतलब यंग प्लेयर्स आ रहे, बट बहुत प्रेशर है उन यंग प्लेयर्स पे कीप अप करने के लिए, बिकॉज अदर टीम्स आर स्टैकिंग अप विद एक्सपीरियंस एंड दिस इज अ प्रॉब्लम इन टर्म फॉर मी इन टर्म व्हेन इट कम्स टू Lecce. अगेन देयर आर सम डिसेंट प्लेयर्स. क्विकली, Camarda, Pierotti ठीक है, योर Tete Morente is also fine. And at best, Lasana Koulibaly, and I would say, as I said, Kialonda Gaspar. That's it. And Falcone is a good shot stopper in goal. But this is a problem. Replacing Baskirotto, who went to Cremonese, relegation rivals. This is a big gap. And when your Di Francesco becomes the coach, you know you cannot get things over the line. जो Venezia के साथ
परम तू बीच में शंकर महादेवन बन जाता, तू breathless चले जाता तू.
No, I just cannot stand. I just cannot stand Di Francesco. So this is my dislike towards him. I just cannot stand this guy. He's very annoying. So yeah, quickly, one of the relegation. Yeah.
Quickly, Param, let's move on from Di Francesco to Cagliari.
Done. We can move on to Cagliari. Just give me 1 second to pull up their lineups. Until then, just take some comments.
अभी तू ब्रेथ लेगा, मालूम है शंकर महादेवन का जो ब्रेथलेस था.
This won't have a lot of hatred because Cagliari फिर भी ठीक है. Like डी फ्रेंचेस्को जब आता है तो एक अलग लेवल का गलत डायरेक्शन में पैशन चला जाता है मेरा. Like I just cannot stand the guy, but whatever it is.
Good to see this. Yeah, Ridwan. He's a Real Madrid fan, but he's been following Calcio since 2009. He's an Inter fan. तो यार तो.
Wow, that's nice to see. Right club. nice clubs. Breakout player के लिए स्वयं मैं mainly ना Camarda ही बोलूंगा, because again the newcomers still need some time to adapt. But yeah, this is very unfortunate, the situation. Let me just pull up Cagliari's quickly. Just give me 1 minute.
Ash Talks Football का prediction है कि Milan will finish 5th because हमारा Rajinder Man City का, and obviously he's been balling there. So very bold prediction.
Yeah, very bold prediction. ठीक है, Cagliari की squad quickly अजय भाई. Again, what I've been saying about Cagliari is कि उन्होंने ना एक one of the best sporting directors जाके हायर किया है in Italian football. Guido Angelozzi करके नाम है. He's actually stabilized a lot of lower table clubs. He made sure Spezia returned to the Serie A after decades. All these clubs, Frosinone को when Di Francesco was coaching Frosinone, he was the reason why Frosinone came back to the Serie A. Lot of underrated business done by your Cagliari. If I had to quickly show you their squad, अगर आप देखो Zito Luumbo ठीक है, bench player. Piccoli unfortunately sold to Fiorentina for 27 million. But अगर आप देखो Sebastiano Esposito ले लिया Inter से, I feel he has some potential, so not bad. Apart from that, Folorunso from Fiorentina they've gotten, I feel, a decent signing, adds a lot of physicality to midfield. Defense is actually pretty decent. Obaid hai, Mina hai, obviously. So a lot of decent business done by them. What I would say is the problem right now is they're still figuring out their team. किसको sign करना है, किसको नहीं करना है. Their coach If you remember Ajay bhai, their former player Fabio Pisa ka ne karke, he's the coach,
Yeah.
and
Of
he has
course.
does not have much coaching experience apart from youth level. अगर आप देखो इनके अभी तक acquisitions, Kilic is very highly rated, but again very raw player. Zortea just left for Bologna yesterday, so थोड़ा गैप है फिल करने के लिए. But overall, I feel it's a very decent team because again, थोड़े decent players है आपके squad में. You still have players like Adopo and all these guys who have experience playing for Atalanta.
And
Again,
also
हाँ बोल.
Shivam's favorite player, Yerry Mina.
येरी मीना है, गब्रिएले जापा है जो लॉन्ग रेंज गोल मारता है. सो प्री सीजन बहुत वियर्ड था. मैंने इनके फिक्सचर्स के रिजल्ट्स देखे. आई डिड नॉट कैच द गेम. दे डिड नॉट हैव अ ग्रेट प्री सीजन, बट I would say they're better than some of the teams and as a result will be decent enough to survive. Now, अगर ये लोग पिक्कोली को रिप्लेस नहीं करेंगे and if they rely on this pensioner Paolotti, then it's a problem because he's a Serie C level player. He's not even a Serie B level player. So that's the reality. But I have a weird thing. I have them as relegation candidates, but I feel बच जाएंगे. Players to keep an eye out very quickly. Riyad Idrisi करके left back है. What again one key approach they're resorting to. So basically, if you remember Ajay bhai, Davide Nicola जो Cremonese का coach है, was their former coach, right? He left them because they decided to rely more on younger players, which is like the likes of Riyad Idrisi and all these guys. So that is a risk they are willing to take. They want to rely on more young players, and that is why they will be in contention for relegation. But I feel कैसे तो survive कर लेंगे because they're just a tad bit better than some of the other relegation teams. Yeah, that's my take on Cagliari very quickly.
Fair. योगेश, तेरे को क्या लगता है? Do you feel that Cagliari can survive or outright तेरे को हेलास वेरोना को ही तेरे को relegate कराना है?
नहीं हेलास तो out of like personal vendetta में बोल रहा हूँ.
अपन आएंगे. We will come towards Hellas का transfers in and out.
Yeah. I know. Cagliari.
Yeah. Cagliari तो जा सकते हैं. Like they have if they don't perform, they are very big candidates to go down here.
Yeah. I think we'll take a few comments after we cover a couple of more clubs. We'll keep on taking comments. Don't worry, guys. Ajay bhai, you want to take over? Which club do we have next?
We have Inter. We have Internazionale Parab, which is going to be very interesting. You know, because मेरे को ना एक ही चीज लास्ट सीजन से याद आता है. योगेश बार बोला कि I hope that Inter play in Europe, burn themselves out, and we win Serie A. Now that happened and much more. पर अब तेरी जिंदगी में मार्च से क्या चल रहा है? March to today we are in like August. What's been happening in your life?
मैं देखो पर्सनली वैसे पूछोगे तो भाई मैं फुटबॉल देख ही रहा हूँ. आप लोग जितना देख रहे हो तो मेरे को लाइक ऑनेस्टली इतना बॉदर नहीं करता है बिकॉज आई हैव सीन वर्स डेज. आई हैव सीन माय क्लब फिनिश 9th एंड एवरीथिंग इन द बैंटर एरा. सो उतना तो बॉदर नहीं करता. बट ऑब्वियसली आई कैन अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट यू मीन. एक तो बिफोर आई गेट इनटू इंटर, दिस इज अ वेरी गुड पॉइंट बिकॉज दे डिड नॉट बीट एनी बिग क्लब एंड दैट इज वन कंसर्न. थैंक यू गुरशन फॉर पॉइंटिंग इट आउट. बट हाँ, सिंपल चीज बहुत कुछ हुआ उस टाइम से. ऑब्वियसली क्लब वर्ल्ड कप में जो हुआ, जैसे मैंने बोला था, the loss to Fluminense and everything after that, the whole drama with Hakan, Lautaro, वो हो गया. फिर वो सॉल्व हुआ. Then Simone Inzaghi leaving, and I mean Simone Inzaghi left before that, but Christian Kivu has to now deal with a lot of things. And then obviously Lookman का जो saga था, because Lookman is what is the player Kivu wanted badly, because we still need that X factor kind of player in the team. और obviously वो deal हुई नहीं because no party wanted to budge, and obviously Lookman को जाना था. Lookman even did not train with the team and everything, and lot of, I feel, जब चीजें अच्छी चल रही थी, बिजनेस बहुत क्विकली रैप अप किया. पेटर सुचिच, लुइस एनरिके, this guy, even POS positive returning, and so a lot of things happened very quickly. But उसके बाद से since Kivu became the coach officially, उसके बाद से एक साइनिंग हुआ है जो भी वो कल जाके हुआ एंडी ड्यूफ का. I mean तब से लेकर
out of nowhere he wasn't even linked.
They worked on it under the radar actually. So funnily enough, Andy Diouf was wanted badly by Conte at Napoli, and he preferred joining Inter. So वो एक चीज है, future storyline है. अगर आपको फॉलो करती है, बट नहीं सी हाँ दे वर्क ऑन इट अंडर द रेडार. लियोनी टारगेट था जैसे आप जानते हो, बट इंटर हैड टू सेल सम ऑफ द डेडवुड to raise funds for Leone, and you cannot compete with Premier League money. So Liverpool signed him very quickly. Lookman again 45 million, 50 million. Again, low criticize करेंगे, but you have to remember Inter has spent 66.3 million without any sales. This is before Zalewski got sold and everything, I'm saying. So that has not happened at Inter in a while. Inter usually sells players then buys players. But ये 66.3 million being spent without any sales is a big deal. And उसके बाद तो स्लो डाउन होने ही वाला था मार्केट. एंड ये एक वियर्ड अनरेस्ट है इंटर फैन बेस में. अरे तुम लोग साइन नहीं करते हो, तुम लोग यंगर प्लेयर्स साइन कर रहे हो. एंड दिस इज द हिपोक्रेसी इन द इंटर फैन बेस की. लास्ट सीजन जब इंटर की टीम थक गई थी, they were like, oh, we have old players. Now when we are signing younger players, the fans are like, अरे तुम किसको उठा रहे हो कौन से लीग से. My simple argument to that is, भाई तुम अगर एक प्लेयर को देखते नहीं हो ना, तो दैट डजंट मीन अ प्लेयर इज बैड. Go out, use your brains, watch the player, read about the player, and then make a decision. Simple as that, right? And this goes to anyone in the footballing world. If you don't know about a certain player, do your research before calling that player trash. Basically, this is the frustration in the Inter fan base right now. They just call any player trash if they've not watched the player. But I feel we have a good squad. Again, we'll get to it. I see the feeling is weird mainly because Kivu has only coached 17 games, including the 4 games at the Club World Cup, right? और उसके बाद आप क्वेश्चन करो, कैन ही कमांड द स्क्वाड? ही हैज अ वेरी गुड कम्युनिकेशन स्ट्रेटेजी, जो मैंने उस दिन मैंने संदा मॉन्ग पे भी बोला था. ही इज अ वेरी गुड कम्युनिकेटर, उसको आइडियाज कम्युनिकेट करना आता है. बट when the things when the going will get tough during the season, can he command a Lautaro Martinez? Can he command a Alessandro Bastoni? Can he command a Nicolo Barella, who have been at the club for a while? And so far the players have had very good things to say about him, but this is pre-season. When the going gets tough is when we will see what happens. So wo question marks hai. Tactically he wanted to play a 3-4-1-2, but last preseason game में against Olympiacos he reverted to a 3-5-2 बिकॉज उसको पता है भाई मेरे पास हाई लाइन में खेलने के लिए डिफेंडर अब तक आया नहीं है, मेरे पास लुकमन टाइप प्लेयर है नहीं अभी तक और शायद आएगा भी नहीं. तो ही इज लाइक there is confusion from the management. They moved on too late from the Lukman saga. They should have moved on quickly. They should have signed a defender first, midfielder, and then last में करना चाहिए था striker. So अभी midfielder sign कर दिया, अभी center back पे next focus जाएगा. I don't know who the target is because lot of reports are saying foreign से sign करने वाले हैं center back. I have no idea. It's a very weird one because none of the journalists, even Fabrizio Romano, if you like Fabrizio Romano, he absolutely knows nothing about Inter, what is going on right now. Di Marzio also does not know anything. So it's very confusing. I can only tell you is that if Taremi and Palacios leave is when the players will start coming. So बहुत confusion है. Torino के लिए हम लोग ready है first game के लिए. It'll be a weird one. It'll be difficult. But yeah, Ajay, sorry if any further questions you have, because there's a lot of confusion at the club right now.
Can you pull up the starting 11 जो अभी फिलहाल जितने players हैं? How do you think
I'll show you the squad first. I'll show you the squad first before I move on to the
squad बता दे.
हाँ.
Because यार typically मैं अपना जो जितने भी viewers से बोलना चाहता हूँ कि Serie A clubs last day of the market तक रुकते हैं अपना squad complete करने के लिए. So all these teams are still far from their completed squads basically.
Yeah. And अगर आप देखो गोल में सोमर स्टार्ट करेगा, जोसेफ मार्टिनेज उसका बैकअप रहेगा. लेट्स सी नेक्स्ट ईयर व्हाट हैपेंस बिकॉज़ आई फील सोमर जाएगा. बास्टोनी, बीसेक, पावार्ड, डेवराय. दिस इज माय बिगेस्ट कंसर्न, द डिफेंस बेसिकली, द सेंटर बैक्स, बिकॉज़ मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ, यू नीड अ कमांडिंग सेंटर बैक हु कैन प्ले इन अ हाई लाइन. Devray or Acerbi preseason may have looked absolutely exhausted, and I know preseason is not the biggest metric, but again let me tell you, Inter is coming from a very long season. The heavy legs are still there. They showed better signs against Olympiacos, but not the best. I still don't understand why Pavard is considered for sale. Again, it's a financial reason more than anything, but it is above my head because he's still a top class player. Acerbi, Devray, sorry yaar, you need a commanding center back. Bisek is still good, no issues over there. Bastoni to hai. Di Marco got injured in the last game of preseason, so it was more precautionary. But again, his fitness issues, आप जानते हो जब मैं कितना rant किया उसके ऊपर. He's not the fittest players out there, and he is still struggling big time. He's the one struggling the most with fitness. So big concern. Carlos Augusto अच्छे touch में, so not worried. Denzel Dumfries is fine. डार्मियन को भाई आप जितना कम अभी थोड़ा यूज कर सकते हो बेटर है. आई लव डार्मियन बट यू हैव टू यूज हिम इन अ लिमिटेड रोल. हाकान के लिए नंबर 6 कौन खेलेगा, बिकॉज हाकान इज ऑल्सो बिट इंजरी प्रोन. Petar Sucic is the player I'm most excited about because he is one of the best Croatian talents upcoming in the world. उसको थोड़ा adaptation के लिए time देना पड़ेगा. He played as a 6 the other day. He struggled a bit, but he's a very good talent. So I'm very excited. Aslani has left on loan to Torino. Thanks for screwing up our market. We tried to sell him to Bologna, but he wanted high wages, and he actually turned down Bologna for Torino. Ajay bhai, that's just imagine. So Barella Fratesi not concerned. Fratesi will be unavailable mostly for the first match day because he's coming off a hernia surgery. So he's just recovering. He should be fine after that. Zielinski big disappointment. मतलब आप जानते हो अजय भाई last season barely खेला injuries, and if the squad is stacked in numbers, the club has informed from insiders. I can tell you the club has informed him that he will be the first name to be left out of the Champions League list. So keep an eye on that. Mkhitaryan old but still a starter. Luis Enrique interesting player, can play as a right wing back, left wing back, but is still adapting to the Inter environment. He had few struggles in pre-season, but he's adapting slowly. Very excited about Anjuan Boni. Ajay मैंने बोला था he's a very Thuram similar player and he's very good. He's been the best player in pre-season. Best physical condition, top mentality, so can't complain. Taremi has been told to leave the club, so he's not there. Pio Esposito, if Shivam is in the chat, I know he's a big fan. Probably right now Italy's most highly rated youth striker. Serie A B में last season 20 goal मारे, very good hold up play, and I'm glad the club decided to keep him. And Lautaro Thuram को finally proper backups मिले, unlike last season where the players were mostly unavailable. So very happy with this. This is the squad. Lineup के wise, just let me quickly show you. Shivam has shared something. I'll add my touch to it very quickly.
Esposito के लिए नापोली ने भी bid किया था, I guess 40-45 million.
But we were obviously
इंटर प्लेयर है वो, इंटर ही तो आएगा obviously.
भाई हम लोग को रिजेक्ट करना ही था. We gave him a contract till 2029 in response. So it would have been very. अगर मैं योगेश पर मैं तुझे लिख के बोलता हूँ कि अगर सिमोने इंजागी कोच होता ना अभी तो बेच देते उसको हम लोग, तुम लोग को.
By the way, ये एक कमेंट प्रणय भाई का है. He is obviously a City fan and watching De Bruyne in the blue of Napoli broke him. And यार प्रणय अभी तक अपना टेलीकास्ट का कुछ हुआ नहीं है. हमने एट द टॉप ऑफ स्ट्रीम काफी लोग ने भी एक्चुअली पूछा है टेलीकास्ट का क्या है. आप जाके स्टार्ट ऑफ स्ट्रीम में देखना. अभी तक वी स्टिल डोंट हैव एनी क्लैरिटी. It is sports.com who has bought the rights from JXR, but they don't have a platform to stream it as of now. This is sports.com. So जो भी पूछे where is Serie A going to be shown? Apparently it is here.
अभी तक कोई स्ट्रीमिंग का टैब नहीं है. ये इशू हमने एक्चुअली स्ट्रीम के स्टार्ट में ही एड्रेस किया था, बट ऑब्वियसली फॉर दोज हु जॉइंड इन लेट, this is the website that has taken over GXR. मैंने जैसे बोला financially GXR does not have anything left. They're out of money, whatever it is. पर अभी तक इस वेबसाइट पे कोई स्ट्रीमिंग का टैब नहीं है, so it is what it is. So let me quickly show you the expected starting 11 at Inter. Again मैंने जैसे बोला कीवू ने constantly stress किया प्री सीजन में कि उसको high intensity खेलना है, high press खेलना है with a more vertical game, more of a 3-4-1-2. But again in the last pre-season game he had to revert to a 3-5-2 because he knows कि अब तक उसके पास वो सेंटर बैक नहीं है, वो एक्स फैक्टर अटैकर नहीं है. सोमर इन गोल, जोसेफ मार्टिनेज शायद उसको और गेम टाइम मिले ये सीजन. पावार्ड if he stays he should start above Bisek, and Darmian which should be like the third choice defender anywhere, you know, as a wing back or as a center back. Bastoni left center back होगा. Augusto will play as his backup mostly because वो ही एक लेफ्ट सेंटर बैक है टीम में really, and Bisek can also play there. Acerbi Devray सेंटर में, which still concerns me. There has to be a center back coming in. डीमार्को लेफ्ट विंग बैक और ऑगुस्टो उसका बैकअप खेलेगा. एंड इधर आप क्वेश्चन कर सकते हो अजय भाई कि ज़लेव्स्की को क्यों बेचा, बट अगेन वी गॉट गुड मनी फॉर ज़लेव्स्की. यू सॉ दैट राइट? 17 million is good money.
That is really good money, man. I mean, absolutely good money.
But again ज़लेव्स्की का जो प्रोफाइल, लाइक अगेन आप जानते हो मैं भी क्रिटिकल था. ज़लेव्स्की ऐसा प्लेयर है ना, वो खेल अलग जगहों पे लेता है. वो लेफ्ट विंग बैक खेल सकता है, वो मिडफील्ड में खेल सकता है, राइट? सो उस पर्सपेक्टिव से मेनी फैंस ऑफ आवर्स कंप्लेन एंड आई अंडरस्टैंड इट, कांट ब्लेम देम. Moving on, Çalhanoğlu will start over Sucic. Sucic is not going to start as 6. And 6 pe mostly, in my opinion, Zielinski, Barella will keep on rotating with Hakan. Sucic will play primarily as an 8 and then maybe will be tried out as a 6. Fratesi खेलेगा 8. Diouf आ गया अभी, Andy Diouf loan से, और वो Zielinski, Mkhitaryan, your number 8 on the left. Obviously, Shivam is still salty about the semi-final, so he's decided to rename Dumfries over there. Or obviously, Acuna मार खा गया इसलिए शायद, but Dumfries will start over Luis Enrique definitely. Luis Enrique can also play as a left wing back, so देखो rotation बहुत है. And Thuram and Lautaro Martinez will start, and Lautaro का backup is Pio Esposito जैसे pre-season में था, और Thuram का backup is Bonni because they're very similar. So this is the team. Overall, personally,
By the way,
पूछो, I'm not.
By the way, Param, since Ritam has joined us, on this live stream, let me ask him the question right away. Ritam, where do you see Ademola Lookman playing in the Inter starting 11?
Yeah, on the under 23 side, new under 23 side playing in the CDC.
Wow.
Yeah, because I've been enjoying this saga. Now, obviously, he looks like that he will stay. So I don't know where he will play for either of this club. I think we will try to reintegrate him. I don't know where, but yeah, he's too good of a player to be frozen out like that, especially for a club like Atalanta. That's the thing.
Fair. I'll come to you, Ritam.
We'll come to Atalanta. How has Suchich been? He's again been one of the most consistent players in pre-season here, so no complaints. Him and Bonni have been standout players. So definitely a top signing. Not worried over there, to be honest, personally. But yeah, Ajay, go ahead.
Param, before we obviously close out Inter, your quick thoughts. Where will Inter finish in the Champions League and in the Coppa Italia?
ये मैंने जैसे उस दिन मैनेसन द मॉन्ग में बोला, थोड़ा sort of reboot है, not a full reboot, but a lot of fresh faces, a lot of inexperience. It takes time, so I feel even if we reach the round of 16 of the Champions League, अच्छा रहेगा. Realistically, again, all depends on the draws, but I think we're still good enough to make it to the round of 16. If we don't, I'll be a bit surprised. मैं ये नहीं बोल रहा top 8 में आएंगे Champions League के वो नए format में. But whatever happens, I see us in the round of 16, and then let's see. Again, it all depends on the draws at the end of the day. Why am I even talking about Super Coppa? Forget it. Technically I can still, but Super Coppa, I don't know. Doesn't matter. Get the money. If we win, good for Kivu. He can get.
Yeah. Move on.
See, for me, trophy, unlike Yogesh, for me, trophy is a trophy. So, jeete to acha hai, trophy is a trophy. Because Napoli, of course. Yogesh are not used to winning that much silverware, so not my issue. But Coppa Italia on the other hand, you have to reach the semis at least. No complaints over there. Sorry, no complaints over there. And Serie A, जहाँ सबसे मेरा बड़ा doubt है.
Wait. Let's start with relegation first. Relegation. Your three teams. Sorry, two teams. Lecce तो तूने confirm कर दिया relegate होने वाला है.
Lecce, yes, because I cannot stand Di Francesco tax. I have Hellas Verona, not because of my bias. Abhijay वो पहले उस पे वही बोलेगा, but they have really built a squad very poorly and they've sold their best players, which we'll come to, and it's looking really bad. And the third spot is quite open. Cagliari, Pisa maybe, quite open. मैं शायद बोलूँगा Cagliari, I feel, or Pisa, one of the two. Not Cremonese. I think Cremonese, or even maybe Cremonese will be in this thing. But I feel Cagliari goes down with Pisa Cane as the inexperienced. Parma is a good shout because I don't have faith in them. Unke do new signings have got injured for a long time. So Parma maybe. Yeah. But yeah, that's my relegation shout.
And your top 6, top 7, starting with the Scudetto.
Scudetto, I think one or two I will say Napoli or Milan. I feel one of these two teams. Milan ka with obviously, देखो मैं बार-बार बोलता हूँ, playing less games doesn't mean you're a Scudetto favorite, but also you have to remember that they have built a good squad. So Napoli, Milan 1-2. I think 3. I think will be us Inter. I feel we should be good enough unless something goes really crazy. And 4th Juventus मेरे हिसाब से. मेरे को लग रहा है Roma will need time in that first season because Gasperini को अब तक players नहीं मिले. So Roma 5th. 6th. I'll play Atalanta somewhere between 6th, 7th. I still feel they're decent enough. But again, you have to think of Bologna. So 6th Bologna and Como or Atalanta 7th is my prediction.
Fair.
Because Atalanta, I feel I can understand why they're so unhappy with obviously they've signed players now, but it's a bit too late as well to get things started. So yeah, that's where my prediction lies.
All right, so let's dive in. to Atlanta with Rhythm, who's
Yeah,
here.
let's go to
Yes.
Atalanta since Rhythm has come.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you pull out the signings, Param.
Yes, yes, I'm just doing that. I'm just doing that. Guys, जो भी देख रहा है, please do like, share and subscribe. We have Rhythm with us, who is an Atalanta fan from India. अगर आपने पहले देखा नहीं है, he is going to obviously dissect Atalanta. Let's. By the way, our sub count has suddenly gone up to 1.97k, surprisingly. So please, we are basically close to 82k. So get us there. I'm just pulling up Atalanta's squad right now as we speak. Obviously, Atalanta ने finally business करना चालू किया market में. And I'm sure Rhythm is slightly happier at least. Just let me pull up the transfers quickly. Yeah, I'll show the signings first. Rhythm very quickly. If you see, Krstovic has finally come in as the striker.
Yes.
Kusuno redeemed. Obviously, he was a player last season as well. Kamaldeen Sulemana bought in from Southampton. Juric wanted him badly. Zalewski taken from us, obviously. Honest Arnor from Genoa. Samardzic redeemed. Brescianini redeemed. And Sportiello as well. On the outgoing side of things, Retegi big sale, 68 million, big sale. Ruggeri bhi gaya, obviously your backup left back, and obviously we always saw potential in him. Piccoli, I mean, technically again Cagliari is going to sell him on anyways. Again, these were all fringe sales. Toloi also finally leaves Atalanta. Cuadrado left to join Pisa. What do you think? What's the Ajay, you want to take over since you are
Yeah,
hosting?
you can take over. You can take over.
What do you think, Rhythm? Because what's the feeling? Because before the Zalewski and Krstovic deals got done, a lot of negativity from the Atalanta fan base. 7th place, 8th
Yeah.
place, some predicted even worse. What's the feeling in the camp before we go into the signings and everything?
Yeah, basically I will just dissect our summer transfer business because yeah, everybody has been curious to know how we have been feeling. So yeah, basically we have replaced Gasperini with Ivan Juric, and obviously in the socials there had been moans of discontent about that. And before even the summer started, they had us finishing outside Europe. So I will get to it later. So yeah, after we got Ivan Juric, he obviously requested a signing Kamaldin Sulemana, obviously. And I just have to say that in the preseason games we have played, along with Samardzic and maybe Ahanor, he had been one of our brightest spots in the preseason. We didn't had a fantastic preseason per se, but yeah, we did some good business along the summer. But my problem with the business we have conducted was the time needed. We have our primary targets: Diego Moreira from Strasbourg and Rodrigo Muniz from Fulham. We took 2 months just to negotiate, arrange like trips to London. Like Parkasi was in London for like 10 days, and he was scouting Muniz and Mateta. He even watched the FA Cup final in Liverpool, not FA Cup final, Community Shield final.
Community Shield.
Yeah,
We saw
Liverpool.
your rant. Rhythm. We saw your rant.
Yeah. Well, my only problem was this, but the thing is that one good thing about this summer transfer is that they had their plan B ready. Even when the first target failed, like when Strasbourg rejected our bids or Fulham rejected our bids, they had their plan B ready. They got Jalowski for good sum, obviously. There was a good plus Valenza for Inter as well. And then I think Kristovic, maybe a bit of overpay, I think. But yeah, like the thing is that you are weakening a squad, you are weakening another squad so late in the transfer window. Obviously they are going to charge a bit above the radar prices. That's the thing. So yeah, we have secured these two transfer, and now we will move on to the next. But the thing is that the team is not still yet complete. That's my only reservations left from the rest of the transfer window. We still need a midfielder, and as I have mentioned in that rant, like Ibrahim Sulemana, as you have also mentioned in one of the previous teams, Ibrahim Sulemana was losing duels left and right against Leipzig. He cannot be the Dirun backup. And also I've dissected in one of my tactical threads as well on Twitter that Dirun was completely getting outpaced by mains, defenders, etc. That's the thing. We need a solid backup to not only complement him but to replace him in the long run, and we still haven't got it. That's my.
That's fair, because Ajay bhai, simply before I ask him about Juric, that Gasperini core basically जो था ना, that has started aging, and we can say it's mostly past them now. It's a new era. It's a new era under Juric. New players need. That's why Juric was vocal about it, because new players need time to settle in. Whether it's
Yeah, yeah.
Krstovic, whether it's someone like a Daniel Maldini, who I still do not rate personally,
I'm
but
the
that's
only one who rates him. I'm the only
you're the
one who
only
rates
one
him
who rates
more than
them.
his father, I feel.
Yeah,
But
then like
I
even
have a question. I have a question for Yogesh. Yogesh, how much do you think was Atalanta's success down to Gasperini? Like, of course it is there, but now since he's left, do you think Atlanta will feel that Gasperini effect missing?
Yes, yeah, they will definitely feel that because the way Gasperini had built the entire club from ground up, right? Staying for so many years at Atlanta and doing a marvelous job, like across the years, right? Trophies are just one part of the game here, but to win matches continuously on difficult venues, difficult days with a limited set of players, that was really hats off to Gasperini for doing that for Atlanta. I think it was lot down to Gasperini here, like more because we are seeing so many players come in, get fame at Atlanta and go on to other clubs. That has happened a lot under Gasperini. So he has developed a lot of these players, right? Like Atlanta को juice हम लोग बोलते हैं, right? कि
Yeah.
there's some Gasperini juice that even players who don't perform at other places, they go to Atlanta and perform very well, right? So I think a lot of it was down to Gasperini, but it's an open-ended question right now. Yeah, like let's see where it goes. Like
yeah, yeah.
Gasperini,
Right.
the new question for us, and this new look Atlanta changing their guard after so many years. That's going to be a completely new thing. I just hope for the sake of Italian football that Atlanta continue to do well and keep fighting for the top places in the league. But it's an
Hmm.
open question here.
Fair enough, fair enough. And quickly again, Shivam made this a while back, so 100% accuracy मत expect करो, but expected rhythm quickly if you want to run through this. Karneseki obviously should be expected to start in goal. There's no doubt
Yeah,
over there.
yeah,
I'm pretty
obviously.
I'm pretty sure it's Scalvini, Hine, and Kusunu starting. Godfrey left for Sheffield United, so he's obviously not going to be a part of it. Atalanta. You obviously Kolasinac is out until Jan, if I'm not wrong, with ACL. So honest Anor, obviously you see him as a LCB, LB type of player. You have now with Zalewski, you have a versatile player who can play as a wing back and in midfield also if needed. Bakkar is
He can
also
play also ahead, like where Daniel Maldini is
yeah,
playing, because
yeah.
that's where he used to play for the Roma Primavera.
Sorry, Simone Inzaghi did use him there as well. Bakkar is out with ACL again. Belanova, yes, Palestra again. I will ask you out because very interesting talent. Midfield, as you said, fair concern because Ritam, obviously Derun, Ederson, and Ederson will have to carry a lot, and we know Ederson can also get injured here and there. As Ritam said, Atalanta को एक top quality midfielder चाहिए because they do not have a midfielder right now apart from Ederson who is good enough. Derun is regressing. Brescianini has disappointed, has not lived up to expectations. Maldini again, not sure where his career is headed. De Ketelaere had a drop off rhythm. Samardzic has to step up finally. Like every season, we look at the talent in this guy and we say, what is this guy doing with the talent he has? And it just does not step up. Lukman, we know probably we'll have to see whether he stays at Atalanta. What happens? Like because he's still training individually, obviously. Skamaka is back from his ACL. Krstovic, Bilal will mostly leave. Obviously, we know that. But Ritam, are you confident? Let me simply ask you before we close Atalanta. Juric as the coach, right after, and for me, Juric was always the man to succeed Gasperini after his Hellas Verona Torino spells. But his Roma spell, Southampton spell obviously went badly. He has a point to prove, but he's not in a great space. You have Skamaka coming back from ACL. You have thinness in this squad, and there are a lot of unknown factors. How are like do you have any optimism going into the season, and what are you actually expecting from Ivan Juric?
Well, the thing is that just like you, I also had Ivan Juric as one of our potential successors back in 2023 when
Yeah,
I pulled out a tweet some days ago and I said that, and it I showed that I had Ivan Juric, Italiano, and Thiago Motta, and they all were on the shortlist for Atalanta
yeah,
for
yeah,
the potential Gasperini successor. So yeah, Ivan Juric, obviously, he had a really good 4 or 5 seasons for Hellas Verona and then Torino. But yeah, the failed season last year, obviously, his reputation went down a lot. Like I, like I'm baffled to see some predictions from top sites that they are even putting us out of the top 10 places, which is absolutely baffling. Because the thing is that even the worst coach, if we hire, the thing is that the team is really good for at least the top 8 places, for in my
Yeah,
opinion. Because
yeah,
even there are yeah, even there are some glaring holes in the team. The starting 11 is absolutely fine. I am not too much obviously pessimistic about the starting 11, but the thing is that it is a long season. We will still play in the Champions League, and is this a Champions League level squad? I honestly don't know, because yeah, in
mm,
Champions League you don't only need the quality, you will need the depth also. And the thing is that the depth just isn't there. Like we may get there somehow, like some loan deals will come in. Obviously we are interested in Yunus Musa for our midfield from Milan, and obviously we are interested in another left back to complement and put Japacosta permanently on the right side. So yeah, that's the thing. The depth factor will be a massive issue. But yeah, Ivan Juris has in the press conference that they address this issue, like yeah, I'm not getting the players, etc., etc.
yes,
Like Gasparini used to play mind games. Like he would what should I say, deliberately lose friendlies just to prove a point to the society. Ivan Juris didn't do that, but Ivan Juris in his press conference also ranted. So basically, I will just have to say I'm reserving my predictions for the till the end of this month and till the Champions League draw. So let's see. But yeah, I still think that we are good enough for those fifth to eight places, like the scrap for the Champions League and
fair
for the
enough.
European places.
Fair enough. So quickly, Ritam,
Sure, sure.
your let's start with this. Your
Let's
relegation
start with
picks.
no. Let's. So he said Serie A ka Champions League, Ritam, because you guys are still playing Champions League. How far do you think, and what will be a successful season according to you, uh, in terms of where Atlanta finishes the Champions League?
Well, the thing is that the reputation Atalanta have built over the years, a successful season is a top four finish or a trophy, some any trophy. And I do feel I have one obviously hot take that we have a more chance of winning a domestic trophy with Ivanovic than Gasparini, because there were some
Ooh.
games some games under Gasperini where we couldn't close the game out. His high line tactics, obviously, he has modified his way in the later stages, but some games we his high line tactics did cost us. And even Juris is notorious for closing game out using mind games like bad tactics, haram ball, as they say in social media, etc., etc. So I just have that, yeah, I just have that one hot take about Ivan Juric, that he might win a domestic trophy in whatever years he stays with Atalanta, however many years he stays with Atalanta. And that's the thing. Like for me the successful season this season will be a like quarterfinal finish, round of 16 quarterfinal finish. Like we got knocked out a bit earlier, we got knocked out in the playoffs for the round of 16. But yeah, I think we will get to the round of 16 somehow this year. In the Serie A it will be top 4, but yeah, European places will be fine, just fine for me. And for Coppa Italia I think yeah,
So
semis or
Ritam,
final.
yeah.
Fair enough.
So Ritam, so you have in the Champions League round of 16, Coppa Italia victory. Okay,
Wow.
Yeah.
Italia win. Start with the relegation. Bottom three. Who do you think will be the bottom three?
Just plainly tell us. Don't need to explain. Just tell us whatever it is.
Yeah.
Even
Just
if
tell
you
me.
say Napoli, it's fine. Just joke.
Yeah, I also think Cagliari, I had them as hot take for the relegation, and I still have them. Cagliari, I think Pisa and Lecce, they are my favorites for the relegation. I think Hellas
Nobody
Verona
likes.
just will barely survive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Abhijay, you can be happy in the chat. Somebody has relegated Hellas surviving this season so far. But yeah,
And your top seven, starting with the
in
Scudetto
order.
winners.
Yeah,
There is a hot take there also. AC Milan to be the Scudetto champions.
Ooh.
fair enough.
Then obviously Napoli following them. I think the Champions League will drill them a bit, but I still think they have a good squad. With the new signing, if the new signing gel well with the rest of the team, I think they are going to have a really good squad. Then obviously Inter as third and Juventus as fourth. Roma as fifth, like obviously everyone has predicted that only. Atalanta as sixth. Then I think Fiorentina again getting the Conference League place seventh. They will not escape that. Yeah, in my lifetime they will not escape that.
Yeah. I think Ridwan, just to quickly take this, I think we pretty much answered this that that there is Pritham gave his hot take with Juric, but he also said that there is a void. Naturally so. Gasperini also wanted certain players. He did not get them because he had 1 year left on his contract, and that's why he left. He left on the terms. He left on the best in the best way possible without throwing much fit or anything. And I think it's time for a new cycle that they have to move on. So yeah, those were his predictions for Atalanta. Let's see where we go because this is 9 years. 9 years of work, Ajay bhai, is now finally there is a big change and a big question mark over Atalanta. Where are they headed? What happens? But Ajay, I think we should move on. I think we can
Yeah,
move on
we can
from
move on.
Atalanta.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks,
So
Ritam. Thanks for joining
thanks
in.
for hopping on, Ritam.
Okay, welcome.
Appreciate it and keep the
Thanks.
Twitter stuff going on. And Atalanta, for your sake, hopefully we'll have a good season. And I hope you guys maybe towards the end of the market give us Lukman on a loan deal or something. So, so yeah,
Loan with obligation to buy the Interway.
I'll take it, and I'll take it. But all jokes aside, thank you for coming on. Really appreciate it, and for your sake, I hope
Thanks.
Atalanta do well.
Yeah, thank you
Thank you
for taking me also. Yeah.
no worries. Thank you for coming on. Ajay, bhai, next, where do we go?
Next, we are going to go to the side of our chat, Hellas Verona. By the
Abhijay,
way,
get ready, bro.
by the way, Verona is such a beautiful city. मैं
No,
तुमको बोल नहीं सकता इतना सुंदर शहर है लेकिन उसमें जो सबसे घटिया चीज है वो ये हेलास टीम है किएवो वेरोना आर द टीम रियल टीम ऑफ वेरोना
Kievo Verona. Sorry,
donkeys
correct. You're right.
donkeys flew Kievo were flying in Europe unlike Hellas who are a freaking disgrace and again Param they have sold everyone this year but somehow they always find a way to survive
Wait,
इस
but
बार तो
but
भाई
my, no, this time, like again, Abhijay, this is now मैं अपना bias बाजू में रखूंगा. This time, objectively, my analysis, I'm actually concerned about Hellas Verona. American owners आए हैं, नए American Italian owners, and उन्होंने क्या किया है basically. See, again, Italian clubs को financially योगेश stable रहना पड़ता है तो players खाली करने पड़ते हैं. और ये हुआ है obviously तू departures की list देख. चाचा हुआ, one of their best players went to Wolves. Coppola 10 million के, it's 10 million plus bonuses. I don't understand how none of the big three picked him up. Whatever. Gilardi Roma गया, Duda experienced player गया. Lot of important players lost, and look at the incomings are very disappointing. Amin Sar did not make much impact. A lot of them are very less impact. As you can see, Ajay, 25, 26-year-old players, inexperienced players. There is nothing to write home about. I was doing my research on these players as well. Really nothing to be excited about और बहुत question marks है. मैंने हेलास वेरोना के थोड़े फैंस के भी कमेंट्स पढ़े. लॉट ऑफ नेगेटिविटी. देयर कंसर्न कि भाई ये किस टाइप के साइनिंग्स किए, मतलब क्या ही चल रहा है क्लब में. लॉट अगेन जैसे आपने बोला, हेलास वेरोना इज दैट वन क्लब जो रैंडमली कोई भी जेम निकाल लेता है, राइट. बट इस टाइम ऐसा लग नहीं रहा है. इस टाइम वो लग नहीं रहा है. इस टाइम दिस इज जेन्युइनली कंसर्निंग, in terms of planning. ठीक है, विक्टर नेल्सन लिया गैलेटासराय से, but he was at always nothing great. Maybe he'll do okay for Hellas. Unai Nunez ठीक है, चलो सेल्टा से. Shivam told us about Yelu Santiago, चलो ठीक है. There's nothing to write home about, and it's a big concern. अगर एक player, अगर if you want to keep an eye on, at best I would say is, before I close Hellas Verona, is Daniel Mosquera. At best वो भी कितना करेगा. They've spent some money, if I'm not wrong, on this guy over here, 3 million, and he was not even that good at Corinthians, Giovanni. So yeah, I had asked him about this player, and even he did not know. So it's a big concern. ये लोग क्या कर रहे हैं. Valentini is also a very okay center back, but nothing to write home about. Very concerned, and that's why I have them as relegation candidates. As simple as that. Abhijay, I would be very concerned. As simple, it's really looking bad. Then what you guys do in January is a different story.
Fair enough. Fair enough. By the way, I don't have them as relegation contenders. I'm just giving you all a heads up. I don't have them as relegation contenders because I feel the
Interesting.
other sides are far worse, and somehow Hellas
Yeah.
Verona find a way to pull it off and survive. But anyway, let's move on to some more relegation threatened sides. Let's talk about let's talk about Cremonese. Obviously
Hmm.
now newly promoted from Serie B. हम लोग ने हमारे kid stream में किया one of the most interesting colors. They called the Grigio Rossi, the grey and reds. And Param quickly यार Cremonese का
Pulling
pull
it
out
off.
कर before we move
Quickly.
on. यार Yogesh, this was a freak result, right? Hellas 3-0 last season.
Yeah, in the hindsight, I am happy for that result because
I will.
that was a
I
shock.
will. No.
That was the like shocker for De Laurentiis and the Napoli management कि भाई जाग जाओ वरना
Why?
ये सीजन लग जाएगी.
Actually, Abhishek, even I will be thankful for that win for Hellas Verona. I'll tell you why. Because it gave us one of the best clips where Conte was caught in 4K calling Juan Jesus a thing. I think that was one of the best clips at the start of the season. So thank you to Hellas Verona for that. But quickly, Cremonese, what is the talk of the town? Shivam has also sent me a lineup which I'll pull very quickly. But Sanabria, Shivam ka's favorite player, has signed from Torino. Baskirotto, जो muscular center back है, very good signing. उनका कोच इज वेरी गुड दाविडे निकोला मतलब बहुत अच्छा प्लेयर है कोच है सॉरी लाइक ही वी नो दैट वी कॉल हिम द सैम एलरडाइस ऑफ इटली and honestly he's a better coach than Sam Allardyce with all due respect to Sam Allardyce. But apart from that Ajay bhai I'm a bit worried क्योंकि मैंने बोला था मैं देख सकता हूँ क्रेमोनेसे को सर्वाइव करते हुए but the problem is they are looking to over rely only on a few players. I'll give you those names. Antonio Sanabria one, Franco Vasquez, you know, a veteran of the Serie A, but look at he's 36 now.
Yeah.
And then Baskirotto, and obviously your favorite player here, सबका favorite player, Ira. He is not that good, obviously. Yeah.
Right, Mussolini on the right wing.
Yes, अगर आपको नहीं पता ये मुसोलिनी का
great grandson है.
great grandson है.
Great
So,
Great,
yeah,
great.
Exactly. So he's related to Benito Mussolini. That is actually a fact. Petzela ठीक है, but I'm worried apart from that because ये लोग के squad से clearly पता चल रहा है they're only looking to rely on a few players and even their top attackers do not have double figure goals. Like अगर मैं Sanabria को भी लूँ, Dennis Torset Johnson को भी लूँ, again he was supposed to be a very good player, did not turn out. Zerbin, Yogesh तू जानता है he is just stuck in that loop. He's not developing into a good player. You have watched him at Napoli. So I'm concerned. I think they'll survive only because of some other clubs being bad. One positive is a Bondo maybe might do well over there. But yeah, Ajay, again, concerned. Have them as relegation candidates, but maybe like 15-16 type ऐसा शायद हो जाए. You know, बच जाए.
Fair. Let's move on quickly from Hellas Verona now to our man Chintan in the house. Sorry. Hellas and Cremonese. To Chintan who's joined us. Chintan,
What's up?
Let's talk about AC Milan. I think हम लोग तेरे लिए रुके थे आने के लिए थे टाइमिंग भी एकदम परफेक्ट था बिकॉज हमारे जो नेक्स्ट एजेंडा में था वो मिलान ही था so we were anticipating that you will come. Allegri has come back. He's been signing players left, right, center. You guys have been selling players, man. I mean, finally getting a transfer fee that's worthy after what happened with Tijani and almost close to signing Victor Boniface also from Leverkusen. How's the mood in the camp? सबसे पहले.
I'm very happy. I don't know about everyone else. I think I'm very happy as a Milan fan. एक तो नो यूरोप उनको बहुत ही बड़ा किक ऑन द बैक साइड मिल गया है. अगर कोपा इटालिया जीत जाते ना तो पेपर ऑन द क्रैक्स जैसा हो जाता टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट एंड नॉट विनिंग. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल साइनिंग होने के पहले सबसे बड़ा साइनिंग हुआ था वाज गेटिंग अ स्पोर्टिंग डायरेक्टर. कैसा हाउ द हेल वाज अ क्लब रनिंग विदाउट अ स्पोर्टिंग डायरेक्टर ये तो मुझे पता नहीं है बट वेलकम टू इटली बोल सकते हैं हम लोग उसको. सो यार आई थिंक स्टेप नंबर 1 वाज गेटिंग a sporting director. उसके बाद getting a manager so early, giving a full pre-season. Finally, the Milan directors put their ego aside and asked the manager, भाई तुमको कौन सा player चाहिए? And finally, we are buying players which he wants. देख एक ऐसा season है ना, top 4 तो चाहिए, of course, with how it is going. I'm just very happy that Milan are showing some direction. Milan are showing that we are going to buy players which is going to suit Allegri. Allegri को थोड़ा free hand मिला है. Tijani जाने का बहुत बड़ा अफसोस है. But to be very honest, मेरे को तो लग रहा है midfield is Milan's best forte right now. Like the best, सबसे shored up मेरे को मिलान का midfield लग रहा है. You put Tijani in this midfield, so we would be Champions League contenders. So I think this is a great Allegri step number one. I've seen the preseason, defensively shored up लग रहा है. And जैसे हम लोग ने offline ही बात किया है यार, like with Parma and Ajay, that you know Liao probably needs a manager जो उसके एक सोटी लेके बैठेगा, उसके 2-3 उसको लगाएगा.
अपना जो ये स्कूल में टीचर्स रहते छड़ी लेके ऐसा
छड़ी वही. So and that is what, and I saw the, I don't know if you guys saw Milan versus Liverpool, and I think it was something else.
Haram ball Pro Max.
And but Leo was Pro Max. So even मेरा बात निधि और मानस से भी हुआ था. निधि बोला अगर you know that this Leo turns up every almost 70% of the time, he's a Ballon d'Or contender. The way he played, एक लंबा ball, 2 defenders, he still ended up scoring a goal यार. So probably पर एक चीज है. I got asked this question that would you sell Leo of 100 million? But ये season मैं रुकूंगा. But probably this is his last season. Like of course the level of performance, MVP type performance needed है. जो भी बोला, I think एक accept करना पड़ेगा. कावरेज के लिए आया था, इतना जीत के चला भी गया और भी जीता. So probably he needs to have that hunger what that guy had to even convert the quality. But overall very happy man.
Quickly, Ajay bhai, we move. पहले at least मैं signings दिखा लो before we talk more about AC Milan. Obviously, Arden Jashari finally आ गया after all that drama. Samuel Ricci, Coney De Winter, Pervis Estupinian, Zachary Athekame also. Obviously, Morata left for Como eventually. अगर departures भी quickly देखे, the big talk of the town, Tijani Reinders, Milan scamming Newcastle into buying or paying 40 million for Malik Thiaw. Theo Hernandez finally leaving with his uninterested, final season. Okafor को भी मतलब 20 million के लिए scam करके बेच दिया in my opinion.
क्या scam है यार?
Yeah, obviously. Pierre Kalulu, Juventus bought, which obviously probably is a regret, but Emerson Royal के लिए भी 9 million मिलना I think is a good deal.
Amazing,
but yeah. I think overall, जैसे चिंतन भाई ने बोला, चिंतन भाई, what do you think overall? Obviously, Victor Boniface has come in as well, जो आज ही अभी तक अपडेट नहीं हुआ है, उस पे मैं आपको पूछूंगा. बट जनरली आप बिजनेस से, जैसे आपने बोला हैप्पी हो चिंतन भाई, बट वो आई गेस द बिगेस्ट टॉकिंग पॉइंट इज यू आर हैप्पी विद द डायरेक्शन एट द क्लब, विद द स्पोर्टिंग डायरेक्टर नीगली तारे, एंड आई फील यू आर हैप्पी दैट फाइनली वो थोड़ा क्या बोलते हैं, वो वियर्ड पॉलिटिक्स इज moving away from the club. What are your
exactly Param, politics moving away se acha you saw the number of deadwoods we are getting rid of, like, and to get money from it, like, and boss, you forgot, I think sabse celebratory part hai for all the Milan fans on the comment section also, or whoever is watching, is Milan finally is getting rid of Origi also, and severance pe bhi uske salary ka 50% hoga. He earns 4 million he's been earning from Milan, and so uska severance pack. What a bad sign. Free में था.
योगेश सोच, कुछ ना करने की ऐसी सैलरी मिली तो भाई तू ऐसा जॉब मिलेगा तो ले लेगा क्या?
क्या? By the way, he refused to play for under 23. Refused to Nottingham Forest से तो वापस आ गया था, किधर और जाने को रेडी नहीं था. So our thing is, जैसे बोला, I never thought Emerson Royal का 10 million जितना मिलेगा. Theo Hernandez last year of the contract, never thought we'll get so much. And मेरे एक ही चीज है boys, I don't know why people were saying अरे Theo Hernandez को बीच, there was not a single one there to buy him, so we had to sell him.
भाई आया ना 20 मिलियन थियो से फाइनल ईयर में, और कितना चाहिए भाई, मतलब.
Exactly. So this and Malik Chow, ideally I would have loved to have kept Malik Chow. 40 million is too beautiful an offer to reject, boys. 40 million मिला उसका यार. वो जो टिजानी का जो सबको लग रहा है कि थोड़ा ऊपर नीचे हो गया ना, वो मलिक चाव में कवर अप हो गया मेरा. So Param, you know it, Ajay knows it. Napoli के पास भी, more or less you can say, to get rid of deadwoods, boss, ये यार बहुत डिफिकल्ट काम है यार. वो भी ऐसे 4 मिलियन सैलरी लेके बैठे हैं यार. सो इधर पैसा ही नहीं अपने पास, उधर चेल्सी अपना आधा पैसा डोनेट कर रही है, हम लोग के पास पैसा ही नहीं है कुछ.
But before we move on, Chintan, with your takes, Shivam has joined us. He's in the house. उसने ही ये सब बैठ के हमारे लिए लाइनअप्स बनाए हैं. मतलब he's taken a lot of effort, us
Thank
being
you
busy.
so much, Shivam bhai.
So yeah, kudos to him.
Be there, otherwise.
Always a Milanista. Always his love for Nezar.
I can post that clip.
He's wearing a Lazio.
आपको नहीं तो पूरे स्ट्रीम में सुनना पड़ता कि विद ऑल ड्यू रिस्पेक्ट पहले बोल के वी आर द ट्रेबल विनर्स
ऑलमोस्ट ट्रेबल विनर्स।
वैसे
वो tension
वैसे
मत-
शिवम तूने लाजियो अवे पहना है तो उसके लिए अपन बाद में बात करेंगे, बट योगेश हैज टू गो बिफोर वी लेट योगेश गो। योगेश, गिव योर वन हॉट टेक दैट विल हैपन इन Serie A 25-26।
अच्छा, पहली बात तो अजय, योगेश, अभी इस टाइम मिलान भी अगर नहीं खेल रहा है यूरोपियन एनी नो मिडवीक गेम्स, तो मैं बोल सकता हूँ कि पहले मिलान को टॉप पे रखो। कैन आई से दैट कि नहीं होगा?
नहीं, मैंने अपना टॉप 4 प्रेडिक्शन दिया, मिलान आर फिनिशिंग 5th यार।
तो यूरोप में भी
सीधा 5th।
क्या बर्न वाली लाइन थी ये, लगता है रील पे पोस्ट करना पड़ेगा, इसको व्यूज मिलेंगे। चिंतन में आस्किंग हिम पोलाइटली एंड ही जस्ट रिप्लाइज, अरे मैंने तो मिलान को 5th में डाल दिया।
मेरे को इधर से चाटा, मतलब लगा मुझे चाटा ये, सीरियसली ऐसा आई फेल्ट दैट।
अभी मिलान नापोली अभी राइवलरी बढ़ने वाली है
सोशल मीडिया। फोर्थ गेम ऑफ द, इट्स द फोर्थ, आई थिंक डायरेक्टली आफ्टर द इंटरनेशनल ब्रेक हुई है।
या बढ़िया। योगेश, जैसे अजय भाई ने पूछा, क्या हॉट टेक क्या है तेरा सेरी आ सीजन के लिए?
हॉट टेक्स तो बहुत सारे यार। नापोली विनिंग अगेन वुड बी माय
हॉट टेक थोड़ी होता है, मतलब मैं बोल रहा, वो एक चीज बोल, तो अभी बहुत सारी तो सबको पता है, एक बोलना पड़ेगा तेरे को, एक ही बोलना है तो होगा तेरे दिमाग में।
Yeah, my hot take would be कि Juventus actually do good this season with all the things that they are doing. But I think Juventus would do good this season.
That's your hot take. Fair enough. अगर योगेश, before you go, as you know, Serie A का ब्रॉडकास्टर नहीं है, तो भाई मतलब ये वेबसाइट पे होपफुली आ जाएगा, पर लग नहीं रहा है। बट तब तक इलीगल स्ट्रीम्स होंगे। That's all, I guess.
वो भी किसका शक्ल पे तू हाईलाइट कर रहा, देखना, वो डेजर्बी के ऊपर ही तू कर रहा है।
अरे यार, मैं एक तो साले ये वेबसाइट को डिलीट कर दो। Why do they even have this clown on? They're like, why do they have a video of him? Like, what a waste of space यार। Like क्या है? But whatever.
भाई फ्यूचर इंटर मैनेजर है भाई वो।
नहीं भाई, ये हो गया तो भाई मेरे पास कुछ शब्द। He's a Milanista, so don't blame me. He's a Milanista at heart. So yeah.
Bye guys.
Bye. Thanks for coming on. Hopefully we'll see more of you. But let's come back to Milan. We'll obviously ask Shivam his opinions as well. But Chintan, ये आपकी स्क्वाड उसने बिल्ड की है, obviously 3-5-2 और बैक फोर में आई थिंक ट्रांजिशन होगा, जैसे अलेग्री ने दिखाया है हमें। कोनी डे विंटर कैन प्ले एज राइट विंग बैक एज वेल। डिफेंस में थोड़ा थिन लग रहा है चिंतन भाई, बिकॉज डिफेंस इज नॉट एंटायरली कन्विंसिंग, आई वुड से। टोमोरी, पाव्लोविच, गाबिया, दैट इज कंसर्निंग। बट midfield is the most sorted in my opinion, like Richie, Musa, Fofana, obviously, Jashari, Modric. Can't rate Loftus-Cheek, but I feel for a rotational player with a less role should be okay. I mean, Musa again is a brain-dead player, so that's, again, I'm pretty sure you're not a fan. But उसके अलावा चिंतन भाई, I mean, attack में I think your main concern should be Jimenez को goals मारना, because I feel आपका conversion rate भी last season बहुत कम था। तो आपके main concerns क्या है, और आपको क्या लगता है solve हो जाएंगे वो concerns Boniface जैसे players आने पर? क्या लगता है?
Boniface का again I think disciplinary issues थोड़े मुझे लगते हैं, थोड़ा है wacky player थोड़ा. So I'm just hoping that Boniface does. See, no Europe makes a big difference, because no Europe you get that much rest. He gets to plug in his tactics. So I say we had gone on Nidhi and Manas's stream also. I predicted this 3-5-2 only. I think Milan are going to stick to this, where Rafa Leao won't have that much to track back, and he'll have a free role. And Abhi Allegri ka jaise interview tha, he said that he expects 15 goals from Fofana plus Loftus-Cheek. So he is expecting, and I think Loftus-Cheek jab he aaya tha, he did finish with 11 goals in the first season when he was there. So I think purely usko number 10 khila raha tha. So I think it's very clear that he wants Loftus-Cheek and Fofana to push a little up front. Go number 6 में थोड़े box to box में थोड़े आगे जाएंगे, which gives Pulisic some space to move on the right, and I have मेरे को तो on the contrary लग रहा है this is Santi Jimenez को, if he stays, I hope this is his season. I can see him do well this season. But yeah, the defense, क्या फालतू defense लग रहा है यार, मतलब I'm only hoping because Allegri है, he can just get something better out of these players.
Yeah.
Hang हो गया?
नहीं, सुनाई दे रहा था।
नहीं, I'm fine, I think.
No, he was fine.
Yeah, so I think मेरा सबसे बड़ा, I'm not, to be very, not a big fan of De Winter yet. अभी इतना convinced नहीं हूँ, but again I'm just very hopeful that Allegri gets the best out of everyone. Defensive stability तो मुझे दिख रही थी. I have a lot of hope on Batisagi this season. I think वो अच्छा करेगा. परवेज भाई को ब्रेक मिलेगा तभी I think वो अच्छा करेगा मेरे हिसाब से. But
yeah, funnily
I'll tell
enough,
you,
but Salemakas has been playing well again. Like,
I was just going to say my trump card for this season is watch out for Salemakas. I think he's gonna have a fantastic season.
Interesting.
But another very good take I'm going to tell you is I feel that Samuel Ritchie is going to be the signing of the season.
Fair. Interesting.
Not for Milan, I meant, and not for Milan. I think he's going to be signing of Serie A.
Wow, interesting. I mean, can see that happening. Any other shouts you have for Milan? Anything else you want to say? Ki, any other thing we've not touched upon? Anything else you think Milan will do well or maybe not so well?
I think some लोग बोल रहे haram ball, but I think he Allegri को तो पता चल गया limitations of this squad. And we played Arsenal, Liverpool, so उसके सामने तो हराम बॉल ही खेलना पड़ेगा. But I think Milan transition बहुत अच्छा कर रही थी with Ricci and Jashari together. So if we start Modric, I have a very good feeling that Milan are going to play very decently nice, watchable football compared to जो Juventus का second stint था. I won't be surprised वो 3-4-3 पे भी चला जाएगा. I won't be surprised with Santi and Leon Pulisic. He will move to that also. But this formation gives even Luka Modric a lot of freedom, not a lot of tracking back.
What I liked was how Allegri ने अजय भाई already वो spaces close करना वो instill कर दिया है. It was evident in that Liverpool game as well. But still they will need. I think it's evident they will need a defender, at least one more defender, because De Winter थोड़ा raw है. Like he was linked with Inter as well in case of a Pavard sale, and I was not really happy with that because I'm not the biggest De Winter fan either personally. So there's a lot.
I'm not a big Comuzzo fan also, but I would have still preferred him. कि center back एक young Italian है.
Exactly, and he's not as injury prone as De Winter. De Winter थोड़ा injury prone player है already early on in his career.
Plus, Shivam, Ajay and Param, funny thing क्या हुआ था? Allegri बोला था I need an Italian defender. ये लोग Belgium को लेके आए. So it clearly, मतलब I think उसको चाहिए था Comuzzo. I have a feeling वो, and we were in talks, but I think Fiorentina ने बहुत हाँ. And Milan wanted someone immediately.
सबको था Giovanni Leoni. चाहिए सबको था Giovanni Leoni.
ये तारे तो सिर्फ प्राइस फोन पे, मतलब इंटर को प्राइस बोला होगा, उसने क्रॉस कनेक्शन में सुन के फोन रख दिया होगा भाई. मिलान तो जाएगा भी नहीं उधर.
But yeah, Chintan bhai, we soon close AC Milan. So Ajay bhai, so I mean, what's your? I think we start with relegation, right? That's the format we've been. क्या बोलते हो? कौन से तीन क्लब आपको लगता है चिंतन में relegate होने वाले?
हाँ यार, मेरे को बहुत बुरा लग रहा है, शायद पार्मा चला जाएगा. I have a very dirty feeling पार्मा जाएगा. Cremonese, I don't see them staying up. बहुत ही मतलब random bias की है. I think I hope Sassuolo goes. उनका लास्ट सीजन भी ऐसा था कि they beat all the when they got relegated, उन्होंने big teams को हराया था, but they could not close out smaller teams. So I don't see Hellas going. चाहिए तो Hellas चले जाएगा, but I don't see Hellas going. Hellas Lecce नहीं जाएंगे.
Yeah, I think Hellas goes. बढ़िया, Hellas गया तो पार्टी करेंगे हम लोग. We will
Hellas
party.
Sassuolo में, but I have a feeling that Sassuolo just वापस आया है. I don't know, but I'm not very sure. But these are my three big takes that they might go as of now.
Fair enough. South says De Winter. I see the potential, but currently for me, he's a bit.
Is he 22, 23? कितने साल का है वो?
22 or 23, one of the two, if I recall right now. See, there are injuries.
Your top 7.
Top 7 in order, correct.
I feel Napoli will take the title. मुझे लग रहा है Napoli title लेके जाएगी वापस, defend कर लेगी because they are the favorites. Continuity उसमें ही है. My bold take is Milan finishing second. I'm going to go with Milan second, Inter third. Gosh, I this is probably all the Juventini are going to hate it, but I think this is probably the worst I've seen Juventus, like as in authority जो उनका होता है transfer market, वो दिख नहीं रहा है मुझे. That Juventus authority होता है ना, that like those season they let Calafiori slip and Lione slip, and it's very rare Juventus not to have a big Italian defender. I don't know.
See, वो लोग का तो I think the club is still a mess. चिंतन वो लोग recover हो रहे हैं. financial issues ये वो Leone तो I don't think they would have got either way.
No, but
As you
I
said,
think Tudor, I'm not convinced for an
हाँ,
entire for someone like
never.
Juventus.
Yeah, no, he's not. He has a ceiling, and he's already hit that ceiling. And as Swarnim by saying, Komoli is a technical director. He's not a
Yeah,
sporting director.
exactly.
He's
ये
making
but ये
decisions.
but that Param, that's a difference. England में और more or less many countries में sporting director, technical director एक होता है. They do take a lot of decisions. एक इटली था पहले से SD TD दोनों अलग अलग रखते थे. इटली में बहुत होता था ये. So I have a feeling that क्या?
Fourth?
I'll go with. Gosh, Atlanta और रोमा में रोमा और यूवेंटस में बहुत डिफिकल्ट लग रहा है. I will go with Juventus only still. Roma 5th, Atlanta 6th, Lazio 7th. Bologna 20th हो जाए तो बहुत अच्छा लगेगा मुझे. कोपा इटालिया में हरा दिया हम लोग को.
मुझे ना ये चीज देख के हंसी क्यों आ रही है बिकॉज कर्ट जुमा आई जस्ट रिमेंबर ही साइड फॉर लेचे एंड गाटी ट्रांसलेट्स टू कैट. Gatti means cat in English, and if you know what Kurt Zuma's history is with animals,
yeah,
Gatti versus Kurt Zuma का battle मैं देखने के लिए ready रहूँगा. I hope that is one occasion Swarnim, I hope Gatti wins. That's the only time I hope he wins the fight.
By the way, I just tell you only reason why I just read this. The only reason why I might put Juventus number 4 right now is I think Yildiz might have a breakout season. उसका make or break है. उसका होना चाहिए ये सीजन. सो इफ Yildiz is what we saw flashes, अगर वो निकाल दे तो Yildiz निकाल देगा. रोमा is a team to watch out for me because of Gasp. लेकिन I am very surprised Dobbik का जाने का इशू आ रहा है. So I am very surprised with that.
I don't think so चिंतन अभी Dobbik को इतना लेट जाने देंगे, but then you never know. This is Roma, कुछ भी हो सकता है.
ये ब्रॉडकास्टर तो I think बहुत जल्दी कैल्सो चर्चा हो जाएगा शायद.
we have addressed it. Doberman will address it against.
No, but I feel Param, Ajay, Shivam, don't you think कि हम लोग को एक petition चालू करना चाहिए, collect funds from the public to buy Serie A? कैल्सो चर्चा.
I will never get into crowdfunding. भाई पहली चीज लोग करते हैं, they'll point fingers at it, पैसा चोरी कर लिया. भाई वो चालू हो जाए.
सेरिया का डिमांड हम लोग पहले अपने पॉडकास्ट में डाल लेंगे. इतना पैसा सेरिया को चाहिए और उसके बाद जितना दे सको दे दो मालिक हम लोग को. Because I think this is a very sorry state. We have a league starting and it is very embarrassing. मतलब आज मेरे को कितने messages आ गए हैं already that when can we watch Milan's first game. I know a few guys who are like Allegri fans. I'm not joking. I know 2 Arsenal fans who are Allegri fans and they're like we want to see Milan this season. किधर देखना है. मैं बोला मुझे जब लिंक मिलेगा मैं तेरे को भेज दूंगा. Unfortunately,
yesterday I saw a tweet from an Indian analyst, on Twitter, Shivam, and he's like, Andy Diouf signed for Inter. मैं Andy Diouf को इतना देखा है. He watches a lot of league games. He's like, I'll only be tuning into Inter games to watch Andy Diouf, especially. A lot of varieties of what people want to watch, and that's where Chintan Bhai said it's a sorry state that again there is a huge chunk of people that just want to watch Napoli for Kevin De Bruyne.
And by the way, I got so many Real Madrid fans saying that we are going to support Milan for Luka Modric, you know. So it is something which people want to watch, you know. And unfortunately, बहुत ही difficult लग रहा है मुझे. But oh wow, I forgot about Como actually. Like मैं भूल गया Como, but I expect Como to finish top 10.
Yeah, आएंगे Como पे आएंगे. We are not done. So let's move on, guys. We'll go to Ajay Bhai's club, and Shivam and Ajay Bhai we can have both of you giving your thoughts. Obviously, Ajay Bhai badge दिखाते मेरे लिए lag हुआ at least. But Ajay Bhai, Roma, obviously 9 साल के बाद Gasperini अपना comfort zone छोड़ के capital city में गए. He's gone to a big club where he's not faced this kind of pressure. Shivam, as I've said, communication, all these factors matter. And थोड़ा already दिख रहा है because he's not really entirely happy with how things have gone. उसको reality पता है रोमा की, FFP की, अजय भाई की. Somebody probably has to be sold for more थोड़ा quality signings to come in. मैं रोमा का score obviously ये pull up करता हूँ. But कैसा लग रहा है आपको going into the season? A bit concerned. Leon Bailey sign किया, injure हो गया 3 हफ्ते के लिए. Jadon Sancho के links अभी भी है. He does not seem fully interested in playing for Roma. Dovbyk का confusion है, but you still have signed players like Wesley. You still have a in for Matias Sule. Gilardi लाया Hellas Verona से. It's been balanced, but maybe Gasperini clearly wanted more, and he is a demanding person. कैसा लग रहा है आपको?
Yeah, see, initially we knew that it's going to be tough, and Ranieri ने आके बोला कि we are hiring a coach who's not very popular with the fans, and उसी वक्त I think सबको पता होना चाहिए था कि it is going to be Gasperini coming in. So I'm a huge fan of his work, but not the individual. Maybe he's got a chance to redeem himself over here at Roma, at least in my eyes. एंड यार परम मैं एक ही बोलूंगा कि पेशेंस इज द नेम ऑफ द गेम ही हैज टू विन ओवर द रोमानिस्टी फर्स्ट देन वी विल सी कि पिच पे क्या रिजल्ट्स आता है obviously it is going to be year zero with Gasperini and all I'm asking Roma fans everyone is just patience have patience with the guy he has overachieved with Atalanta for years and years. He has got
Ajay, not just Roma fans. I think you need to tell Serie A fans in general to have patience with him also. Like I think
because
you want to see the best Roma.
Exactly, people are saying Roma for Scudetto right away, and maybe कुछ हुआ तो नहीं, maybe yeah. See, I understand. That's where I also stand. But होने के लिए कुछ भी हो सकता है. That's always there. But I also like people are jumping onto the Scudetto train just like they did when DDR was coach and when everything was going good until it went to the gutter.
What I like to say is Roma over a period of time, Zeman के time से Luis Enrique के time से पहले से ही Roma has always Spalletti का Roma have always known to play this beautiful football. So Atlanta of course Gasperini it just hand in glove जैसा लगता है मुझे ये match made in heaven जैसा बोल सकते हैं and a club where he will get time because they've already suffered so much. जैसे बोलते हैं अजय has seen so many second place finishes. So I guess उनको दे देंगे थोड़ा time and I feel this is next season probably you see Roma will be in the talks of the championship.
Correct. Ajay bhai, before you proceed with your thoughts, I just want to show the Mercato so far quickly. Wesley, Neil Ainaoui, Leon Bailey, Evan Ferguson, Gilardi, pretty much your core signings. Nickel departures में Enzo Lafay, obviously the big sale, Samuel Dahl. For both these players have actually been playing very well in their respective clubs. Zalewski gone from Inter as well. Paredes, Shomurodov, Tammy Abraham sold for 20 million by Saud Abdul Hamid on loan. Decent business, but obviously there's been a lot more to come. So sorry, you were going ahead before I show the squad and everything. You were continuing with your thoughts.
हाँ यार तो मैं वही बोलूंगा यार I think realistically the goal for Roma has to be returning back to the Champions League. Whether it happens through the top four or whether it happens through the Europa League, that is yet to be seen. But the first goal has to be returning back to the Champions League ASAP. And Gasperini has got his task cut out. Roma is going to be a place of extreme emotion. बहुत ही प्रेशर है, बहुत जल्दी टॉक्सिक हो जाता है. ऐसा जगह है जहाँ पे आपके ऊपर पूरा स्पॉटलाइट है. And you know how Roman radios are. It is one of the few cities or the only city in the world who's got a dedicated radio station only for Roma. Dedicated newspaper print में again to Roma. So bhai Gasperini, time to prove that you're one of Calcio's modern legends and do something with us.
Before I come back to you Ajay bhai and follow up, Shivam तेरे पे आता हूँ मैं. Obviously you have a lot of तेरे हिसाब से ये स्क्वाड में how pivotal is someone like a Matthias Sule, because finally अभी वो भी अपने कंफर्ट जोन में आ गया है. रोमा ने अटैकर साइन किए सो दैट डिबाला पे थोड़ा लोड कम हो, बट ऑब्वियसली इंजरीज वी नो एवन फर्ग्यूसन थोड़ा इंजरी प्रोन है, बेली ऑलरेडी इंजर हो गया. बट तुझे क्या लगता है how much more important does someone like a Matthias Sule become now that he has like that perfect coach for him? At least in my opinion, Sule feels to be like a very Gasperini type player, if you know what I mean. Like that attacker जो charge लेगा, almost like someone like a Duan Zapata under him. I'm not saying exactly the same, but in terms of the responsibility he's going to take, तेरे को क्या लगता है how pivotal is someone like a Matthias Sule going to be? And do you think he can be the MVP for Roma this season?
Yeah, सूले ने जैसा सेकेंड हाफ लास्ट सीजन का एंड किया था, अभी जो प्री सीजन में मैंने गेम्स उतने नहीं देखे, बट आई रीड सैमुअल करके एक है, ही रोमा के बारे में वो काफी अच्छा वो मतलब ही राइट्स एंड डिस्क्राइब्स, सो ही मेंशन कि सूले हैज बीन डूइंग प्रीटी वेल. सो आई थिंक कि दिस आपने डुआन सपाटा का बोला, आई थिंक ही कुड डू मोर ऑफ लुइस मुरियल रोल टू अनलीश मे बी समवन लाइक एवन फर्ग्यूसन. एंड डिबाला का भी ऑल नो की इंजरी इश्यूज काफी हैं, तो शायद डिबाला को हम लोग मे बी यूरोपियन नाइट्स में रखें, बिकॉज उन सब गेम्स के लिए आपको एक्सपीरियंस भी चाहिए, एंड सेकेंडली डिबाला जैसा प्लेयर का क्वालिटी भी आपको हेल्प कर सकता है. सो दिस कुड रियली हेल्प डिबाला एंड सूले को, अगर आप साथ में रोटेट करके खिलाएंगे, सो फर्ग्यूसन को काफी हेल्प मिल सकती है. माई ओनली कंसर्न व्हेन आई वाज मतलब लुकिंग एट रोमा का स्क्वाड एंड एवरीथिंग, इंजरीज तो ऑब्वियसली एक कंसर्न है ही. दूसरा जो मुझे फॉरवर्ड लाइन में कंसर्न है ना, कि आपके फर्ग्यूसन के पीछे जितने भी आपके ये आप डिबाला ले लीजिए, सूले ले लीजिए, बेली ले लीजिए, इनफैक्ट बाल्डांजी भी इनफैक्ट अगर मैं ले लूं, दे आर ऑल लेफ्ट फुटेड प्लेयर्स. सो काफी लेफ्ट फुटेड ड्रिबलर्स हैं स्क्वाड में. कोई राइट फुटेड आपका फॉरवर्ड मतलब अगर आप फर्गूसन को स्ट्राइकर काउंट करें, आप विंग्स की अगर आप बात करें, तो कोई राइट फुटेड नहीं है. सो थोड़ा सा मुझे यूनिडायमेंशनल वहां पे अटैक लगता है. मे बी दिस कुड बी द रीजन सैंचो के लिए जा रहे हैं, जो थोड़ा सा एम्बीपेडल सॉर्ट ऑफ नेचर ला सकते हैं. सो आई कैन अंडरस्टैंड व्हाई दे आर गोइंग फॉर इट. एंड द सेकंड कंसर्न जो मुझे लगता है कि मिडफील्ड का, Manukone is good. El Ayanoe will take some time to adapt to the league, because people think it's very easy कि आप इटली में आ जाओ एंड आप मत खेलने लग जाओ. ऐसा नहीं होता. मतलब अगर आपको फिजिकल लीग में अडेप्ट करने में टाइम लगता है, तो टैक्टिकल लीग भी वही होता है. एंड आप चाहे एंड आप अगर बैक थ्री वगैरह खेल रहे हो, सो लेट्स से मोनोकोने ड्राइव्स द बॉल, देन एल आयानोए के पास डिफेंसिवली ज्यादा रिस्पांसिबिलिटीज होगी. सो ही विल टेक सम टाइम टू अडेप्ट. बट लेट्स से इनके बाद आपके पास कौन है? यू गो बैक टू गोट क्रिस्टांटे, लुकास, ये लोरेंजो पेलिग्रीनी है. ऑब्वियसली काफी इंजरी के भी इश्यूज हैं अभी, शायद न्यूज़ में आ रही है कि हाँ गैस्परीनी उनको वापस मतलब भेजना चाहते हैं. देन आपके पास पिसीली एंड ऑब्वियसली बोवे पे तो आए, मतलब मैं नहीं बोलूंगा बिकॉज ऑब्वियसली वो अनफॉर्चुनेट
he can't play. Yeah, he can't play. So wait.
हाँ, सो मुझे पर्सनली मिडफील्ड में डेप्थ थोड़ी कम लग रही है. आई स्टिल थिंक कि मतलब ऐसा हो सकता है कि रोमा का शायद जैसे ट्रेडिशनल गैस्परीनी का हमने देखा है कि रोमा का सीजन में भी बहुत अच्छा स्टार्ट हो सकता है, एंड टुवर्ड्स द एंड ऑफ द सीजन में भी शायद थोड़ा सा फिजल आउट कर जाए या टायर्डनेस आ जाए. तो एक ये कंसर्न मुझे लग रहा है. देन समवन लाइक एल शराबी का रोल काफी इंपॉर्टेंट होगा. वो इज वेरी वर्सेटाइल प्लेयर. वेस्ली का रोल बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होगा. बहुत हाई एक्सपेक्टेशंस से उनको लाया गया है, एक्सपेक्टिंग कि क्वाड्राडो टाइप जो रोल करते थे यूवेंटस के साथ, वो वेस्ली प्रोवाइड करें. डिफेंसिवली थोड़ा सा इंप्रूव करना है. एंड एक सेंटर बैक भी आई थिंक थोड़ा एक मतलब अगर मिल जाएगा तो बेटर ऑप्शन होगा. सो दीस आर माय थॉट्स ऑन बोथ. बाय द वे दे गॉट वन गुड जॉब. डेविस वास्केस को जो इन्होंने एक्वायर किया, आई थिंक मैट रायन से अपग्रेड है, बट कोपा इटालिया में अच्छे शॉट स्टॉपर हैं एंड एम्पोली के साथ सेमीफाइनल तक गए थे. सो दैट इज अ वेरी स्मार्ट एक्विजिशन.
Yeah, I feel that's a very decent signing. I agree with you, Shivam. Actually, I agree with a lot of thoughts you gave. I feel तूने अच्छे से analyze करा. अजय भाई, moving on just quickly before we wrap up Roma, आपके लिए areas of थोड़ा concern, आप क्या लगता है आपको, where do Roma fall short if any, or and where do you think an area where you think Roma can really excel, and what are your thoughts on the whole Kone saga? Because ऐसा लग रहा है ये मार्केट को फंड करने के लिए शायद ऐसा लग रहा है किसी को बेचना पड़े for the pending signings if there are to be.
That is a concern, because if Manu Kone isn't sold, Ivan Endika will be sold. And Ivan Endika played 38 games for Roma in the league, played all minutes. So, yeah, you know, for a club like Roma, having someone playing all 38 games is a rarity. And आप क्रिस्टांटे को जितना भी मैं भी खुद इतना उसको ट्रोल करते रहता हूँ. One thing I can't deny is that guy is always there. He has outlasted so many managers. He's outlasted so many eras, and he's there. But having said that, yes, keeping Manu Kone is pivotal, and we need that depth in midfield, because Paredes bhi chale gaye is saal. Paredes under Ranieri was brilliant. He was that number 6 dictating the play, you know, from the middle of the park. El Anyayui, मैं भी pronounce कर नहीं पाता उसका, उसको नील ही बुलाता हूँ यार. Once again he would like Shivam said, he would need to adapt, and थोड़ा मेरे को injury concerns भी है उससे. Apart from that यार, center back is an area of improvement which is massively required, because I would still start Endika, Mancini and Zeki Celik. And it really, I mean, I'm just hoping Gasperini can, pull out that gas juice and bring out the best of, the guys like Zeki Celik, Tommaso Baldanzi, Divine Wrench, Angelino, of course, El Sharawi. He knows El Sharawi from his time at Genoa. He has worked with Dybala at Palermo. So Dybala is, only kept for those very, very crucial games where we need that bit of extra magic. Very interesting to see Ivan Ferguson. If he's injury free, I think he's going to have a breakout season. I will not be surprised that if he ends up scoring more than 10 goals in the league, for that matter, if he stays healthy. यार डॉबिक का सिचुएशन थोड़ा, आई डोंट थिंक सो भी डॉबिक को बेचेंगे. आई लाइक हिम. आई थिंक ही विल इवेंचुअली come good into the Gasperini system. Like I mentioned, Shivam, like I mentioned, Param, time दो बस, और time दो. Jadon Sancho आएगा तो it'll be a huge upgrade, because it would be a major attacker, but he needs to take a pay cut. If he's not willing to take a pay cut, Roma don't have the money to pay him. So it's literally the chicken and egg situation. I mean, we need to see which one will eventually come out on top. But over and above everything, I would say we need one center back, one midfielder, and one attacker, probably on the left hand side, who's got a dominant right foot.
एंड इसीलिए आपने देखा था कि गैस्पो एनसीसो चाहिए था जब वो एटलांटा में थे. सो ही नीड्स दैट वन प्रोफाइल जो आपका एम्बिपेटल हो एंड अक्रॉस द फ्रंट लाइन आपको कंट्रीब्यूट करके हो.
एग्जैक्टली, बिकॉज़ विद गैस्पेरिनी. हां, बोल.
Yeah, so I'll just quickly finish. So एक वो प्रोफाइल गैस्पेरिनी usually likes to have in his arsenal कि आप कभी भी वो एम्बिपेटल मैजिक प्रोवाइड कर सकते हैं. एंड सेकेंडली एल तो उसका इतना नील पे मैं बोलूंगा, आई थिंक नील पे थोड़ा सा प्रेशर भी ज्यादा होगा, बिकॉज हमने देखा था कि जब रिचर्ड रियोस का सागा बहुत लंबा चला था, इवेंचुअली साइनिंग नहीं हो पाई थी. तो मतलब आई एम नॉट पॉइंटिंग एट द एंटायर फैन बेस, बट कुछ रोमा फैंस को ऐसा लगा था कि नील की वजह से रियोस का फंडिंग नहीं हो पाया था. सो देयर वर सम रिपोर्ट्स की बहुत अच्छे से उनको रिसीव नहीं किया गया था, बट बाद में हमने देखा कि एयरपोर्ट पे बहुत अच्छे से उनका वेलकम हुआ. सो नील हैज टू मतलब स्टार्ट गेट गोइंग, मतलब 2-3 मैचेस के बाद अडैप्ट करके उनको अच्छे से जाना होगा. सो उन पे भी काफी प्रेशर होगा.
Fair enough. And I think Ajay bhai, as you had said once, you kind of expect Roma to play a bit more vertical football now. Yeah. Not that they didn't, but a bit more intense. But obviously, Gasperini makes sense of balance BI in his final seasons at Atalanta. Yeah. So let's see where Roma go. Let's get your predictions. Your relegation candidates. Who do you think gets relegated from the Serie A?
So I'm going to give a hot take. I think 3 current Serie A sides will go down, and all the 3 promoted Serie B sides will stay up.
Sorry, wow.
Yeah.
Because initially that was my take as well. मैं शिवम को भी पूछेगा, but I also thought कि हाँ.
So I'm going to go with Lecce, Cagliari, and Parma. I feel Parma will go down this year. That'll be a hot take. Hot take.
Interesting.
And all the newly promoted sides, which is Cremonese, Pisa, and of course Sassuolo will stay up.
Fair enough. आपका top 7 starting from Scudetto, as we've been told.
Okay, so this is going to be interesting. So I'm going to go for Inter number 1.
Boy, you are the only.
Milan number 2. It's going to be a race between the Milanese cousins. Number 3 pe Napoli. I still feel Napoli will be there. My hot take is that you will see one of Thiago Motta or Luciano Spalletti come back at the hot seat in Naples. I feel Conte will go this middle of the season.
Wow.
I feel.
Wow.
It's a hot take, but Napoli still finished 3rd. 4th, begrudgingly, I will put Juve in 4th, and Roma 5th, Como 6th, Fiorentina 7th, Atalanta 8th.
Bologna out of top 8. Wow.
Yeah, Bologna 9th. Lazio 11th because 10th Torino finish करेगा.
I honestly think Lazio 10th, 11th is very likely. But yeah, Shivam, before I come to you and before we go to Juventus, if Roma could sign Bissouma, might be a really good signing on his.
I like this player.
Yeah. I think the Levites India, that's not a bad shout at all. Shivam does not support Roma, but I have a clip where he says who he supports, so he can't even deny it. So इसमें तो भाई वो deny नहीं कर सकता. As much as he trolls us, there is no denying. But all jokes aside, मानू कोने का simple था वैभव कि Inter wanted him, but एक point पे Roma were willing to sell him, but then they changed their mind because Roma at least was open to the sale. But then obviously Samunli, our Roma fan who's always in the house, he says top 4 finish, Coppa Italia, Europa final, and hopefully win this time.
परम अगर रोमा यूरोपा लीग फाइनल जा रही है, मैं जा रहा हूँ. If I'm going to Turkey,
हमको भी लेके चलना, शिवम और मुझे भी लेके चलना भाई. थोड़ा पैसा खर्चा कर देना वो रोमा का ट्रांसफर बजट से. I would have kept Shomurodov. ये मैं बाद में आता हूँ सिद्धांत.
Even I would have kept Shomurodov.
Yeah. Can this देख, I really wish Goldbridge की तरह हमें भी थोड़ा इतना क्लाउड मिलता. I mean, I would just say कि for views it's good, but it's an absolute embarrassment in my opinion that this day has come because he has publicly find clips. He's publicly insulted the league so much, and it's a shame. I started watching Serie A because of Scott McTominay. I hate Napoli. I love that. Roma 4th. Swarnim Bhai says Milan 1, Inter 2, Napoli 3, Juve 4, Roma 5, Como 6, Bologna 7, Fiorentina 8, Atalanta 9. Allegri fans को देख सुन के थोड़ा लोगों को हो गया. Let's Allegri पे आए. शिवम मैं तेरा टॉप 7 लेता हूँ, ये तेरे प्रेडिक्शंस लेता हूँ आफ्टर यूवेंटस, ठीक है? So Juventus पे आते हैं. शिवम मैं तेरे से चालू करता हूँ. Juventus, Swarnim Bhai, and hopefully there are more Juventini in the chat. Ravindra.
So just a quick update. DJ Dhananjay, he had a personal thing come up, so that's why he couldn't join us today.
Yes.
Anubhuti ka message that she's in a shoot, so she's just reached home. She's a bit tired from a shooting, so she'll not be able to join us. So just unfortunately, we wanted both DJ and Anubhuti to be here, but they'll be there in future streams for sure.
Definitely. And Mithul is also on a holiday, so right now even
Mithul को enjoy करने दो भाई. Mithul enjoy कर रहा है and Kostov की शादी हो चुकी है. ये है update.
Yeah, exactly. So it is what it is, guys. We are here to finish off the preview very soon. Don't worry, हो जाएगा थोड़ी देर में. Abhishek, nice to have you. But let's move on to Juventus. Shivam, Juventus, तूने मेरे को जब वो लाइनअप भेजी, लाइक तूने जैसे बोला भाई ये टीम को देख के क्या ही है, मतलब आई थिंक ऑल Juventini will agree कि जो भी मिसमैनेजमेंट हुआ है ओवर द लास्ट ईयर, जो भी तूने पढ़ा है, FFP के इश्यूज, पॉइंट्स डिडक्शन, चाहे वो फाइनेंशियल इश्यूज हो, ये वो, इट इज स्टिल लिंगरिंग एंड इट टेल्स यू कि जब आप मिस्टेक्स करते हो इन रनिंग अ क्लब, तब वो ओवर द नेक्स्ट फ्यू इयर्स दिखता है. And as a Barca fan also, you would know this. Like we all know, like some of our clubs have gone through this. This is clearly evident in how badly they are run. As Swarnim Bhai said, sporting director नहीं है, hire किया तो भी तो technical director में तो भी कोमोली को किया of all the people. Not the greatest reputation. क्या बोलता है? Because before I show the squad, it's not like a Juventus you look at and say कि हाँ भाई ये prime Juventus है. And जैसे चिंतन मैंने बोला, टूडोर की सीलिंग अपने को पता है, वो not the greatest man manager out there, उसकी एक सीलिंग होती है, उसके थोड़ी डिसीजन मेकिंग भी वियर्ड होती है. क्या बोलता है तू? क्या फीलिंग लग रही है यूवेंटस को देख के?
I think first of all regarding Juventus, I can't believe कि the fall has been this bad. I know मतलब काफी टाइम से it was coming, it was on the horizon, but I still can't fathom because when I grew up, मतलब what Juventus I used to watch and मतलब जो पापा वगैरह देखा करते थे, मतलब मेरे दिमाग में वो जो 4-man मिडफील्ड की इमेज है ना, दैट आपका मार्किजो, विडाल, पोग्बा एंड पिर्लो, वो मुझे आज भी याद आता है. मतलब पीपल डोंट रिमेम्बर वो मिडफील्ड कितना, मतलब यूवेंटस could easily have 2-3 UCLs in the mid 2010s if not for certain teams. तो that was the Juventus जो देखा था. फिर वो डिबाला, क्वाड्राडो, मंसूकिच, from that to now, when I was looking at the squad and I still feel कि starting 11 is okay, ठीक ठाक है, मतलब कई areas of concern है, but जो the quality of backups जो है यूवेंटस में, I'm just not impressed. मतलब नहीं मुझे लगता है वो होगा. बैकलाइन में सबसे बड़ा कंसर्न लॉयड के लिए, तो मतलब how is this guy playing for Juventus? And that is मतलब unimaginable, and वापस भी नहीं भेजा उनको, तो
ऑब्लिगेशन
एक
था ना,
तो
कंडीशनल ऑब्लिगेशन था, वो ट्रिगर हो गया। क्या ही बोले अब।
अच्छा सॉरी, this
नो
I
नो नो
didn't know
प्रॉब्लम, आई एम जस्ट सेइंग इट्स
that.
अ जोक। गो
And
अहेड, गो अहेड।
there was one time when I think Pirlo, Marquisio, Pogba एक खड़े रहते थे and they used to decide who to take free kicks. Last season मैंने वो गेम देख रहा था and मैंने रेनाटो वेगा को फ्री किक लेते हुए देखा, एंड भाई दैट मतलब समड अप यार कि क्या इस समय सीन चल रहा है, सिचुएशन चल रही है. सो दैट इज वन थिंग, दैट इज फ्रॉम नॉस्टैल्जिया पर्सपेक्टिव. बट इफ वी कम करंट, अगर इसमें बात करें, सो एक मेरे को प्रॉब्लम लग रही है जो बैक लाइन में, एंड क्यों शायद लॉयड केली को ज्यादा खिलाना पड़ता है, विच आई, जो मुझे लगता है इस, आप ब्रेमर और गट्टी को अगर आप देखोगे तो दे आर नॉट वेरी गुड ऑन द बॉल. एंड आपका अगर बैक थ्री आप खेलो तो मे बी एक आपका सेंटर बैक एटलीस्ट चाहिए जो डिसेंट टू गुड हो बॉल प्रोग्रेशन में. दे रिलाइड मेनली ऑन वन कबाल, बट उनको अनफॉर्चुनेट एसीएल हो गया एंड वो धीरे धीरे अभी रिकवर कर रहे हैं. एंड दैट्स व्हाई यू हैव टू प्ले केली को कंटिन्यूअसली. तो वहां पे एक मुझे बहुत बड़ा कंसर्न लग रहा है. एंड मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि यूवेंटस थोड़ा सा ज्यादा ब्रेमर पे रिलाई कर रही है कि वो एसीएल के बाद अपना पुराना वाला फॉर्म रिकवर कर ले, बिकॉज अगर भगवान ना करे कुछ फिर से हो गया ब्रेमर को, देन यू आर बैक टू रुगानी. तो थोड़ा सा कंसर्न्स है.
I fair enough. I agree with your points. I was also looking at the comments simultaneously. But तू जैसे देख, तू जैसे बोला मार्केट, चीको कॉन्सेसाओ रिडीम किया, निको गोंजालेस, आई एम सॉरी रिडीम, बट अजय भाई एब्सोल्यूट वेस्ट. I had said this last season, stop overrating this
निको
guy.
गोंजालेस,
हाँ, मैंने जब यूवेंटस फैंस वर सेलिब्रेटिंग हिज साइनिंग, आई वाज ऑब्जेक्टिवली सेइंग डू नॉट रेट दिस साइनिंग. He is average at best, and you're seeing the result now.
कार्डियो,
He's just getting
यू
worse,
ओनली डज
Shivam. Like,
कार्डियो मर्चेंट.
या इधर कार्ड, लाइक वो भी नहीं हो रहा अभी उससे. भाई तू प्री सीजन में देख, he had some horrible showing. I said this, like if Atletico Madrid end up spending 20-25 million on this guy, it's a waste of money. That too, he's not even a priority position. Lloyd Kelly, तूने बोल दिया, there is nothing to be said here. Suresh says Lloyd Kelly is overrated. I personally disagree. He's been awful. He probably does not even belong, Ajay bhai, to me he does not belong in this league, which is known for decent defending or whatever over the years. He does not belong in this league. Forget Juventus. To me, he does not belong in this league. कलूलो को रिडीम किया थोड़ा. हाँ बोल.
My problem with Lloyd Kelly is obviously वो सारी चीजें हैं. यूवेंटस में पहली बात तो वो कैसे आ गया is obviously is a big question mark. The second thing ना कि जब आप उनको डिफेंडिंग करते हुए लॉयड केली को देखते हो ना, so he doesn't know, मतलब उनको he can't even, वो एंटिसिपेट नहीं कर पाते. लेट्स से कि अगर आपका अटैकर किसी स्पेस में भाग रहा है तो वो he can't even judge कि कौन सा अटैकर किधर से आ रहा है. So वो सबसे बड़ा इशू है. Like how can you be so average in your मतलब basics of वो जो डिफेंडिंग. एंड निको गोंजालेस obviously let's not even
Forget
start.
Apart from this thing, two new signings. Chintan Bhai is also back with us. Chintan Bhai, we are discussing UA. We have obviously the Joao Mario की signing भी बहुत controversial निकली, because although he's 25 years old, the point is he lost his starting spot at Porto, and he's only known for his attack. And fortunately for Juventus, pre-season में signs अच्छे दिख रहे. But the biggest talking point, Chintan Bhai, is finally Fabrizio Romano succeeded in his agenda after 5 or 6 years to get Jonathan David a club, and he's finally done it after 6 years. Finally, Jonathan David is a Juventus player now. And Chintan Bhai, बहुत polarizing player over the years. मतलब hype, and finally he last 2 years have been good for him, of progress for him. क्या लगता है आपको, फाइनली ये व्लाहोविच ने जो मिजरी पाइल ऑन कर रखी है यूवेंटस पे, क्या आपको लगता है ये एंड कर पाएगा जोनाथन डेविड? आपको लगता है ये वो जो उस पे क्वेश्चन मार्क्स है वो हटा पाएगा?
बहुत पहली बात तो यार जो व्लाहोविच किया था लास्ट सीजन, मतलब उससे बेटर करना बहुत डिफिकल्ट तो नहीं होगा. बट आई फील यार, जैसे यू सेड इट परफेक्टली यार परम, जोनाथन डेविड ओवर द इयर्स सब बिग क्लब्स के साथ लिंक्ड होने के बाद आई तो थिंक थोड़ा ओवर हाइप्ड है. कोलोमुआनी को रिटेन करेंगे नहीं करेंगे पता नहीं. आई थिंक कोलोमुआनी इज अ मच बेटर ऑप्शन, थोड़ा मोबाइल भी है. बट व्लाहोविच यार, पहली बात तो लाइक what a mystery, like how can you, like the fall has been legendary. But Jonathan David यार, you can't see, I don't, जैसे होता है यार, जो भी आता है ये लीग में it is very difficult to adjust immediately because this league, generally the team sits behind. It's not that easy. Space nahi milega, and you are judged immediately because a team like Juventus, with the price tag you come in and the name you come in, so judged तो easily हो जाएगा. मतलब I feel it takes time यार. And पर हम देखना कोई भी second. I still rate Taremi pretty decently, and Taremi struggled last season, not enough time. I like Santi Jimenez also, लेकिन struggle करते हैं यार अपने league में because the league is also that tight. So I don't see him getting it running through. But boss, that Juventus defense, Juventus known for his defense. That Juventus defense scares me in a bad way. Like, you know, like, and I don't know, a lot of people, I don't know about you guys here, but not that I'm anti Kalulu or anything, and just I'm bitter because he left Milan. But even when he was at Milan, I was okay with him leaving. Like, okay, malab, yeah, he's a wing back turned into a center back. So I still don't think that he's that, you know, my God, like we've scored a big defender, like, you know, good defender. I don't think it's the case. So that defense is this Juventus team does not install a lot of confidence in me. And जैसे Lord Kelly बोलते, Lloyd मत बोलो उसको, please Lord Kelly बोला उसको. So उसका and यार guys, मेरा सबसे बड़ा point है कि यार आज से not even forget the other team, आज से 5-6 सीजन पहले मैट ओराइली, लॉयड केली, ये सब लोग लिंक्ड भी नहीं होंगे यूवेंटस से. My point is that. Of course. And out of all the teams, I think Juventus were that team के नहीं वो लोग अटैक करते ही ऐसे. So Gatti again old school defender है यार, but Bremer big loss. Like I don't know how he is post injury. I hope he is the same. Rugani यार, see यार Rugani again यार, Rugani Romagnoli एक टाइम पे बनुची गिरी थे यार. So वो तो दूसरा pairing number 1 तो लाजो है, speed gone. So I don't know, इनका पोजीशन अच्छा रहेगा, but ट्यूडोर भी थोड़ा aggressive खेलता है. So I'm this is a very upsetting Juventus. I'm not even a Juventus fan and I'm feeling bad.
Yeah. Also I would say that right side. हाँ बोल.
अगर आप स्क्वाड में देखेंगे तो you just look at the right side. आप ठीक है गट्टी है, then you have Savona, okay, still understandable, not like कि आपका like Barzagli and वो वाले तो नहीं, but understandable. Then आप आगे बढ़ेंगे, João Mario है, who is a new signing, new to league, will take time to adapt, and then Nico Gonzalez सीधे उसके बाद, and who might leave by the way. So technically वहाँ पे आपके पास backup नहीं है, and you have then Chico Conceição, and Chico Conceição का backup नहीं, they are linked with Zagrova. अभी Zagrova का स्वर्णिम भाई से तो उस दिन ग्रुप पे चैट हो रही थी. I like Zagrova, अच्छा प्लेयर है, he is a very tricky winger, अच्छा, but the problem मुझे वही है ना कि he had a horrible knee injury last December या November में, और उसके बाद से I haven't seen him much. तो is he still at the same level जो pre injury के पे थे? So that is one big question which needs to be answered.
Also, I think the right side is what I was also going to say, because João Mario को लिया, but behind that you need actually a proper CB to cover for him, because defensively वो इतना खास नहीं है, and generally the right side is quite weak. Again, Suresh pointed out in the chat, Jonathan David should be judged by his intelligence. I basically had my dislike for Jonathan David having watched him over the years. वो उसमें वो intelligence की भी कमी थी जो मैं बोल रहा हूँ finally उसने develop की है. Do I think he will do well and say, I finally think हाँ वो शायद अच्छा करे, but it's come after a lot of effort and it's big shoes to fill in place of Vlahovic, because Vlahovic भी कुछ कम, जैसे चिंतन मैंने बोला, he's been a waste of space at Juventus. वो खा रहा है 22 million gross wages, वो निकल भी नहीं रहा है उस क्लब से. He wants to run his contract down, and you've been seeing those clips from preseason. I don't know if you guys saw of his Ajay, I don't know if you saw that shot against Dortmund he took. He tried to shoot. Oh my
but
God,
he did score against Atalanta, to be fair.
He did score against Atalanta, but he scores once in a blue moon. I think that's pretty much the point, right? He will miss like 100 sitters and then... Sorry?
The more I think about Vlahovic, the more I get embarrassed on myself, because I actually have a Vlahovic jersey. Fiorentina का वो जो last circle वाला
crime commit कर दिया है भाई.
तू है शिवम, तेरे कारण है Vlahovic का ये पूरा. All UA fans, please, you know, go to Shivam's Twitter profile और बोलो कि Vlahovic की जर्सी जला दो.
Yeah, but
मेरे को I'll send you guys the photo. मेरे वो जो Fiorentina का last season है तो circular crest के साथ. उसी को Vlahovic was mad भाई, बंदा free kicks वगैरह मार रहा था. Immediately ordered Fiorentina.
Fiorentina वाला तो भी ठीक है. फ्योरेंटीना वाला है ना, ठीक है, अंडरस्टैंडेबल है, बट ऑल जोक्स
But
असाइड,
boss, इसमें मैं सच्ची बताऊं, like I feel bad for Kefren because that man runs his heart out in the games. What a player Kefren Thuram is. I think वो last season मतलब Juventus का इतना iffy बटी वाला season था, but what a player he was. Like last season also. And सबसे बड़ा mystery, guys. Why did he not start the Champions League game is the biggest mystery, I think.
that's and
वो
honestly
राज थियागो मोटा के साथ चला गया, ऐसा है.
वो हाँ,
Why did he not start?
I'll tell you one thing, चिंतन भाई, in my opinion ना, ये यूवेंटस स्क्वाड में ना एक चीज क्लियर हो जाती है, केफ्रेन थुराम मिडफील्ड में ही क्लियर हो जाता है, केफ्रेन थुराम की एक क्वालिटी और स्टार्टिंग लेवल में जनरल एक क्वालिटी, एंड देन द बेंच इज अ बिग ड्रॉप ऑफ, व्हिच इज व्हाट वाज देयर एट नापोली इन द प्रीवियस इयर्स. वो जो यूवेंटस की डेप्थ थी, व्हिच इज व्हाट दे वर नोन फॉर ओवर द इयर्स, इज गॉन, इट हैज फेडेड अवे. They have to rebuild that. That is what's not happening right now. जैसे शिव ने बोला, डिफेंस इज पैथेटिक. You can't in 2025 से अरे हाँ मैं रुगानी पे रिलाई कर लूंगा, चल जाएगा, just because he had a decent season at Ajax and just because he's familiar with the Juventus environment. I don't think that should be a justification. Miretti, good talent, they're holding on to him, they use their brains, but still as of today it's a drop off. He still has to prove a point. McKennie जैसे बोला था, again he's okay, like he's not great.
But by guys, अजय तूने ऑब्जर्व किया है, एवरी सीजन McKennie is linked with leaving and बाद में वही सब जगह पे खेल लेता है बेचारा.
वो है ना, स्पेशल रैंच सॉस प्रोवाइड करता होगा, इफ यू गेट द रेफरेंस. वो स्पेशल रैंच सॉस देता होगा नए कोच को और बोलता होगा चलो मेरा प्लेस कंफर्म्ड इन द टीम. बट ऑल इवन कुक माइनर्स, अगेन लाइक Locatelli, Kefren Thuram have been doing very well. Locatelli definitely he's been getting. Exactly, he has interest from early and he's obviously turning it down. But even someone like a Chico Conceição has to step up. Uska end product has not been there. Yield is again.
परम प्रीसीजन में तो मेरे को अच्छा लगा, मतलब I was happy seeing Conceição. Chico अच्छा किया था लास्ट गेम अटलांटा के सामने, तो काफी अच्छा निकाला उसने. But my only concern इसमें क्या है पता है, as you said ना परम, to play this team twice a week कितना सस्ते, मतलब चैंपियंस लीग होने के बाद, it's डिफिकल्ट पार्ट.
अग्रीड. और देखो अभी कोलोमुआनी आ जाएगा, मोस्टली आ जाएगा पता है, बट दैट्स गोइंग टू टेक अ सिग्निफिकेंट चंक आउट ऑफ देयर budget. It's going to cost like 35 million in loan obligation. It's not going to be cheap at all. And it's not.
Fagioli is sold, right? Fagioli is completely sold, right?
Yeah.
Fagioli. Yeah, Fiorentina. वो तो उधर starter है अभी.
I have no idea कैसे how can you sell Fagioli?
But that's good for them ना, good for Fiorentina. I mean चिंतन को उसको game time तो मिल रहा है उधर, वो खेल रहा है week in week out.
But
मेरे लिए by the way, just to tell you, I'm a big fan. Fagioli मेरे लिए starter होता. I don't know, like I might be biased.
To see how Miretti also does, because Miretti also was very good for Genoa last year.
Yeah,
so
but
he's back now and they want him to stay.
Yeah, I mean they were about to sell him, by the way, to Napoli. Don't forget, they were about to make that.
Napoli.
Yeah, Tudor used his brains and blocked the move. They were actually going to sell him to Napoli. So I mean, this is. I think we have all discussed कि this sums up US problem. हाँ बोलो.
Biggest question में तुम सबके लिए है, जो डीजे का सबसे बड़ा problem है. He's not here, and I'm going to talk on DJ's behalf here. His biggest problem last season was not the players. His biggest problem last season was सबका motivation to step on the pitch, and he was right. जो टीम पे pitch पे players आते थे, there was something lacking. This Juventus DNA बोल सकते हो, जो भी वो winning mentality was lacking. Probably Locatelli aggression दिखा था. Kefren was the only one who was. तो guys, शिवम, अजय, परम, who do you think in this, आपके हिसाब से और इवन चैट के लिए, ये कौन ऐसा लीडर है जो वो पुश करेगा? मैनेजर तो I can't tell me a leader who can be that guy who can push this, pump everyone forward. Okay, guys, come on, let's do this. कौन है? Just a question.
I don't see a great leader, but at best player wise, मेरे लिए Bremer और Di Gregorio. I mean, even I agree. Sorry,
I was going to say Locatelli.
हाँ, बोल शिवम, बोल, sorry.
Yeah, I also say Bremer and Locatelli. एंड हमने क्लब वर्ल्ड कप में भी वो देखा था ना, रियल मैड्रिड वाला जो गेम था, लाइक टुवर्ड्स द एंड दे गिव अप, मतलब केवल भाग रहा है पूरा.
वही 60 मिनट्स के बाद तो ऐसा लगा उन्होंने खेलना छोड़ दिया था यार. सो that was very shocking to see यार. And this is not the Juventus, like of course 9 seasons later, but this is not the Juventus we are used to seeing यार. मेरे को तो देख के शॉक लग गया था. I felt bad for DJ and the Juventini, but yeah, तो मेरे को लगा वही. My just question was because DJ का एक ही प्रॉब्लम है, भाई खेलो हारो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, लेकिन वो गिव योर ऑल.
See,
और
I think
इसीलिए ओके या कंटिन्यू.
नहीं बोल
बोल शिवम बोल.
इसीलिए the abrupt dismissal, not dismissal, I think is a harsh word, but the abrupt timing of departure जो डनीलो की हुई थी, I'm not defending कि उसको रुकना चाहिए था, but जो वो लीडरशिप रखता था ना, जो बिग यूसी नाइट्स फ्लैंक कवर करता था, the way he used to motivate, I think डनीलो कुछ से म्यूचुअल सॉल्यूशन निकाल के उसको रखा जा सकता था just for his leadership and experience qualities, because these qualities do matter a lot in big games. And अगर आप भी
शिवम वो इंटर इज रिस्पांसिबल फॉर दैट. एक गेम ने ना बेचारे को, मतलब आई थिंक दैट वन गेम 2 penalties I think he gave. I think that game was the
I think physically he was done. I feel the reason, I think one reason they could have just kept him around was just to be a leader in any capacity. They could have kept him around. Obviously it's not
चैंपियनशिप में हेल्प कर लेता है यार, ऐसे you just have to manage to win. वो हेल्प कर लेता है यार एक ड्रॉ निकालने, मतलब आई थिंक ही वुड हैव बीन दैट गाय टू काम एवरीवन डाउन आई गेस. बट आई थिंक आई अग्री एक सीजन रख देना का था, बट दैट इंटर्स गेम एक्सपोज्ड हिम सो मच. क्या बोलता है अजय, दैट गेम आई थिंक टोटली किल्ड हिज कॉन्फिडेंस, एंड आई थिंक इंटर को लगा भाई इसको अभी, मतलब यूवेंटस को लगा मतलब दिस इज बिगर लायबिलिटी. सो I don't know, but yeah, I agree with Shivam. They should have kept him because he was a proper leader.
I think
just to cap off things, I really feel that this is going to be the year of Kenan Yildiz. I really feel that.
Same.
I think he's already broken through for me personally.
Yeah.
It's just that conditions बराबर नहीं थे क्लब में, इसलिए वो एकदम
वो Paul Scholes का वो था ना, who is this Kenan Yildiz? I think अब बहुत सारे लोग बोलेंगे कि वो कौन है यार ये बंदा.
Again guys, मेरे को सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम वही रहा है. He should, don't you think he should be the first name in the starting 11 जो last season नहीं हो रहा था? मतलब so many issues last season.
Yeah, that's fair. But I feel यही है कि Juventus, I think as we sum it up, there is confusion. Just like I feel, just like Inter, they will figure out their life on the mercato towards the end of the weeks. But there is more confusion at Juventus. ठीक है, Tudor है, familiar figure है. But again, the squad, the quality from the starting 11 to the bench, there is a big drop off, evidently. And it's not the Juventus of old, as even as rivals, if you say so. And yeah, there is an issue, and maybe not all of it will be addressed. And for me, and I think all of us can agree कि Tudor की एक ceiling है जो already हमें दिख रही है, and he's not that far from it. And we know he cannot go beyond a point. He has man management issues. He's not the greatest coach tactically either. And remains to be seen कि Juventus top 4 के अलावा ऊपर ambition रख सकती है इस सीजन की. नहीं होने के लिए कुछ भी हो सकता है at the end of the day, but it's a big ask of Juventus and doesn't look anything exciting. If you were a Juventus fan, I don't think you'd be very excited going into the season. You'd be less hopeful in general, and it feels stagnating, I feel, is what I should say. But moving on, Shivam, तेरे predictions लेता हूँ मैं, because we haven't taken those yet. तेरा bottom 3 क्या होगा Serie A में?
Lecce, Parma, Pisa.
Lecce, Parma, Pisa. Okay, fair enough. Quite a lot of people have Parma for relegation. Your top 7, Shivam, starting from Scudetto.
They haven't closed that Trujillo wala deal na ab tak. So
it's done.
But still they go down.
Torino बाकी है.
हाँ, Torino भी है अभी. Just I'll say top 7. Just one last word on Juventus. मतलब मुझे थोड़ा सा ओवर रिलायंस लग रहा है डिफेंस पे. मल्टीपल कॉम्पिटिशंस हैं, एंड आपके उस डिफेंस में 2 प्लेयर हैं जो एसीएल से आ रहे हैं. वन इज कलुलू, जो चिंतन भाई ने अभी एक्सप्लेन किया है, एंड वन इज बोटकेली, एंड देन यू आर बैक टू रोगानी. सो थोड़ा सा मुझे वहां पे दिक्कत लग रहा है यूवेंटस का. इफ ब्रेमर एंड कबाल वो अपना चल कबाल तो फिर भी नहीं, बट अगर ब्रेमर का वो पुराना वाला फॉर्म आ गया, द काइंड ऑफ फॉर्म व्हिच ही हैड प्री एसीएल, देन तो यूवेंटस को बहुत ज्यादा हेल्प हो जाएगी. सो थोड़ा सा मुझे ओवर रिलायंस भी लग रहा है.
So your top 7 is quickly, just without any explanation. Yeah.
Okay, I'll go Inter first, Milan second, Napoli third, Roma fourth.
Wow.
Juve fifth, sixth, Como. Okay, sixth Como, seventh Bologna.
Atalanta.
Interesting. Atalanta. Yeah. No faith.
And तेरा फेवरेट क्लब लाज़ियो.
They and मतलब 8th, 9th. मतलब मारुसिच लेफ्ट बैक खेल रहा है, राइट बैक खेल रहा है, सेंटर मिड
They
खेल
don't
रहा है,
have
राइट
players.
विंग
We'll come
खेल
to
रहा है.
Lazio very shortly. We'll
बस
come to Lazio.
बस
इनसे
सारी
आने
खेलने
वाला
वाला है, बस बीच में सारी आके खेलेगा.
Yeah, nice to have Uncle Sharma is always supporting us. Thank you, man. Like always appreciate it. And
मतलब
also saw your video on the under 23 players. Quite interesting video and concept. Let's move on, Ajay. Let's cap off some of the smaller clubs before we go to Lazio, Como, and all those likes.
Oh,
Uh,
wait. Let's cap up
इंटर
on
तो हो
the
गया ना.
smaller clubs, including Lazio. ऐसा बोल यार.
नहीं
इंटर
कौन सा क्लब पे जाना है अजय भाई? कौन सा क्लब पे जाना है?
I think let's talk about Como because then we'll go on to the other clubs.
ठीक है,
Or
Como पे आते हैं.
let's talk about your bogey team, everyone's bogey team, Sassuolo. We can
Yeah,
do that.
let's talk about Sassuolo. Let me pull stuff up. Sassuolo back in the Serie A, obviously under Fabio Grosso. And one thing I will say very quickly, I'm not going to spend too much time on Sassuolo because हमको सबको पता है they're going to beat at least all our clubs once. They're going to beat Inter, they're going to beat AC Milan, they're going to beat Roma, Juve, everyone. And one thing I was happy to see is Chintan Bhai. I think we lost him, but yeah. One thing I'm happy to see is Fabio Grosso stuck around. Last time he got promoted with Frosinone, he left, and he made a very poor decision of leaving. Obviously, there were other factors, but he shouldn't have left.
No. Frosinone made a poor decision of hiring
Hiring.
Eusebio Di Francesco.
Absolute idiot. By the way, before I continue, Chris, just hang around. We'll go to Genoa as well, so just hang around. But yeah, I'm happy to see he stuck around because Sassuolo, we know whether we like Sassuolo or not, they are a stable club, barring that one relegation season. They have a clear project. They have a good squad. They can sign players. They sell smart. Again, they're run by their CEO Carnevali. He's one of the best CEOs, whether you like it or not. And again, I feel they are going to have a decent season for after returning to the league. I feel if you look at this squad, if I just pull up quickly Ajay by incoming and outgoing, अगर मैं transfer market बता दूं, Jay it says जो obviously the Indonesian centre back, if you remember, was in a lot of demand. What Torino wanted him. Signed by Sassuolo, the Indian community has gone crazy. We might see a Sassuolo fan club in Indonesia so very soon. Tarek Muharomovic is again a very decent talent. Ismail Kone, he fell out with Deserbi. If you saw the clip, I'm sure all of you guys have seen it. He is playing like he has a point to prove. I saw their Coppa Italia game. They won a 1-0 decent performance. Valukiewicz, not the best player, but very suitable for Sassuolo style of play. Fadera from Como has a point to prove as well. Pinamonti is back. I don't rate him, but whatever. They have Arianet Muric in goal as well, and they have a battle going on.
They also signed Nemanja Matic today.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they signed Nemanja Matic, correct. And Berardi also signed a contract extension till 2029. So he's going to stay there. Departures, again, a lot of unnecessary players like Tolian and Obiang have gone, and it's a very decent squad, and they already have a set style of play under Grosso, a bit possession-oriented game, very fluid. If I had to highlight some key players very quickly, agar main bolu, I have to start with this guy. Where did he go? Where is he? In midfield, not Ismail Kone, sorry. Where is he? Just give me Boloka. Yeah, Daniel Boloka is who I was looking for. Very, very solid midfielder, press resistant. And this is a player actually wanted by a lot of clubs in Italy for a while. And I can see him having a breakout season. Josh Doig, agar aapko yaad hoga, Hellas Verona player tha, former. And he's actually doing a very decent job. He scored a winner as well in the Coppa Italia game recently. Again, Fali Kande, very decent player. And Jay, it says, I think will lead the line. Finally, Ajay bhai, they've got rid of this guy, Maniani, their main goalkeeper. याद है आपको 40 साल का बुढ़ा?
Yeah.
Every time he used to play. So,
अरे इन्होंने वो लिया ना स्विच का कीपर Arianet Muric.
Yeah, that's what I said. Muric they bought. And it's a very so far it's a balanced team. They're still looking to add a few players. Loriente is staying, by the way. He was very close to signing for Sunderland, but it did not happen.
Yeah.
Or
I love this.
basically what I want to say about Sassuolo, Ajay and Shivam is wo jo principles of play over the years that they have retained, it's still there. It's still a work in progress, but they have all the pieces to stay in the league and survive. And for me, they're the most likely candidate out of the 3 promoted clubs to survive. It's as simple as that.
Watch out for my boy Christian Volpato. He is part of Ajay Bhai FC. Ajay Bhai FC का right wing में Volpato start करता है.
Exactly, and he's like basically, again, sorry, not him. The club basically, again, the identity is there. It's the way they play. They've been playing over the years. It's there, and nothing has changed apart from that relegation that stopped their progress. So I feel they're set for a good season. They have a lot of versatile players, and yeah, I don't think anyone should be worried about their progress, if anything. But Ajay, bhai, yeah, we can move on. What is the next club?
Let's
What
go to
club do you want to?
Fiorentina. Let's go to Fiorentina.
Fiorentina, or do you want to go to Genoa since and quickly wrap them up since Chris is
हाँ
also there
चलो
in
तो
the
Genoa करते हैं. Then let's do Genoa, Fiorentina, Bologna, Como.
yeah, and Lazio, I guess last.
We will
I guess
Lazio last में करें. Last.
of course Lazio will be last, but quickly I'll show Genoa. Sorry, I hope Chris is sticking around. Yeah, Rabiot offered himself to Juve, Inter, everyone. He's getting Deserbi kicked out Rabiot and Jonathan Rowe. Jonathan Rowe signed for
Bologna.
the
Yeah.
Endoy replacement.
Oh,
So Shivam and Ajay, a very quick theme for Genoa. Krish, if you're there, same old where they've decided to sell and not spend money on incomings. If you see, I think Genoa so far is the only club who's not spent money per se, like on transfer fees. Nicola Stancho, आपको याद है जब the Romanian veteran, like classic goat,
क्या
he
गोल
scores
मारा उसने.
bangers. Yeah,
क्या
जो
गोल
Euros
मारा.
में, and उस दिन भी, if you saw his goal for Genoa, Valentin Carboni on loan from Inter, stellar debut, and he's the one player you have to keep an eye out in this entire league, not just Genoa. Gronbag loan, Leo Ostigard returns to Genoa loan, Lorenzo Colombo loan, Goodmanson तो obviously वो तो वापस चला गया. But these are their signings. They lost a lot of players. Conte de Winter, Ahanor went. Obviously, Bani also, Maturo. All these guys went, and all they've done is sign on loan and free transfer. They have FFP restrictions, but the problem here is, Ajay bhai, there is no squad building. The squad they have is decent, but
Yeah.
it's not going forward. मतलब समझ रहे हो, it's like the same 13th, 14th place, 12th place wala worth squad.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
Vitinha, he's not the most prolific goal scorer very quickly. Messias पे कितना है आप रिला करो, and this is Messiah कैसे हो गया मेरे को ये नहीं पता, but whatever.
नहीं वो
Junior
translation
Messiah.
हो गया.
Yeah,
Translation हो गया. already.
Hugo Cuenca, I think Shivam will agree, is a talent you keep an eye on. That is one saving
Chance.
grace. बोल
चांस देना चाहिए पैट्रिक विएरा को. चांस नहीं
हाँ,
दे रहा.
I think he
विएरा
वो देगा.
शुरू में बहुत अच्छा था.
हाँ, but yeah, you see potential, right? Because chance तो मिलेगा उसे. And Malinowski, Ajay bhai, again, that experience is there with Stanchu. I feel decent. Signing Carboni, again, as I said. Friendrup, very, again, for me, is the star player. Like, he's
Star
definitely. Yeah, Mazzini came through the academy, so keep an eye on. Chintan bhai back. I think he loves Aaron Martin, so we know that. But apart from that, Shivam loves Johan Vasquez. He's a leader, not a problem there. But it's a very yeah, you love him. I know that. He's a very stable team that is destined to finish 13th, 12th, unless they make better signings, which does not seem to be happening. So yeah, unfortunately.
Krish Pusher about Colombo. Again, he's part of Ajay Bhai FC. I have
अजय भाई, आपको कुछ तो हो गया, आप ऐसे प्लेयर्स को रेट कर रहे हो, कोलंबो और माल्डिनी को. क्या हो गया, रोमा को लेना है क्या?
नहीं, वोल्पाटो भी है, उमर सोले भी है, हेजूस रॉड्रिगेज भी है. ऐसा नहीं कि अजय भाई एफसी स्टैक्ड, बट लोरेंजो कोलंबो ऑलवेज हैज गॉट दैट एक्स फैक्टर. अब एम्पोली में लास्ट ईयर आपने देखा कि ही वाज काइंड ऑफ getting there, but I feel that Genoa could be the right place. I mean, it's this year or then he becomes a journeyman. Like
problem is all their goal scorers don't hit double figures, and it's a big problem for me. None of the attackers do. So moving on, Krish, I know they'll play a 5-3-2, 3-5-2. Patrick Vieira is doing a decent job, but for how long with this limited spending? So let's see where Genoa are headed next. Who, Ajay bhai?
I think couple of good players like Friendrup, Aaron Martin, Johan Vasquez, Nicola Liali, who had a very good season.
Aaron Martin और Friendrup को तो मैं उठा लेता मिलान के लिए. मेरे को I like both of them, and I think they overperformed last season. Genoa generally also. They punched. I think they did very well. तो वो थोड़ा क्रिश को बोलना पड़ेगा कि थोड़ा you have to set your expectations that way.
मैं उसको वही बोला, चिंतन, by all their signings, this only club that has not spent on transfer fee. Even the clubs that have gotten promoted have spent on transfer fees. They are the only ones who have not spent so far. नहीं यार, क्रिश, I don't rate him personally. Pinamonti गया वापस सासोलो, वो भी नहीं रुकने वाला. So Patrick Vieira को बहुत काम करना पड़ेगा. So yeah, next club, Ajay, sorry, which one was it?
Let's do Fiorentina Bologna.
Fiorentina Bologna, very quickly. Chintan by Fiorentina, same old. क्या लगता है? Pioli, very familiar guy, you know him inside out.
Pioli, Pioli at Fiorentina, Allegri at Milan, full 10 season, 15 season ago, 2011 vibes है.
Sari at Lazio, all the
नहीं,
exes coming back.
या मतलब वो एटलीस्ट यार ऑलवेज यार हर टाइम मैं तो बोलता हूँ कि फ्लोरेंटीना's टीम शुड डू बेटर देन व्हाट दे आर डूइंग. लास्ट सीजन आई थिंक ऑन पेपर, शिवम तू मानेगा, तू ऑफ कोर्स यू नो, आई थिंक दे आर द बेस्ट मिडफील्ड ऑन पेपर लास्ट सीजन, एटलीस्ट ऑन पेपर.
I was just coming इस पे, मतलब आमिर रिचर्डसन, फाजियोली, then
यासिन
आडली एंड अभी इन्होंने ये सिमोन सोहम भी लिया है.
हाँ,
I think
he's
एम्पोली
quite
से
good.
relegate हुए थे. So they
His
have
Indian name,
good
his Indian name is quite funny, but whatever. Soham.
So
midfield.
But yeah. Getting back, yeah, I agree with you. हाँ, बोल.
अगर इन्होंने रॉबिन गोसेंस खो दिया ना, देन प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगी, क्योंकि रॉबिन गोसेंस वाज सो इम्पोर्टेंट इनके लिए लास्ट सीजन. द वे ही वाज क्रिएटिंग चांसेस, द वे ही वाज ड्रिफ्टिंग इन मिडफील्ड, एंड आई लव रॉबिन गोसेंस. मतलब मेरे को ये यूनियन पर द परफॉर्मेंस व्हिच गोसेंस गेव, वो यूरो 2020 में जर्मनी पोर्चुगल वाला जो गेम था ना, उस गेम से आई बिकेम हिज क्रेजी प्लेयर. एंड ऑब्वियसली ईमान कॉस्पो इज देयर.
Yeah, and also, exactly. Your boy, this guy Cospo is there. I'm sure you guys are gutted at losing him as well. पर जैसे चिंतन भाई, जैसे सोम बोल रहा हूँ, शिवम ने बोला, भाई कुछ ज्यादा ही हो गया. डेहा in goal, obviously looking to have a good year again. Defense थोड़ा better लग रहा है, थोड़ा better I would say, not that much, but Gozins, Atalanta wanted him back. अटैक में पिक्कोली भी साइन कर रहे 27 मिलियन के लिए. दैट इज अ बिट टू मच, बट स्टिल अ डिसेंट स्ट्राइकर. Can Goodmanson Chintan bhai have a good year? Because if he does not, I don't know what to say. But आपके लिए what is make or breakthrough, Chintan bhai, very quickly as we wrap up Fiorentina, what is make or breakthrough? Because every year it's the same story with
Exactly.
them.
It's a very peculiar. Only good thing I like about them this season is that Pioli, देखते हैं, Pioli did get the best out of Benacer and Kessie and Tonali का जो combination है. I think Fagioli is very talented still. Like I really think that this is not a team which should finish outside top 10 for me.
Yeah.
But make or break, यार फ्लोरेंटीना ऐसा है ना, मेरे को लगता है दिसंबर जैन के बाद जो उनका डिप आता है ना यार, बाद में लगेगा कि जस्ट वो दे गो ऑन अ रन ऑफ लूजिंग गेम्स, यार बहुत डिफिकल्ट हो जाता है. माय बिगेस्ट कंसर्न इज, कैन मोइसा कीन कंटिन्यू दिस? क्या इट्स फ्लैश इन द पैन है कि क्या वो कंटिन्यू कर सकता है? गुडमैनसन आई फील मोर टेक्निकल देन मोइसा कीन. तो यार आई थिंक दिस इज द लास्ट थ्रो ऑफ द डाइस. अगर प्योरली अगर नहीं कर पाएगा ना ये टीम के साथ, तो प्रॉपर्ली जिंक्स्ड है. बट यार आई परीसी क्या कर रहा है उधर, अभी तक मेरे को समझ में नहीं आई व्हाट इज ही डूइंग देयर स्टिल. ही वाज एट वंस touted to be the next Theo Hernandez and linked with every big club, and he's now a backup to Gozins, वो आके स्टार्टिंग 11 लेके गया था. सो a lot of underachieved challenge. Comuzo, boss, big season for him. अगर लियोनी जो सीजन अचीव कर पाया, Camuzo does half of what Leone did last season, he will also be chased by big clubs, which he was already. Yeah. De Gea, I don't know how are we 2025 हम लोग De Gea की बात करें, that itself is a big ask. I saw the I saw the United versus Fiorentina game मैंने देखा था. So it not all doom and gloom for them, but I just don't know if they are the team who can sustain it for 6 months.
They won their Conference League game yesterday, qualifier. Moise Kean sent off for the most ridiculous. वो घूम रहा था, उसके बाल उस प्लेयर को, उसके his dreads hit the player's face. The player reacted and Keane got sent off. It was the funniest red card I've seen.
Like हाँ, उसने बाल खींचा उसका Moise Kean का.
Exactly. It was so dumb. But what I will say about Fiorentina, Chintan bhai pretty much summed it up. I like the midfield. जैसे शिवम ने बोला, Som is a very good player. Big loss for Parma. Gozins, their midfield wingbacks are good. Pioli is looking to play a more attacking brand of football, as you can see with the signing of Fazzini as well. Only thing is, थोड़ा maybe एक defender के साथ कर सकते हैं. Maybe one more, I don't know, wingback, and I think they should be good enough to go into the season.
ये Dodo यार defensively कैसे, मतलब I don't rate him that highly defensively.
Yeah, going forward he's quite good. But defensively
I agree. That I think going forward all Shakhtar players were good once upon a time. मतलब वो सब Shakhtar players.
Yeah.
So I think
we're constantly
football they played.
We're constantly getting a comment. एक मिनट we're constantly getting a comment where to watch Serie A in India. Simply भाई, मैं दिखा देता हूँ. This is going to be the website sports.com, पर इस पे कुछ कंटेंट आया नहीं है, so expect to miss the first 2-3 game weeks officially. Illegal streams में देखना पड़ेगा. मैं कल थोड़े लिंक्स पोस्ट करूंगा ट्विटर पे, उधर से उठा लेना, ठीक है? Sorry, go ahead, Shivam. Oops.
तू है ना, सॉरी,
Yeah.
बिफोर तू है ना, वो जो सेरिया का एंटी पायरेसी वाला जो पोस्ट है ना, वहां पे जाके पोस्ट कर दे.
हाँ, मैं उधर भी पोस्ट करेगा, उधर भी पोस्ट कर लूंगा. Let us see what they do. But हाँ, Shivam, give us your thoughts before we move on from Fiorentina.
I think
कुछ
the
बोलना?
last season and पिछले कुछ couple of seasons से what we are seeing कि Fiorentina somehow beat ऊपर का जो आपका सेवन सिस्टर्स का साइड है, उनमें से एक दो को वो हरा देते हैं, रेलीगेशन 13 टीम्स को हरा देते हैं, बट मिड टेबल क्रैक नहीं कर पाता. मतलब मैंने कितना गेम्स देखा है, फ्योरेंटीना अगर जेनोआ से खेल रही है या लेट्स अगर टोरिनो खेल रही है, तो उनसे वो रिजल्ट नहीं निकल पाता है. एंड वो ड्रॉस काफी ज्यादा. एक पॉइंट आता है सीजन का जब फ्योरेंटीना के काफी सारा यस आई ही लेफ्ट एंड
He left now, तो पिकोली आने के बाद he is leaving definitely.
या तो वो जो एक पैच बन जाता है ना कि ड्रॉ अप कर रहे हैं, फिर एक रैंडम हारेंगे, देन वो 5-6 गेम्स के पैच के बाद एक
That's
विन.
Fiorentina. That's Fiorentina for
हाँ.
you. That's typically them. That's typical them. So let's see if they can overcome that with Pioli, because he's a seasoned coach. Stop piracy, says Mihir. But let's move on quickly. Who would you want to go to next, Ajay bhai, before we go to
Bologna.
Lazio?
Bologna.
Fiorentina's arch rival, guys. Bologna. Italiano, obviously former Fiorentina coach. बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग विंडो रहा है, बिकॉज दे हैव थोड़ा गॉन अगेंस्ट द ग्रेन. अजय भाई, मैं आप पे आता हूँ. दे हैव काइंड ऑफ डन समथिंग लाइक दे डोंट यूजुअली साइन लाइक द एज ग्रुप ऑफ प्लेयर्स दे हैव. सॉरी,
Bernardeschi. Yeah.
Exactly.
He's
That
back.
age group exists back, and like I don't understand it. Like because Chintan bhai, he's already injured for 3 weeks. Ek to, like I mean, and he was aiming for World Cup spot. Like in what world in 2025 is that guy dreaming of a World Cup spot? Like with Italy, ek to pehle obviously pending qualification is a different thing, but
जियोविंको को भी बुला लो अगर वो अभी खेल रहा है.
yeah, exactly. So
By
far,
the
quickly.
way, Insigne is still a free agent and he's heavily linked
Yeah.
to Lazio to go back
I'm
to
telling you,
Sassuolo.
September mostly they'll be able to sign free agents, and I won't rule that out. If that does not happen, he can still wait till January. But like quickly, I'll go through their rivals' departures. Martin Wittek, a very good Czech center back. I feel he's the perfect replacement for Boykema. Zorte Ajay bhai, जो मैंने बोला Cagliari से इधर आ गया, seasoned right back. Yeah, a clutch player. Then this I don't get at all. Bernardeschi. Ciro Immobile also at 35. Maybe I don't know what to say. Like I'm a bit confused, but let's see. Apart from that, as you can see, the departures are quite big. Dhananjay, Boykema, Erlich, ठीक है, waste player. Abisher to Pisa. So a lot. I mean, they also signed Jonathan Rojo, जिसको Deserbi ने निकाल दिया लात मार के. He's Dhananjay's replacement, so it's not showing here. वो भी आ गया. So I mean, decent Barca to Ajay bhai. What I've noticed before I come to you is that they're looking to add a lot of attackers, because last season उनके बहुत injuries हुई थी attack में. And even ये अपना Nicolucci Caviglia, the former Juventus and Venezia player, he's also about to sign for Bologna. So what they're doing is they're looking to add a lot of physicality and a lot of attackers. They feel the defense is sorted. Do you think Ajay bhai, they can build on last season basis this? Because कैसा है ना, मेरे को रिक्रूटमेंट स्ट्रेटजी में थोड़ा नॉट कंफ्यूजन बट थोड़ा कॉन्फ्लिक्ट नजर आ रहा है. मतलब it does not feel like typical Bologna to just sign certain veterans without, kind of proper planning. क्या बोलते हो आप? क्या लग रहा है?
I don't think so. And added pressure रहेगा, इनका यूरोपा लीग गेम्स रहेगा, थर्सडे नाइट रहेगा, संडे नाइट रहेगा उनको, तो यार ये थोड़ा इनको आने वाला है. बट हैविंग सेड दैट, आई थिंक इटालियानो के लिए एक बड़ा सीजन है, बिकॉज इफ ही कैन डिलीवर विद दिस टीम, बिकॉज अगर तू देखेगा दे स्टिल हैव डोमिंगेस, ऑर्सोलिनी वाज गुड, सैंटियागो कैस्ट्रो का 1 साल हो गया, अब इमोबिले भी आया है, ऑडगार्ड इज गुड, फ्रॉयलर वाज वेरी गुड फॉर देम, लुइस फर्गुसन नाउ अगेन 100% फिट. तो यार इट्स नॉट अ बैड टीम ऑन पेपर, एंड आई थिंक मैंने थोड़ा हार्शली जज किया. आई थिंक दे कैन फिनिश अ बिट हायर. माय ओनली कंसर्न इज दैट that midweek European game on a Thursday night. And for me, I feel that this is a huge season personally for Italiano, because iske baad Italiano, agar if he does well this year, he will be on the radar of, say a Juve, Inter, whoever, like a large club from the top. echelons of Serie A. तो भाई I think they'll do okay, not maybe that Thiago Motta वाला year, but थोड़ा मेरे को भी इनका doubts आ रहे with the recruitment that they've done this year.
Also, Shivam, तेरा favorite Lukumi if he signs for, I mean, obviously
Yeah,
at the end of
क्या हो जाएगा? इमेजिन संडरलैंड यार, लाइक लूजिंग बोथ योर सेंटर बैक्स, मतलब क्या ही हो जाएगा. एंड बाप रे, लाइक आई स्टिल कांट सी एंडोय एट फॉरेस्ट. उसने गोल भी मारा था, वो उसे हजम नहीं हो रहा था थोड़ा देखने को.
and Siddhant, valid question, where is Emil Holm? वो होता है, Emil Holm will basically be the right back, starting right back over there. Yeah, Zortea is gone, so वो तो ठीक है, वो तो transfer news Zortea का अभी आया, no worries. But thanks for raising that, Siddhant. But yeah, again, Ajay bhai, adding lot of physicality, lot of attackers in them. Also, one mistake they've made, I'll tell you before we close Bologna, is कि उन्होंने ना players ऐसे sign किया है कि they're going to be unable to register all of these guys for the Europa League. There is a weird permutation combination. That is one reason apparently why Aslani also rejected Bologna, because they told him हम लोग तेरे को Europa League में register नहीं करने वाले. So they've kind of made a mess with the squad signing. So थोड़ा all over the place है. It will work out because we know Italiano makes things work. I mean, it's strange praising him so much, but it is what it is. He's done a good job. So I feel
they have Thomas Pobega यार, कुछ भी कर सकता है वो आदमी, कुछ भी.
yeah, that's funny, Tomaso Pobega. But yeah, I think 7th to 9th ऐसा कुछ शायद हो जाए. But yeah, I think they're primed for a decent season, and I feel cup competition में लोग क्या
I hope Juan Miranda का एक और अच्छा सीजन जाए. मतलब I really like that guy. जब वो ला मासे में भी था, decent किया था, जब बारसा में चांस मिला था, बेटिस में he broke out, and finally Serie A में भी show last season लोगों ने देखा कि उसका कितना quality है. बहुत अच्छा है going forward.
If they get Nicolucci Caviglia, then they're sorted, and Jonathan Rowe भी आएगा. Odegaard also underrated talent, former Inter Primavera, आके एकदम से अच्छा खेलने लग गया वापस. So I think it's a good team. I think they'll be mid-table. They'll push for the top half, and let's see how much they push. Moving on, Ajay, which next club do you want to go?
Sorry, just last चीज to cap off. If they lose Lukumi and उसका जो replacement ये West Brom से लेके आया ना, if he turns out to be good, वो थोड़ा देखना होगा. Let's see.
That's a good question. That's a good point. That's a good point. If they lose Lukumi so late, it's a problem. I agree with you. But Ajay, which club do we go to next?
Param, let's talk about the two Pisa and Parma quickly before moving on.
Yeah, done. Pisa. I'll pull up again. Pisa. What I like about them is Gilardino is the coach. I know अगर Krish is chat में, is not the biggest fan Chintan में, but Gilardino Chintan में आप जानते हो stable coach एक. I think
that is why I think they'll survive. Yes, that is why I think they might survive over Parma.
Sorry.
लेकिन बराबर क्वेश्चन बोला अभिजय यार, थोड़ा टैब्स बंद कर दे.
टैब्स बंद करो.
उसकी खुला
रखना पड़ता है भाई. वो खुला रखना पड़ता है, कुछ कर नहीं सकते.
चिंतन until Param pulls out, just एक तेरा hot take बता quickly.
मेरा hot take लग रहा है that one of Atalanta, नहीं hot take नहीं है, but I think one of Atalanta or Bologna might finish second half, bottom half of this, I think bottom half of it.
Interesting.
I don't know. Atalanta बहुत ही मेरे को up and down लग रहा है. So,
see, funny thing about Pisa ना Ajay, like मैंने उनका बोला, उनका model is very interesting. They aim at stability. They have a very modern training facility. They're a very smart club. मैंने इनके बारे में वो Calcio Finanza पे वीडियो देखा, बहुत पढ़ा. They're a very smart run club. They have a very good idea of where they want to be. They're not unrealistic. अच्छा sporting center है. They know they have to invest in youth. They know how to sell. They know how to buy. Only thing is अभी कैसा ये Serie A में आ रहे इतने 3 decades के बाद, they still will need time to figure things out. Gilardino Chintan में very good hire. But apart from that, one Cuadrado I feel is a very, for their stature it makes sense. He'll play in a lot of positions. Abishar was a big buy. Atkinson Miro, we own him, and I can tell you he's a very big talent. I'm surprised we have not decided to keep him in the club, but I hope he becomes a star and he's the breakout star from Pisa. I would keep an eye out. Mbala Enzola, आपको पता है जब उसका funny वो earring वाला incident हुआ था में. But if his attitude is fine, he's a decent player. Apart from that, Shivam, I think you should know कि Lusuardi is also a decent talent pretty much. But the problem is that Chintan by this there is still a lack of quality again to compete with the Serie A teams.
Experience मुझे
हाँ.
थोड़ा सा experience
lacking है.
या क्वाड्राडो के अलावा कोई बहुत ज्यादा वेटरन सेरिया नहीं दिखा जो
Exactly, and the problem is even the like center forward Henrik Meister. Like I was checking the stats and reading about him, 5 goals, 4 goals, doesn't really inspire confidence. And as you said, that other player they missed out on signed by Parma. So again, I feel they'll survive relegation, Ajay bhai, but they'll be in the fight just because they've not bolstered. एकदम से नहीं कर पा रहे वो लोग, which is fair. But moving on to Parma again. Parma
पार्मा के डिपार्चर्स देख के बुरा लगता है यार. जस्ट लुक एट दैट डिपार्चर्स यार.
मेरे को डिपार्चर्स छोड़ो चिंतन में, मेरे को लगता है ये लोग को ना हवन ववन करवाना चाहिए. इंजरी जिस रेट पे होती है ना ये लोग को, लाइक आई जस्ट डोंट अंडरस्टैंड हाउ देयर प्लेयर्स गेट इंजर्ड एंड दैट टू इट्स बिग इंजरीज चिंतन भाई. 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, not like 2 weeks. Like what do you think चिंतन भाई, relegation और नो?
I मेरे को तो रेलीगेशन लग रहा है यार.
मैंने भी डाला उनको रेलीगेशन में.
तो सोहम भी निकल गया यार उधर से अभी तो उनका.
सोहम भाई
निकल गया, बॉनी निकल गया, लियोनी निकल गया, मेरा फेवरेट डेनिस मान भी निकल गया यार.
डेनिस मान भी गया.
Dennis, and I don't know, it just didn't click with Dennis Man का last season.
Yeah, it did not.
He's still a very great player.
Talent तो है भाई, talent तो है.
Not just that. See, Mihaila is also gone. Jordan Osorio, सब like decent. Kowalski again, decent players all gone. Frigan अभी आया था 3 महीने के लिए injured. Troilo एक अच्छा center back जो Shivam has been praising him, उसको sign कर लिया. चलो, Abdullah India again a decent player, but यार it's not like मतलब it's not looking great. देखो Cuesta also चिंतन में very young coach, not very experienced. Arteta का
Arsenal वाला ना,
Arteta
का number 2 क्या बोलते हैं चिंतन में?
First guy to get sacked. He is my first guy to get sacked in Serie A.
First of all, जो Arteta का set pieces was like he was pretty much one of the main guys responsible to set those things up. मैंने उसके बारे में पढ़ा था थोड़ा. लेकिन यार वो जो आर्टेटा का सिस्टम लाने की ट्राई करेगा इधर नहीं चलेगा. प्लस आई थिंक दे हैव लॉस्ट क्वालिटी. मतलब क्वालिटी में डिप हो गया है. वो लास्ट सीजन उनका यूवेंटस के सामने विन था दैट प्रोपेल्ड देम टू स्टे इन द लीग. वो बहुत ही बड़ा विन था उनके लिए लास्ट सीजन. दे somehow managed to pull it off. But I don't see them surviving, unfortunately, to lose. And they've got money. ऐसा नहीं they've sold their players for free. They've got decent money, but I don't think it's invested right way में.
They overdo with the young players, and unfortunately then the injuries come along. Like अभी ठीक है, चलो one player I'll keep an eye on is Matteo Pellegrino. The other day in Coppa Italia he scored a brace and he looks like a very classic in your face 9. So I'm interested to see him. I think he will have a good season. But apart from that, you see the experience in the by Juric, Pontus Almquist ठीक है, चलो वो एक अच्छा प्लेयर. उसके अलावा ज्यादा है नहीं यार. मतलब हरनानी इंजर्ड रहता है. Bernabe चलो टैलेंट है, but he's also always injured. Mandela Keita very good player, but again not experienced. Del Prato जो modern day Darmian. Sorry?
This guy is good, Enrico Del Prato.
Yeah, he's good. They call him the modern day Darmian.
Captain of Ajay FC.
Yeah, they call him the modern day Darmian because he can play anywhere in defense basically, and he's good. जैसे तू बोला. So, but जैसे तू देख सकते हैं ना शिवम, there's not much. Balo, ठीक है चलो, but apart from that, there's not much going on, and you're worried because you have a 29-year-old coach who will try to play some exciting football, and that really takes a toll on their ambitions to survive. And yeah, I'm very worried about Parma. Let's see where it goes, guys. Like, but next कौन अजय आप बोलो, next कौन?
Yeah, so next we're going to go to Nicolo Zaniolo's Udinese. before we wrap up.
यार पहली बात तो भाई अभी I still can't get over their home jersey.
Yeah, I think the preview for Udinese should be the things are looking as bad as their home jersey basically.
अगर कोई मुझे Zaniolo 22 वो Udinese का जर्सी गिफ्ट करेगा ना, तो वो मेरा जानी दुश्मन है. पहले वो
अभी तो आइडिया आप ऐसे ही दे रहे तो लगता है हमें पूरे पैनल को मिलके ही गिफ्ट करना पड़ेगा आपको.
Udinese के तो I genuinely मतलब अभी मेरे को याद भी नहीं, मतलब पहले तो कितने अच्छे बॉलर्स. I still remember वो डिपॉल वाला जो सीजन था, मतलब I used to मम्मी को दिखाता था.
गया सब
मम्मी
गया.
को दिखाता था देखो कितना बढ़िया प्लेयर.
शिवम तू बोल रहा है वो क्या हुआ है, यू आर राइट. लुक एट दिस, जाका बिजोल गॉन, Samardzic obviously वो तो ठीक है, वो तो गया था. Lorenzo Luca gone, Florian Thauvin big player.
Thauvin is gone.
And look at this attack, what have they done? Like this is so inexperienced. Like what is this? Like this is not it. I'm sorry, like क्या है ये, मतलब ये तो कुछ भी है भाई, like this is not at all. I'll show you the squad. Like this is really bad. Like I don't know what to say about Udinese. Alexis Sanchez, Iker Bravo, मतलब तुम पूरा inexperienced. Damian Pizarro तो भी ठीक है, but inexperienced. Keenan Davis, चिंतन भाई, like come on यार, like Keenan
वेरी
Davis.
वेरी
Yeah.
मतलब यार पहली बात तो उसके जैसे ये बोला शिवम की नो उडिनेसे जो डिपॉल के टाइम पे तो थे थोड़े उनके वो टिपिकल सैम एलरडाइस की बोल्टन के टाइप्स टीम थी, वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू प्ले अगेंस्ट, वेरी फिजिकल टीम. वो बहुत मेरे को सिमिलरली याद दिलाती मिलान ऑलवेज स्ट्रगल्ड यार. उडिनेसे मेरे को याद है रोमानियोली स्क्वाड 1 विनर वो बहुत टाइम के बाद जीते थे, ऑलवेज उडिनेसे में ऑलवेज ड्रॉ हो जाता था यार. सो
Yeah,
very
it's looking
very
bad.
sad, very sad.
Yeah, it shows you the state of the league also, Ajay bhai, कि जब पैसा नहीं होता क्या. I mean, Udinese चिंतन में, to your point, it's one of the most stable clubs, known to
Yeah.
produce talent, sell talent and buy. ठीक है, चलो center back में what I like is Bartola, very talented, highly rated. This is the player Juventus wanted badly, by the way, in defense. Goglia Chidze, we know he's a good player. Chintan, you know you've been watching him. Sole, but Sole का big issue है. He has sexual harassment allegations off the pitch. So if he gets convicted, he's gone from the team. There is a problem over there. Then even there, midfield तो भी ठीक है. चलो, they've signed this Scottish player who's very
पहली
highly.
बात तो बता सबसे बड़ा डेलुफू का क्या हो रहा है यार सिचुएशन उसका
गया
इंजरी
वो
के
तो
बाद.
उसका तो injured. I mean, his career is pretty much done here. Like Shivam, from what I remember, that's true.
Is he still
he's
signed
still
with
playing.
Udinese?
भाई Alexis Sanchez, Gerard Deulofeu, just for wise, please sign German Dennis again. भाई मजा आ जाएगा फिर Udinese से.
Yeah, like I don't think Deulofeu is contracted to them. Sorry, Chandra, I don't think he's contracted to them anymore.
वही मेरे को पता नहीं वो है किधर. I don't know where is he right
Yeah,
now.
even I haven't
मुझे
checked in
पता
a while. That's a good question. Somebody should show, maybe if you can Google quickly.
But भाई लोग Zaniolo आ रहे हैं वहाँ पे.
Zaniolo.
Last chance alone for him. I'm still surprised.
तो अभी भी चांस दे रहा है तू. अभी भी उसको चांस दे रहा है तू.
हाँ तो सोच रहे हैं
Crazy.
2025. So just quickly before we move on to Como and Lazio, over the last few years, Zaniolo has played for Roma, Galatasaray, Aston Villa, Atalanta, Fiorentina, and now Udinese. I mean, wow.
Insane यार, क्या ही बोलूं मैं. But just very quickly before we wrap up ना, मैं इस टीम के बारे में एक बोलूंगा कि इनका मैनेजर is their saving grace. Costa Runaic last season, if you guys remember, I was praising him for his management. But I don't know how long he can keep it going with this kind of team. Like, there is a limit, and if you sign Zaniolo to pair up with Alexis Sanchez and Iker Brown to be ठीक है young, but I don't see. I'm worried about this, and I feel maybe again Udinese also I include in relegation battle, but कैसा हो रहा है this year चिंतन में, ऐसा थीम लग रहा है कि there'll be too many teams in that relegation battle.
Yeah, too many.
वो मुझे लग रहा है, और उसमें से ये सब टीम्स जैसे आपका Udinese, maybe Hellas Verona might luck out again. वही होके बच जाएंगे.
They're lucking out again. I'm telling you because EDF is there with Lecce.
Yeah, exactly. And again, Maduka okay उस पे तो वो betting उसने किया था खुद पे, तो he's banned until what, April बोल रहा है, he's banned until July or something, or the 6th match day. July क्या बोलो, 6th match day he's banned. He's banned for the first 6 match days. So yeah, I mean quite
This
a bad look for him.
so funny. मतलब खुद पे bet लगाया था.
Yeah, खुद पे yellow card पे bet लगाया and he got caught.
हाँ.
Oh, अच्छा. Okay. Right.
He's an idiot. But whatever. क्या बोलते हो अजय?
Abhijay has given a thing that Deulofeu is a free agent.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, okay, fair enough. Let's wrap up. We are about to wrap up, guys. Thank you guys for sticking on the panel plus the chat, because this has gone on for almost 3 hours. But whatever it is, we had to do a preview. 2 club बचे अजय भाई, if I'm not wrong. Your favorite Lazio and Como.
Como के बारे में हम लोग सब बात करेंगे. Then we'll all log out and Ajay will go on till morning.
Ajay will do solo stream on Lazio. But that's a good idea actually. But let's go to Como first. Ajay भाई को Lazio last year था तो last डाल देते. चलो. Ajay भाई को justice for Ajay भाई. But क्या बोलते हो चिंतन भाई? I'll start with you and I'll go around the table. Lot of hype. Lot of hype and
lot of excitement यार. मेरे को तो Rodriguez को देखा था. Like,
and even I'm excited. I like, even as a someone who's going to face them, I'm excited. I saw their Copa Italia game and you brought up Jesus Rodriguez.
Yeah.
This guy was so good, and मैं अभी squad pull up करता हूँ. Exactly. Fabregas turned down 4 clubs, barring Inter, whom he didn't turn down. It's like Inter obviously never left a chance. But my point being, it's a very sorted institution, if you will, like मतलब सब plans in place है, still थोड़ा work to be done. Their Copa Italia game wasn't the greatest, but mostly plans are in place. एक दो signing they're looking to sign someone like an Emerick Laporte, Morata आ गया, एक signing और देख रहे हैं शायद midfield में वो लोग, but sorted यार. otherwise क्या बोलते हो, क्या लगता है आपको?
मेरे को तो मिडफील्ड थोड़ा शॉर्ट लग रहा है, पर स्टेफेजा को क्यों जाने दिया अभी तक तो समझ में नहीं आया. व्हाई डिड दे लेट
Yeah,
हिम गो?
he was a big leader, exactly.
या वो मतलब he was the thing with the team was I think वो एक फैक्टर था, प्लस गुड प्लेयर टू हैव ऑन द. आई थिंक उनको चाहिए था. आई डोंट नो व्हाई ही वाज थोड़ा स्टेबिलिटी वाइज, बट आई थिंक बट नॉट दैट दे गॉट अ वेरी अट्रैक्टिंग ऑफर के पैनाथेनाइकोस बहुत बड़ी. ओलंपियाकोस या पैनाथेनाइकोस किधर गया वो? Olympiacos, sorry, my bad. So not that it's a very attractive offer, so I don't know, but Rodriguez is someone I'm very excited to see. Last सब लोग बोल रहे थे about Nico Paz, but ये season Rodriguez is someone I'm very excited to see. This is a very exciting team, like the young team. Probably people will tune into Serie A to watch them, I think.
Yeah. Before you continue, एक just news आई है थोड़ी देर पहले. Spurs have made direct contact with Nico Paz and Real Madrid with Como. So like 70 million apparently is what Di Marzio is saying. So let's see if this happens. I'd be quite gutted if Nico Paz just left out of the blue. It has nothing against Spurs, but I would be a bit disappointed if he just left towards the end of the window after all efforts done to keep him at Como.
Oh yeah, surely. And sorry, no disrespect, but if he goes to Spurs, well, after like could have gone to Inter and going to Spurs, I think it's a big letdown हो जाएगा.
Yeah, I understand. Like, see, Premier League गया तो I just personally disappointed for him to leave Como, just towards the end. But ठीक है, जैसे आपने बोला, देखो यार, these signings are अजय भाई, Martin Baturina again, Petar Sucic के साथ खेला, one of the best rated talents in Croatia. Perone Chindarmai City से Alex White, Shivam, you know everything about him. Jacobo Ramon from Real Madrid Castilla, Nicolas Kuhn Celtic से भाई ये last season क्या goal assist ratio था इसका, it was quite crazy. And Felipe Jack, again Shivam, you should know about him, young centre back. Morata, Chintan bhai, finally हो गया. Outgoings में भी
money
laundering scheme. Strefezza को छोड़ के not a big deal. They've done good business and everything is yeah, जब everything is lined up for this club. मैंने बोला जब Como Cup किया ये लोग ने, I think Shivam तूने ये लोग का भी share किया, pull up. Como Cup किया, the vibe was with what the idea they have, right? They want to make their football as good as the tourism. They want people to tune into the football first now and then go to the tourism part of it, right? क्या बोलते हो जब you think this vision of theirs sustainable है? You think हो जाएगा settle, and you really think they're one of the most level-headed, clear clubs going into the future of Italian football?
I feel jealous. I feel jealous at the way that they run. It's a very मतलब वही है कि FFP है तो they can't spend. Like, we keep on saying this. Como have one of the richest owners in the world. They are a tobacco conglomerate based in Indonesia. तो बहुत मतलब billionaire backing है उनके पास में. But once again आपने देखा है कि इस summer window में भी they are investing very wisely. Jesus Rodriguez, Real Betis, we are such a huge talent. Last season they got Asan Diao, Nico Paso था ही उनके पास में. तो Fabregas, I think परम ने भी mention किया था कि he also grew as a manager over the course of last season. So very very exciting. And अगर कोई नया fan है, I would recommend that they start following Como. I mean, what a story. And I hope that other Serie A teams can follow their example. Not obviously copy paste it, but the way that the club has kind of looked at the larger picture. क्योंकि परम चिंतन अभी सिर्फ फुटबॉल नहीं है. They look at other things also. You look at the Hollywood celebs that keep on coming to, वो eyeballs है social media. ये चिंतन बोलते रहते हैं Leao is popular because he does Twitch streams. Unfortunately, the modern game is what it is. And Serie A में तो वैसे भी eyeballs नहीं है. तो अगर कोई टीम जाके out of the way कुछ कर रही है, I think I appreciate it.
By the way, जो squad निकाला Vojvoda का तो I think he punched up unexpectedly अच्छा perform किया last season.
I am pulling it up again. But you're right, like everything is like working for them. Chintan भाई, like अभी शिवम तेरे पे याद हो तूने squad बनाया देख अभी अभिजय ने बोला they're actually looking to get Iñaki Peña in goal. He's right. To defense they again once if they get Laporte then it's a bit more sorted. तो जैसे चिंतन में आपने डाकुनिया के बारे में बहुत बोला है, versatile player. He's trying to fit Baturina, Nico Paz in one midfield, and when he did that in pre-season against Ajax, they thrashed Ajax 3-0. And again, it's pre-season, but they looked very sorted. Engel had Adai, again very talented. Nicholas Kuhn, Duvika, Shivam, you can tell us more about him. भाई ये कोपा इटालिया भी उस दिन ब्रेस मारा. Like शिवम क्या बोलते हैं, टैक्टिकली भी तुझे लग रहा है सॉर्टेड है विद द आइडिया दे वांट, यू थिंक दे विल कॉज प्रॉब्लम फॉर अ लॉट ऑफ टीम्स, व्हाट्स योर टेक?
सो डुविकास का मतलब सेल्टा से आए थे एंड रिसेंटली ला लीगा में सेल्टा ने कुछ टाइप स्टार्ट किए हैं स्कैंडिनेवियन कंट्रीज में एंड स्वीडिश लीग्स में से, तो वो वहां से अच्छे टैलेंट स्काउट करके ला रहा है. आपने डुविकास देखा, विलोट स्विटबर्ग है, अभी आपके स्ट्रैंड लार्सन जो माइटी वुल्व्स में थे, आप न्यूकासल से उनके लिंक्स आ रहे हैं. तो सेल्टा हैज क्रैक्ड दिस मार्केट, स्ट्राइकिंग मार्केट. सो वेरी हैप्पी. मतलब थोड़ा सा आई फेल्ट बैड कि ला लीगा छोड़ के गए थे, बट इट्स गुड टू सी डुविकास डूइंग well in Serie A. I still have a bit concern थोड़ा सा डिफेंस है. These are very good names. मेरे हिसाब से वैंडे ब्रेम्ट का सीजन काफी अच्छा गया था. डोसेना तो अभी इंजर्ड है. गोल्डन लीगा का I'm not a very big fan, but still डेविंसन सैंचेज से इनके लिंक आए थे towards the start of window, but गैलेटासराय ने मना कर दिया. So now they are looking for Laporte. So अगर वहां पे एक ऐसा एक्सपीरियंस अगर ये लोग डाल देंगे तो Laporte और Jacopo Ramon की पार्टनरशिप could be very interesting and very great. Two good ball playing. Jacopo Ramon Real Madrid youth system से काफी highly rated, and Dacunia मतलब परम भाई के how big of a fan I am of Lucas Dacunia. मतलब बहुत ही underrated, complete package midfielder, and definitely he is better than Guendouzi and Rabiot in French national team. So,
agreed.
Agreed,
and definitely.
Sergi Roberto, how can I forget him, man?
Oh yeah, Sergi Roberto is there as well. Again, well pointed out. So I think all of us can agree कि एक set, only thing Cesc Fabregas said the other day कि the way we played against the way we played in our Coppa Italia match the other day, if we play like this we are definitely losing to Lazio on the first match day. And he was being very critical because they were struggling. But Chintan bhai, I think with young players also there is an adaptation period you have to give, obviously with so many young players. Do you think, Chintan bhai, for you, just lastly, to complete this team for the way they want to play tactically, right? That 4-2-2 type, 4-2-3-1, exactly, that aggressive with all the overlaps. Do you think a signing like Laporte is needed in defense, or even a good keeper like
a leader हो जाएगा ना, like more or less a leader. Young team में you need someone to carry it. अभी तो तू मान ना ले, somewhere I read some of their just I was researching, they call Patrick Cutrone a leader. मतलब it's just a little shocking.
By the way, just to pause you, former Serie A and Milan flop Lucas Paqueta scored a long range bazooka against Chelsea right now.
I love
good you mentioned flop. It hurts still. One of the most expensive.
But Shivam loves more. Sorry, we guys hang on. I know Premier League चालू है, but we will end this. Don't worry. Lazio बचा है सबका favorite club. Even Bayern is playing Leipzig and
So yeah, I feel Laporte is needed. I think वो experience हो जाएगा यार. I think experience needed. Such a young squad. So yeah, if they're 2-1 down against a Milan or a Inter in the 85th minute, so to get someone to rally was needed. That is needed.
Yeah. Simple question, guys. Once we end Como and close with Lazio, with all this sudden link of Nico Paz with Tottenham, does Nico Paz, I don't want any explanation from each of you, just yes or no. Does Nico Paz stay at Como? Yes or no, Chintan bhai first?
Yes.
Ajay bhai?
Yes.
Shivam?
Yes.
Good to hear 3 yes, and even I would say that. Lazio, everybody's favorite club, guys. Lazio is next. I'll start with Ajay bhai only because it makes more sense. But क्या बोल Ajay bhai? No market.
उनके अकेडमी में एक सना खान करके एक लड़का है. सना फर्नांडिस बेसिकली.
वो प्लेयर. But वो उस पे आते हैं वो सब पे. अजय भाई, Lazio like नो मार्का तो हमने उसमें पूरा एक लाइव स्ट्रीम किया था ऑब्वियसली कि भाई ये लोग ने लिक्विडिटी इंडेक्स प्लस 2 और इंडेक्स ब्रीच की due to some stupid accounting error where they included the training facility ka expenses as part of their other expenses and they exceeded by 1 million or 2 million and they fucked up basically. That's Lazio for you, I guess, Chintan, by typical Lazio. But क्या बोलते हो अजय भाई? Same team, I'll pull it up. There's nothing to report like in terms of transfers. क्या बोलते हो? सारी आया, सिंपल कॉन्टेक्स्ट था कि उसको पता नहीं था ये उस लाजियो को ट्रांसफर बैन मिलने वाला है. लाजियो ने उसको बताया नहीं एंड हियर वी आर. he felt betrayed obviously, but he likes Lazio. He genuinely likes Lazio and he decided to stay. क्या बोलते हो अजय भाई आप? सेम टीम है लास्ट सीजन जैसी ऑलमोस्ट.
एक ही इसमें एक चेंज है. You have Cancellieri who's come back on
हाँ,
from loan, and he's
yeah,
been doing well in their preseason actually.
he has been doing very
Cancellieri
well.
has
Thank
been
you for pointing.
he's been
Yeah.
doing he's been
And
doing well,
Loom
but
Chauna left. Loom Chauna left for Burnley 14 million. That was the only sale they
correct,
made. That's the only
correct,
sale they
correct.
planned to make. But just quickly going through the squad. Bulai Dia, Castellanos, Pedro, sorry, Cancellieri, Noslin, Isaacson, Sana Fernandez, जैसे शिवम ने बोला. Zakani captain बन रहा है. Continuing to stay as the captain. Actually, this captain was in doubt. Lazzari, Basic, again not considered him. Vecino in 2025 is a crime. Cataldi, Rovella, obviously the best player in the team in my opinion. Uh, Again, this defense is quite terrible after this. Kusai, Marusic.
The more you go
Yeah.
upwards, the quality of scout goes down.
Yeah. Only Nuno Tavares, Hobi. It's not like he's great, but you get my point, right? Profsgaard very raw, but he अच्छा talent है. Romagnoli suspended for the first game week. Like, yeah, Mandas is now the starting goalkeeper, should be, because he's doing better than Providel. But क्या बोलते हो अजय भाई? Then I go to Shiv. It's not looking great. Like, see, I feel personally, before I ask you Ajay bhai, ki it's a workable squad to
It
play
is,
two
it is.
competitions, but they will burn out as they usually do. Like, वो depth नहीं है to keep going. क्या बोलते हो?
लाजियो का स्क्वाड का पहले बर्नआउट होगा या मोरित्जो सारी का जो सुट्टा है वो पहले
वो
बर्नआउट हो जाएगा. वो that is the real question you want to ask. But in all seriousness, Sari knows his team. He's already got Sari ball back and running. मैं उनका थोड़ा प्री सीजन क्लिप्स देख रहा था. They're playing that fluid football, albeit
Yeah.
friendlies है, lesser opposition है, तो थोड़ा even he's able to impose his ideas. But they will have a purple patch, I'm sure, where they'll go on a 8, 9, 10 match run where they'll be unbeaten वगैरह सब. Then they will lose randomly. तो ये and Sari and Lotito का यार वो चलते रहता है, especially if they're not able to sign any players. So it's a tough season. Lazio fans last season also were protesting against Lotito, और जो उनका start जो उनको मिला, especially Europa League में भी, then they suddenly stopped and then they were like all praises, but now they're back to square one. तो यार ये थोड़ा मेरे को समझ में नहीं आता कि अगर तुम हो against owner के against तो go fully, like go completely against your owner. You can't like be on and off all the time as per the situation. But as you can see now, they're not able to make any signings because of that. It's a tough long season for them. I see them finishing outside the top 10, to be honest.
Shivam, before I ask you and maybe once Chintan my returns and we close, I agree with Ajay. मेरे को top 10th ऐसा बार लग रहा है, 11th लग रहा है, because honestly कैसा है ना शिवम एंड अजय भाई कि you can only squeeze so much out of certain players. Like I know I know उनका pre-season has been okay. I know some players like जैसे अजय भाई ने बोला Cancellieri have shone, but Noslin cannot get rid of him because depth issues है. He's been disappointing. Sana Fernandez, actually, Shivam, while you obviously included him, he's someone who's been on the way out here and there. Like he's had some
बच्चा है 17 साल का, इसका कितना
हाँ,
हो जाएगा?
exactly, but he's had some personal issues within the club. But let's see if he stays, because वो doubt में है अभी भी. But again, the star man is Rovella. ठीक है, तूने रेदा बेलायान को भी include किया, which is good. But like, the issue is Reda Belayan also has not taken that next step so far. ठीक है, let's see. He only came in 6 months ago. Again, यार Guendouzi, Cataldi, Basic, and the defense
Also,
is just
last season Gila Fuentes मतलब एकदम सीलिंग फाड़ के निकला था. They are expecting कि उसका ये सीजन रिपीट होगा. अगर नहीं रिपीट हो, then this defense falls
yeah,
off.
I'm not a fan personally of the player. I'll be very honest with you. Like उसके जब एरर्स होते हैं ना, बहुत हेवी एरर्स होते हैं. I'll be very honest with you. But तू वो डिफेंस देखा था भाई, लूका पेलेग्रिनी, हुसाई is finished physically. Marusic, Patrick, what is this? Mandas is the only saving grace in that defense, including the goalkeeper, honestly, and Romagnoli to an extent. But it's stagnant, Ajay bhai. It's stagnant. There is nothing, and the only progression is Sarri, maybe through his passion and tactical acumen, और कुछ निकालेगा, वो instill करेगा टीम में, because उसको पता है his back is against the wall. मेरे को अब maybe he'll get the best out of Reda Belayan, जो 6 महीने पहले नहीं हो पाया, जिसको टाइम लग रहा है. Maybe Cataldi को थोड़ा और smartly use करे, क्या पता. But yeah, it's not looking good for Lazio. They needed to sign players, and सारी को लोग ने बैकस्टैब किया. इन माय ओपिनियन दे शुड हैव इन्फॉर्म्ड हिम. वो जॉब नहीं लेता, उसका जॉब बच जाता, बट ऑब्वियसली दे लाइड टू हिम. दैट्स टिपिकल Lotito for you. And I don't know, 10th or 11th year, like, I mean, I can't see anything better for them, honestly.
मुझे एक दिन ओलिवर प्रोस्गार्ड से मिलना है, जो बॉयहुड लाजियो फैन है, तो मुझसे पूछना है कि आपका इंस्पिरेशन क्या था कि आपने वीडियो गेम में लाजियो सबसे पहले
हाँ, वो good question है, because yeah, he was an esports player, Ajay bhai. Shivam has
I know.
He's a gamer.
मैं एक चीज बोलूं, it starts with a na and ends with a z.
Oh boy. but the thing is, वो पहली चीज जब उसके बारे में वो रिवील हुई थी, वो डेनमार्क में जर्सी डे करके कोई कुछ तो डे होता है ना, where all these players or people just wear the jersey of their favorite teams or clubs or the jerseys they like. Provstgaard ने Lazio वाला पहना था, and that's when he revealed he is a Lazio fan. But yeah, coming back to the point, Shivam, tactically also we expect them to play a pragmatic game, but it's not looking good यार. क्या बोलते हैं, क्या expected finish है तेरा, and क्या expect कर रहा है Lazio से generally? Do you expect them to burn out or what?
I think जो लास्ट सीजन लेवल था बरोनी के अंडर, वो तो मेंटेन रखना ही होगा, उससे एक दो नॉच ऊपर जाना होगा इन प्लेयर्स को, बिकॉज फॉर द मोस्ट पार्ट ऑफ द सीजन लाज़ियो वाज अ पार्ट ऑफ टॉप 6 यही प्लेयर्स थे, बट कैन दे रिपीट इट दैट लेवल एंड उसको सस्टेन कर पाएंगे विद नो यूरो? दैट इज बिग, मतलब हर जगह आपके प्रॉब्लम्स है ना. आप डिफेंस में देख लीजिए, वहां पे मतलब यू आर नॉट श्योर. मारोसिच आप सेंटर बैक, अटैकिंग मिडफील्डर 8, 6, 5, 2.32 हर जगह खिला रहे हो उसको, जहां पे भी खाली जगह मिल रही है. मतलब गोइंडोजी इज प्लेइंग इन मिडफील्ड एंड वेचिनो इज प्लेइंग. आगे आपका ओके टेटी कास्टेलानोस रेड कार्ड ले लेता है, तो इट्स नॉट लुकिंग वेरी गुड फॉर लाज़ियो. दिले बशीरू इज आई लाइक, बट दिले बशीरू ने काफी डिसअपॉइंट किया है. फिजिकल प्रोफाइल उसकी अच्छी है, अगर थोड़ा सा अपना बेसिकली डिसीजन मेकिंग में इंप्रूव करेगा सो ही कैन डू गुड, बट नॉट लुकिंग गुड फॉर लाज़ियो मैन. मतलब मिरेकल ही होगा अगर सारी ने फिर से कुछ कर दिया.
बरोनी से याद आया, वैसे बरोनी से याद है अपना लास्ट टीम टोरिनो है.
Oh, fuck, how did I forget Torino? I'm so sorry. But Torino, like I think
with Torino we are done. After Torino,
with Torino we are done. But yeah, that's pretty much it about Lazio, guys. Like I think Torino के साथ we can close. Torino, interesting. Actually, Torino has had a very underrated market. और जो शिवम ने भेजा है मैं वही pull up करके close करूँगा, because Torino has actually done very good business. Like I'm surprised. Maybe it's the Baroni effect. And I'm actually excited after a long time as a neutral to see कि भाई ये लोग कुछ कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि अगर आप देखो
वो चैंपियंस लीग विनर as well, Dino Anjorin of Chelsea.
Yeah, is Franco Israel has come in to replace Vanya Milinkovic-Savic, and he's a solid keeper. He's a solid keeper with his reflexes and everything. Yeah, it's a good replacement. Saul Koko Qatar जाने वाला था. Now they've decided to keep him, Shivam, so you can be relieved. I know you really didn't want him to go there. Faustino Anjori ने Casa Dei है. They're not, Ajay bhai, getting Elif Elmas. Elmas is actually going to Napoli, it seems like.
to Napoli,
So, yeah. So that's a big miss. But they've signed Christian Aslani, जैसे शिवम ने डाला है, which I think he will do well under Baroni. I think he's that kind of player. इधर मेरे को पॉजिटिव क्या लग रहा है ना शिवम और अजय भाई, कि बरोनी, ये सब जो प्लेयर्स हैं ना आपके, जियो सिमेओने, साइरिल एनगोंज, these are the exact players that did well under him at Hellas Verona. And I feel with the way he plays and the way he inspires confidence in these underrated gems, which he did at Lazio last season. Not gems, but players. I think वो करेगा. अभी ये Zakaria Abuklali is actually very well rated, Ajay bhai, from when they signed him. It was quite a big deal that Torino signed this player, you know. Shivam, I don't know if you saw the chat. It was quite a big deal. Nikola Vlasic, underrated. Otherwise, he's injury prone, but he gets. So what I'm like, Ilic छोड़ के जा रहे, they're selling Ilic. But what I'm liking, Shivam here is कि थोड़ा with Baroni, those players make a lot of sense finally. You know, you get what I'm trying to say. क्या लगता है जब आपको, are you expecting them to have, again I'm expecting mid-table because other teams have improved, but you think maybe 9th place for a change or 8th place for a change, something?
I had them higher. I had them at 8.
Wow.
You know, batting with Atalanta, to be very honest, I think they'll do well. And Baroni, again, I was happy that he left Lazio because I still feel कि वो बहुत ही अच्छा coach है. And भाई Che Adams है, second season in Serie A. Gio Simeone आ गया वहाँ पे as a backup. I always feel कि वो he just needs some continuity and a good coach to back him, Simeone. Otherwise, very very stable Toro team. I think even despite the sales of Milinkovic-Savic and Samuel Ricci, दो बड़े losses है उनके लिए, no doubt, because last year इन लोग दोनों ही उनके top star players थे.
हाँ.
I think they'll still do well under Baroni. Maybe yeah, 7th, 8th, but they should give time to Baroni. But you know how Urbano Cairo is. Unfortunately for Torino and their fans, जो उनका जो owner है वही सबसे बड़ा एक
that's my only concern. I think exactly that's the only thing for me that will hold their season back, if anything. And thoda defense can be better. क्या बोलते शिवम? Do you like what they've done on the market?
I think मरीपान तो इनका प्लेयर ऑफ द सीजन ही था, सो डेफिनेटली उनसे तो एक्सपेक्टेशन होंगी. एंड साउल कोको भी रह गए. इस्माइल जी ठीक है,
इस्माइल
इट्स अ गुड ऑप्शन.
very very underrated signing. Like Empoli से उठाना इसको. Juventus wanted this guy. These guys got him. Like he's a very proper, like he's a proper veteran. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
And they've also got that Sazon of that Georgian guy. इनको भी मतलब ये I think loan से वापस आए हैं, if I'm right. तो अच्छे डिफेंडर से लाया है. Not really can't say about Messina, but it's a good defense. Right side पे थोड़े से issues हैं. Ali Dembele, Pedersen, Lazaro तो right flank पे कहीं पे भी खेल लेता है. But I think it's a decent enough defense. Baroni can do well. जैसा अजय भाई ने बोला, I liked him. मतलब जो उसका गेम देखा, he's unfortunately Lotito के बाद अब कायरो के पास चले गए, तो थोड़ा सा उनका है. But I think attack में we can expect some very good things, especially in Gonge और आपके ये अबू खलाल की अगर पार्टनरशिप अगर अच्छी होगी, so we can expect something. So Zapata is also.
Yeah, I think it's very decent business. What I like is now even Duvan Zapata is back, Ajay bhai. Now उसको ease in कर सकते हो अब धीरे-धीरे post ACL, and if he clicks, Shea Adams, and if Giovanni Simeone clicks, and even Engonge, just like they did under with Abu Khalal, I can see that creativity. I can honestly see it. So very interested to see Torino this season. I do feel that वो flexible, pragmatic kind of shift जो Baroni aim करता है होगा. Adaptation period देना होगा. And honestly, we are facing them in the first week, and I do think it'll be a very tricky game, especially that Hakan and Pio Esposito are suspended for this. So I'm very interested to see. But that was Torino, guys. We have finished all 20 teams. It took us long. Quickly, just let me take us like last few comments. By the way, thank you to everyone who has tuned in. 15 people still here. I appreciate it. Please do like, share, subscribe. We are very close to 2K, guys. Let's make it happen. थोड़ा लंबा चल गया, but this is the content. I will put timestamps on this अभी बैठ के, so don't worry, so that if somebody wants to watch it, they'll know where to go. Just quickly, thanks Mihir. I think he's already gone, but yeah, I'm glad you tuned in. Thanks to everyone, Abhijay, everyone, Shivam for coming on, Ajay bhai, you too. Gio Reyna gone from Parma's hands. Bad luck. They just, I think they're getting destined to get relegated.
वो प्लेयर मतलब अगर हैंड से जा भी रहा है तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं, जियो रहना चला जाए.
Yeah, he's not, but ठीक है, पार्मा के लिए शायद कुछ कर लेता है यार, क्या ही पता. But Stranger Things simple है यार. Illegal streams मैं कल थ्रेड डालूंगा एक इस पोस्ट पे कि Serie A is, I'll just put a match day post saying कि so and so is the situation. So please follow us on X and Instagram. उधर आपको पता चलेगा. YouTube पे भी डाल दूंगा आप लोग के लिए. Yeah, this, I think all of the comments I've taken as in part of the discussion, mainly just seeing if there is anything interesting, and I'm closing the stream. Interesting Madrid fans who want to support for Milan, obviously the Modric link. Locatelli has not accepted. Yeah, he's staying. Where to watch? Again, sports.com karke. I will post everything about this tomorrow. Yeah, most of the comments I've taken. Yep, I think that's it. Any closing thoughts, guys? Closing thoughts, Shivam, Ajay bhai, Shivam, I'll start.
अब अभिजय ने hot takes दिया है.
डाला है. हाँ, देना. तू रुका क्यों था इतने देर? हम लोग रुके तो कब से बोल लेता. Fiorentina top 5, Roma third, one of Inter due to finish out of top 4, Milan Scudetto winners, Conte leaves Napoli before. Wow, Ajay and Abhijay agreeing on the Conte part. Interesting to see. Interesting hot takes, Abhijay. Actually, these are not even like, they are hot takes, but like they're actually reasonable. Maybe you could say so. But yeah, thank you, Ajay. So Shivam and Ajay, you want to say something before we go?
Roma Bologna tomorrow night, 24 hours mein we will have kickoff. So can't wait.
Might as well just show the first game week quickly, na? Might as well just show it on screen. Just hang on, guys. मैं आपको दिखा देता हूँ first match day क्या है, कल क्या चालू हो रहा है.
23rd consecutive year that I'll be watching. 23rd.
Yeah, 23rd. I became an Inter fan at the age of 5, 2003. So yeah, long time for me. And these are the fixture. कल 10 बजे से है. 2 मैचेस है. ये सेरिया का टिपिकल वियर्ड चीज है कि एक मैच के जगह 2 मैच हो जाता है एक साथ. Sassuolo Napoli is the obviously the kind of the game to watch obviously, but Genoa Lecce भी है साथ में. दोनों 10 बजे है. फिर मिलान क्रेमोनेजे लॉम्बार्डी के दोनों टीम्स और रोमा बोलोनिया is another
Together.
great game. Yeah, together. So it's a great game. And फिर आपका संडे पे obviously ये आ जाता है क्या बोलते हैं अपना
Como Lazio.
Como Lazio, Cagliari, Fiorentina. Como Lazio, another very good game. Then you go to Atalanta, Pisa, Nerazzurri clubs. Juventus, Parma, Udinese, Hellas. Rivalry actually. दोनों derby है ये तो. And you close game week 1 with Inter Torino. So yeah, these are your matches. And yeah, any closing thoughts? Sorry, Ajay and Shivam.
Can't wait, yeah. Can't wait for the season to get started. Gasperini era at Roma kind of manifested it last season towards the end. And अब वो आ चुका है वो पल. तो देखते हैं कैसा क्या होता है. Forza Roma. Per sempre.
Yeah, Shivam, any closing thoughts? Any one thing you're just looking forward to in this Serie A season? Any message for our community about Serie A you want to give or Italian football?
I'll just say कि देखिए मतलब the more you watch the different leagues, the more you watch Serie A, तब आपको पता चलेगा कितना है क्या है. मतलब blindly जज नहीं करना चाहिए Serie A को, जो भी stereotypes बन गए हैं. देखिए कुछ गेम्स देखिए. अब देखने का ये मतलब नहीं आप पहला गेम लेचे वर्सेस पीसा उठा लिए तो फिर तो आपको बोरिंग लगेगा ना. तो हर लीग में आपको मिल जाएगा. बट गो एंड वॉच सम गेम्स. काफी अच्छा फुटबॉल होता है. एंड देन ट्राई टू फॉर्म ओपिनियन जो भी बनाने. सो या
Thank you for saying that, Sherman. Thank you for coming on and taking the time to make those lineups. It takes a lot of effort, I understand. So really appreciate it. And closing thoughts from my end, simple here. Just excited for the season, regardless of the broadcasting mess. It's Italian football. It's what we've grown watching up. I can only hope as an Interista कि Inter का season अच्छा जाए after so much confusion. And I'll only say Forza Inter as always. And thank you to each and every one of you for tuning in. We really appreciated it. 3 hours, 21 minutes of this stream. Lamba chala, but it was expected. Please do like, share, subscribe to Calcio Charcha, to Ajay Bhai's channel. Follow Shivam on Twitter. I'll leave the links in the description. He posts a lot about South American football and honestly he's very good at it. So please guys, do the needful, spread the word, and let's reach 2K very soon. We'll see you very soon with a match day, post-match day review, and all that is back now. So we'll see you guys very soon. Ciao, ciao. And thank you very much for tuning in. Broadcast updates to come tomorrow, by the way. Yeah, don't forget.